All right. Wait. No, I was thinking something eerie was happening, and then I realized you were just doing the
I
thing.
was just staring. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
waiting.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I was like, not that you usually say like on three or like on go, but you didn't say go, and I was like, then my brain was like, do you never say go? Do you just stop at one? And then I realized you were just staring at me, just like I was staring at
yeah.
you.
I just wanted to see how long this awkward silence would have lasted, but yeah, I usually say go, like three, two, one, go, and then I hit record. Yeah,
See,
yeah. I
I
hit
I
go.
pay
I hit go.
attention. Yeah,
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 yeah. It was big.
yeah.
Dude, this chapter, man, it's like a fan wrote it, huh? I love it. I love this chapter. What are
A
your immediate
fan wrote
thoughts?
it. Oh, I know why you were saying a fan wrote it.
Yeah, you know why. You know why.
Dude,
It's
that
so
dude,
good.
dude, do
I
we just say it
love Red
now?
King. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Red King
Red.
is awesome, man.
Is there, did you like look at the Raws? Like, was that like the scan team just milking this dude out? Or is that actually, he's Red King? He's the next
No,
king
no,
after King.
no leaker actually like pimped this dude out there. No, no, no. This guy was forgotten. He wasn't even in the first spoilers, I believe.
Uh-huh.
I had to like
And
read the full spoilers to actually like know that he was here, I think.
wait, that's upsetting. They didn't, wait, leakers and spoiler people didn't think that this is a big deal? That's a big, I
Well,
would want
well,
that as a bullet point.
he was in the full spoilers, but you know, in the early ones, nah. I think Red King didn't get any love, which
What?
I think they just were missing this page, is all it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll
Yeah,
give it
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They
There's
probably just didn't
no
have that page
way.
ready.
Because if they saw the page, right, then they need to be checked because it's
People are
like,
getting
bro,
upset
what, that
that
they missed it?
no, that I said that he was like the second coming of Akainu,
I
the red
kind
dog. Yeah, man, people didn't like that one, and it's like, dude, do you not see the vision? Like,
no, not the
I could see it right here. Maybe this guy's gonna go hunt down those researchers that left earlier, man. You never know.
oh, not the vision.
Yeah,
It was
Red King
funny
is cool.
because I was like when I hit that page, I was like going through my memory. I was like, wait, do we have a name for him? And then I remembered you said Cincinnati. So I was like, oh, it's Admiral Cincinnati. And I was like, wait, didn't we get? And I was like, Bluegrass and then the otter guy. And then I was like, oh no, we didn't. And then they said Red King. I was like, wait, what?
It's cool, dude.
But now that I think about it, red grass and or blue. Remember we said bluegrass had like a brother named Red Grass or whatever, and
I
we were
think
like,
we did.
yeah, yeah. So I guess they're going with the color scheme thing though. Red King, blue
Yes,
grass.
we'll talk about that when we get there. See, that's a
Yeah,
deeper conversation. We'll get into.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll get into depths of Red King. All there's a lot to
Yeah.
unfold there. Yeah,
How long do you think this video is gonna be?
hit 8 chins, a lot to unfold. Yeah,
Eight
we have a
chins,
lot.
8 hours,
Yeah, yeah, probably, probably.
until the camera dies or something.
I mean, like, as far as the cover story goes, there's not much to say because it's like a pretty straightforward one. But I just want to point out Oda is a little out of pocket for this one.
Yeah, because Beppo is killing the snow leopard, right?
The
Like that's like a
request,
deadly move.
the request is just Beppo feels awkward after seeing Law napping with the snow leopard, and Oda's like, "What about if we kill him too?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?"
what if we kill him while he's sleeping? I watched there's like this Netflix slasher show. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called. It's not Sinners, but I think it's just called Slasher actually. And there's
Uh-huh.
a scene where this guy like cuts a hole in this guy's throat. He puts
Uh-huh.
one of those like the I don't even
Funnels.
know what to call it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he pours like hot water down his throat and kills him. And it's like, damn, dude, this leopard is going through it.
Wait, maybe Oda watched the same thing.
Yeah, you think he watched Slasher? I wouldn't recommend it. It has a bad plot and it's just really gory for no reason.
Well, I'm sure Oda
But that was a
doesn't
cool scene.
like I'm sure Oda doesn't go on like Rotten Tomatoes and be like, I'm not gonna watch this Rotten
I don't
Tomatoes
know. I
person
think
has.
Oda is a Rotten Tomato guy.
You think so? You think
Yeah,
that
dude, dude, come on. Oda's
he
so a Rotten Tomato guy. You know he is.
nah, he thinks all of his movies are great. Come on.
No, no, no. Oda, I guarantee you, he looks at the Rotten Tomatoes, the Google reviews.
And then he's like, I'm not watching this. This is garbage. They only got an 86% on Rotten
No, no,
Tomatoes.
I don't think he'd be dissuaded. I think he would just like look to because he's interested, you know? Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
supposed
that'd
to
be
see like the
interesting.
perception. I don't know. I'm
Do
just
you
like
think
headcanoning Oda lore now.
Wait. On that note, do you think Oda is, you know, on Twitter, like, I don't know which side the fandom does it, but like when an episode releases, they're like, oh, IMDb, this episode is breaking the internet and whatever, and it's now number one episode, like, whatever. Do you think Oda actually watches that stuff?
I think he looks at the headlines, but I don't think he actually like keeps up with the IMDb for every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
IMDb is a funny thing,
maybe
like
for
my
Gear
anime
Fifth,
list.
sure.
Yeah. He's like, oh, let me see what they're saying, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is interesting. But yeah, the
like
cover story was like
imagine if he does
crazy.
it for like just a flashback chapter, just something random, like oh, here we are leaving Wano, ha ha ha. I want to see what people are saying. It's like nah. Only the big episodes I could see it.
I mean, technically, at least Toei does that, right? They really care because apparently, like you know, the Kobe cover story
Oh yeah,
thing is why because the ratings dropped all the way back then. That's like a precedent for not doing non-main character episodes, period. Which is just like, huh? But you could, I don't know. But then we had the
just make
last
them better.
episode, and they let Henry Thurlow go crazy on the Aokiji cover story thing, which is pretty fun.
The Aokiji one is so much fun, bro. Van Augur, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the episode, so you know we don't talk every day. But I gotta know, what do you think about Van Augur, dude?
Okay, first of all, that's not canon. That anime scene is not
Hey,
canon.
who cares? It's canon to me.
To the point that Henry Thurlow literally was just like in his tweet, he said that he hand drew everything was done traditionally in that scene. He
Yeah.
did it by hand with ink, everything. And he literally submitted his thing and said he was surprised that they let him do everything. And I was like, yo.
Yeah. That's so
And
good.
it doesn't hurt, it doesn't help, like unless Cracker comes back to the story and we get like we have to like equalize what these Cracker biscuit things like durability is. But my man Van Auger went from the canon part of the episode not even piercing John Bart's like jacket to obliterating Cracker. I was like,
Yeah, it's
whoa.
crazy. The power scaling gets really wacky if it is canon because of that scene, which
Yeah.
I was laughing, dude, because you know, in the manga, we don't really get a scope of how John Bart blocked the attack. I always thought it was so weird. I'm like, oh, he grabbed the bullet, he pushed it back. Like I
Yeah.
had like this weird Sento Maru scene where like, you know, he was Ryo and you know, sent it flying away. But in the anime, he just gets shot. He just gets
Yeah.
shot, dude.
Like
I was like,
there's
damn,
many
all right.
levels. There's many levels to depicting him as Superman, but like the anime probably did it the best. Right? It literally just crushed on him, fell down. Not even his clothes got damaged. He was just like, and he like Beppo sensed it. Like we were, I remember us all talking about like, is that spark thing and the ear thing? Is that observation hockey or did he just hear it? And apparently
He
it was
just
just
heard it.
hearing in the anime. And he told John Bart, yo, he's gonna shoot him. In that time, before Van Auger got his shot off, John Bart goes whoosh and then blocks it. And then you go to the cover story scene, and it's just like the Cracker. Like my only cope, and someone in my chat said in the watch party was that maybe the crackers were brittle from how cold it was because Kuzan froze everything. So the
Yeah.
biscuits were too cold. And I was like, okay, see, like when Nami made them soggy and edible, so maybe Kuzan affected the biscuits, and maybe that's why, right? But
I
like
don't know. I think
that
it's
seems
so
crazy.
cool. So the
Yeah.
reason why I really like the Van Auger scene and the reason why I want it to be canon or like, you know, a feat like that to be canon for Van Auger is because it's like, bro, like Usopp has to beat this dude one day or like Yasop or somebody, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's cool having such a high tier opponent because let's be real, Toby Roppo, some of them were kind of bums, dude.
Yeah.
Like Van Auger, oh, dude, yeah. He's got
Yeah.
that aura, man.
I think like this chapter and the last episode made me like the Blackbeard Pirates so much more. In like I'm anticipating them. I'm really excited. And to the point where this anime episode releasing prior to this chapter made this reveal of Van Auger feel so sick. And
Oh
then
yeah.
on top of that, it's like we don't really have feats for Van Auger. Like the only time they used guns was like on Whitebeard, but everybody used guns. And then the other time was he shot a bird that nobody could see. I'm like, all right, cool. You
Okay,
know,
that's
like
still a cool feat. That
it is a
dude,
cool feat.
I think Van Auger's introduction actually goes super hard too in the anime or manga because like what like not Thousand Sunny, the Going Merry was just sailing. They didn't even see Jaya yet. And
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
a bird falls from the sky, and they're like, somebody shot this? Like, I don't know, man. That scene is so
No,
good.
I agree
That
with
scene
you.
is so good.
I agree with you, but like it's kind of like remember like what Daddy Masterson's in the filler. Well, it's manga canon technically, or anime canon
So
technically.
now you're calling. So if you're calling that canon, why can't I say that Van Auger's canon, huh?
No, because Oda actually wrote that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
yeah.
mean?
Don't hit me with logic. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, whereas Henry Thurlow went off of 2 pages and filled a crazy amount in between.
That's
It was
so
just
good.
like
I love
to
it.
the point that let's be fair, Van Auger didn't need to do what he did against Cracker after like Kuzan was there and we saw the Kuzan part. Like there's no like almost everything that Van Auger did was just fluff on top of Kuzan.
It
Like
was good fluff, though. You
it
gotta
was
admit,
good.
it
It
was
was
good
good.
fluff.
But my point about the bird thing, like yes, it's a feat, but like back then we saw like Yasop like shot an ant like miles away, but nobody like yeah, we know
Who
Yasop's like
cares about
super
an
super
ant,
strong.
dude?
That's what but what I mean is like the bird thing, and I agree with you. I want the cracker thing to be canon thing, right? Because in this chapter, Van Auger didn't really he just warped. He just keeps on warping, but we don't get the sharpshooting stuff. And when like I don't know about everybody listening, but like the sharpshooter stuff might be one of the most annoying blue ball things Oda has done. Like sharpshooting is supposed to be this like, oh my god, Shanks went out of his way for Yasop. Van Auger is like this crazy dude, but like, and he gets this Giga Chin, whatever, Giga Chad Chin, and he's supposed to be all this cool. But then Usopp is there, and he's supposed to fight him, and Usopp's nowhere near as cool. Like, yeah, when he gets his shot offs, but even in Dressrosa, it wasn't like epic. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how to describe because it was epic, but more like badass. You know what I mean? It didn't come off as badass. It was like, oh shit,
It was
Usopp
more
has hockey.
comedic.
Yeah, it was.
It was
I wouldn't
comedic
even
because of the attack for me.
that
I,
too. That
I,
too.
I agree with you. Like when Usopp gets that shot off and Dressrosa on Sugar, it is not epic, right? Like maybe some
Yeah.
people will see it and they're like, oh, but the civilians are about to attack him and people are trying to pull him off and he's trying to aim the giant like watermelon that turns into Sugar's face or Usopp's face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it wasn't as cool as Van Auger just boop boop boop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then even on that note, like we haven't seen in all the Blackbeard scenes recently, we've never seen Van Auger like other than the John Bart thing, which is the canon part that we have to detract from, right? Because
Yeah,
that
that's the
is
only canon feat for John or for Van Auger, just shooting John Bart.
and that is more like Usopp level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what you'd expect out of Usopp, not a Blackbeard pirate, right? So it's like, yeah, they're cool, yeah, they're organized, yeah, they're badass. But at the end of the day, the only canon thing is the bird, and then he can't even hurt John Bart. And I'm like,
Hey, John. He said it
you're
himself
gonna
though. John Bart's defenses are tight.
is it because
I
he's a
love that
special
line.
race? Are we going the John Bart's Buccaneer too?
So what if
Or
it
is he
just
just
landed like
Samoan?
perfectly in his belly button and he like sucked it in or something?
That's a One Piece. That's
Yeah.
One Piece logic right there.
Yeah, that is One Piece logic. Somebody will ask it in SBS, how was John Bart able to block the bullet? Oda, being a troll, is just gonna say, well, it landed in his belly button, and there's a myth where you can crush bullets with your belly button or something. I
It's
can
like
see it already.
it's like in Smash Bros when you get like the perfect range hit, like he hit the sweet spot right with the belly
Yeah.
button.
You hear the dink right when it
Yeah,
hits too.
the
Yeah, it's
shield clash,
perfect.
the frame perfect shield block.
Oh man, yeah. John Bart is. I mean, maybe we shouldn't downplay Van Auger from that scene. Maybe we
Yeah,
should scale up John Bart.
I'm fine with
Maybe
that.
that's a better conversation. I'm not fine with that. John
I'm
Bart's a loser.
okay, whatever. I just want like something more so that I can anchor on to Van Auger and be like, yeah, he's sick. But right now we don't. But the most we have is the Henry Thurlow Kuzan, and then he's just like. I don't even know what he says. I didn't even pay attention to the words because he was just out there one tapping the biscuits like nobody's business. To the point that there was one of the biscuits that got hit, the upper body ripped off, and then the lower half also disintegrated, and it wasn't even. I was like, wait, what? Yo, these boats
He
are
warped
crazy.
it into a different dimension, Par. He warped it
Yeah,
straight to hell.
yeah, he might as well have, honestly. At this point, yeah, like why doesn't was it Black Clover uses the power sort of like that? They have like a warp power, and like I think that they did use it one time to like slice someone in half. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like imagine
Man,
Van
I
Auger,
forgot all about Black Clover. That's like a
it's
lost
a
memory.
fever
Who
dream.
yeah, who can do that on Black Clover again?
Isn't it Finra's brother? Finra's brother was like he like made holes in his little brother or older brother with his warp thing. So he made warp balls and
Languorous.
yeah, that guy. And he used his warp powers offensively. And I like that. I've always wondered like, yo, why can't we do it? Oh, it's like in Marvel. Marvel
Spatial
has that
magic,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you
Yeah.
remembered that. I can't believe that. I don't even remember any of these guys' names.
Yeah, I don't remember names too well, but I got that visual memory. If I seen it, I
Yeah.
remember it. Yeah, it's a
That's
curse.
good. It's a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse, yeah.
This is probably one of the first times I'm recording when I say it's a curse and you're like, that's good. Usually it's flipped. I go like, oh yeah, it's really good. And you're like, it's a curse. And I'm like, fuck.
No, good visual memories. It's hard to come by.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right.
You could probably like memorize all of Asia.
Yeah, like GeoGuessr, like those I'm gonna become a professional GeoGuessr soon.
You're gonna become a professional geoguesser.
Yeah,
Oh
you
no,
know
that's
the
so
like
cursed.
Rainbolt 2, if you guys know. I'm learning from him. Well, I'm
Yeah,
watching his
so
videos and
just in
learning.
case you guys don't know what geoguesser is, you're like hop on Google Maps, it drops you somewhere random in the world, and you have to figure out exactly where you are just by looking around. And it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. They're like, hell, look at that language. That language is blah blah blah. Look at this grass. Look at that tree, and then they
Yeah.
just guess it all automatically. It's like that's crazy.
I always get the latitude right, but I get the longitude always messes me up. I'm always flat like I'll get the right latitude, but then it's on like South America instead of wherever else. I'm like, fuck, damn it. But it's
Well,
hard.
hopefully they never drop you in Antarctica, like this cover page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait, do you like
yeah,
that
yeah.
tie-in? That was great.
Yeah. I tried to do it earlier, but then you kept on going on whatever else we were talking about, which is
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, the slasher movie you talked about, I think Oda watched that. Like you and him watched at the same time because like the reader request just wanted like a sort of wholesome thing, not a sort of wholesome thing, just like a normal thing. Instead, it's a homicidal Beppo.
Yeah,
Like
homicidal Beppo. And I guess like if he survives the hot water, he's gonna get hit with the bat. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's dead either way.
Yeah, very dead, very dead. And the best part is Beppo's just like very pure eyed, just like, yep, this is what happens when you take my captain.
Yeah. No biggie. Just
Yeah,
another one.
yeah, just another one.
Oh,
Law.
what if wait, I have a theory.
I know what the theory is. Want me to theorize your theory?
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
Okay, so what you were gonna go on was that the snow leopard represents Avalo Pizarro, and so Beppo's gonna fight Avalo Pizarro because Avalo Pizarro's hat is a snow leopard hat.
No.
Oh shit.
Well, my theory doesn't sound as cool as that one though, but I was gonna say, what if Beppo isn't actually a mink? And he's actually just a real person in a bear suit. But what he does is that whenever Law sleeps with an animal, he'll kill the animal, skin them alive, and then
Where?
wear their skin. Yeah. That's what I was going for. Something more wholesome, but
Yeah, more
the Avalo
wholesome.
Pizarro theory is pretty sick.
Yeah, because I think isn't Law's like the Law also was introduced with like a snow leopard hat type thing, but I think Avalo Pizarro definitely has the snow leopard hat. Avalo Pizarro.
The thing with this cover page
The
that makes me
jacket.
think a little bit is that I wonder if this has some significance where, like, maybe Law and Beppo go to a winter island later, and that's where Law
Mhm.
recovers. We also see a vodka bottle in the middle, so maybe he goes to Vodka Kingdom. I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like there is, like, some weird hint in this cover page that will tie into the story.
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
don't know how. Maybe he's going to go to Whitebeard's grave because
Wait.
Whitebeard loves leopard leggings.
Oh, that now that
That's a
I
good
don't.
one, huh?
I might put my copyright on that one. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's the vision.
Yeah. But before I clip this, you're gonna pour some
Yeah,
hot water down my throat.
that's the
Yeah.
vision.
That
it
was
was
a
the
good
whole
one.
way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was.
that was a
Ooh,
good one.
okay. Wow. Let's move on. So on to the chapter.
Yeah.
Oimo and Kashi are here. I think we kind of talked about that last time, but the Giants, the whole crew's here. It's pretty
Yep.
cool. Bunch
The
of
boys are
losers
back
getting off the
together.
ship. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Oh,
boys are
yeah.
back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? What's
No,
up?
you said a bunch of losers, and while you said that, I said the boys are back.
I
Why
don't
did
know,
we?
dude. I still don't like Giants that much yet. Like, what I need to like Giants
Is a
is
cool
just to
one.
have them in a fight. Like, put them in a one-on-one fight
True.
and have them go crazy, and then I'll change my opinion. But right now, I still kind of stand by it. Not a big Giant fan,
Like, okay, hear
but
me out.
have them fight
In
Kizaru or
in
something.
my opinion,
What's up?
the giant that gives me the most hope, if you look at like the double spread with the giant pirates thing, is the last one all the way on the left. That one, that giant
Oh
gives me hope.
yeah, it kind of looks like Kaido, huh? Like a Elbaf
Yeah,
Kaido.
yeah. He got the like the Norse beard braid, and then he has the horn. Everyone in front of
And he
him,
has like the
bum.
scar in his bicep. Yeah.
Boom. This guy in the
Dude,
back,
sick.
that guy gives me hope. I don't even know what weapon he's holding. It just looks like a stick. Like there
He
might be
doesn't
an
need anything
axe.
more. Yeah, he's like Jax from League of Legends.
Yo, a lamppost. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yo.
exactly.
And I looked at it and like, yeah, Dory Brogy. I admitted this on stream. I said like, listen, guys, like my memory of the Little Garden arc was like the Dory and Brogy were there. I don't even remember which one was which. And so we land on this, and I scanned all of them. Obviously, Dory Brogy's dope. I like them, right? But then I looked at the last dude. I was like, this, I'm waiting for him. I want his name. I want him to do something. But at the end of the day, dude, I sat there and I was like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna step on Kuma like the Mark III pacifistas? Is Oda gonna draw that? Like they're just gonna stomp on him? Like, do you think that one? Like, yeah, the Giants probably clear the Kumas, right? They should.
No,
They feel like they should.
I feel like the Giants just they got through without
Wait,
having to
didn't they?
fight the pacifistas.
No, but they didn't they just make landfall? We don't know,
Yeah,
like, but like
they're like actually on the island.
yeah, 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 but the pacifistas are on the island. They got through the ships, the Buster Call.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they have to fight the pacifista.
Wait, so you think that they're just gonna run to the middle and like all
Yeah,
the Marines? Because the other part
yeah.
is Kuma already technically showed us that like one dude just running straight can kind of make it to the middle. And so if you have all these giants running down, do you think it's gonna be the rumbling? Do you think we're gonna start
So
like?
last chapter, Bonnie said, "Please don't shoot us. Help us escape the island instead."
Oh,
So I really
true.
don't think that they're gonna fight the Giants
True,
because
true,
they're
true,
not
true, true.
hostile.
I
Like
forgot
they came
about
to
that.
help us escape as well.
Yeah, I forgot about the order that I
Yeah,
remembered it for the scope of like the pacifist is there. I forgot that like these commands just go to everyone. Do you think
yeah.
that when the Giants run to the middle, is it gonna like they're gonna be like, oh, the island's shaking, Aaron Yeager? Like they do you think
I don't know. It's so weird because like I'm surprised that Luffy hasn't seen these guys already, or like nobody else. Like it's just Usopp, Chopper, and the people up on the Labo phase. And
yeah.
it's like, damn, dude. I feel like if you were in the middle of Egghead Island, you could just like tilt your head and you'd see like giant people just walking over over the island. It's like, damn. I thought
True.
we'd get that Luffy interaction already, but we didn't.
Yeah, because
Like, not even Kizaru interacted yet about the Giants. But I guess
in
they're like in a fight, so.
yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because
Hmm.
on Little Garden, the jungle was giant, right? Like I remember when they went in, they're like, "Huh, why is everything big?" And then they saw dinosaurs, and then these dudes were towering over the trees,
Yeah,
and
these
so
guys are
like
big.
they should be like the size of what the Godzilla and stuff, the Godzilla and the hologram stuff, right? They should be like
They should
that,
be.
huh?
Yeah, they should be, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that you're right. I guess they
Maybe
would be visible.
maybe we underestimated the size of Egghead Island.
True. To be fair, Oda, I don't even think Oda has given us like a map of Egghead yet. You know how like sometimes like in the midst of like a fight or like 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 when the crew starts splitting apart, we start getting like the Onigashima map and stuff.
Yeah.
Or I don't think we got like even a good
We
size reference for Egghead.
A
Like
size
there's
reference, no, but we did have like a couple of like layouts here or there when we talked about where to send the ship. You know, when like we were getting surrounded. We also
Mm.
saw a little bit of the Labo phase as well. But as far as like a a full blown map, no. Nami, her dream is in the gutter.
Yeah, she hasn't even shown us that she's mapped like the places they have already been to. Like we just kind of
Yeah, not even
assume
like a
stuff.
one liner like, oh, I just finished mapping Wano. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Like not even like Luffy going like we have to go right now, and Nami's like stop it, you idiot! I gotta finish this map, and he's like how long is it gonna take? And then she's like done, like boom, good,
Yeah, yeah.
good
I
ender.
don't think we've ever had that ever since pre time skip, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that hasn't happened ever since Arlong, actually.
probably not. We just
Yeah.
assume it's fine.
Yeah, we
But
just
these,
assume that she's been doing it. It's all good.
so
She
the
has visual
Giants,
memory.
yeah, yeah, that hey, I give it to her. I give it to her. Um, um, with the
Were you gonna say the
Giants,
Giants?
making landfall, right?
Yeah.
I was a little I'm just confused about where they place, but also did it the next page, right? When Usopp goes my masters, I'm like I thought about this for a second and I was like, do you think Usopp can beat a giant? Now maybe not Dory Brogy. Let's give them the cracked hacks, but like isn't it like post not post in the new world, right? Yeah, like yeah, giants are strong, whatever, but like the competent pirates can handle a giant, you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
super scary, right? But do you feel like Usopp can? Uh-oh.
See,
I
okay,
saw you had a Usopp video.
Giants
Yeah.
pre time skip, I think he can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
post time skip, now that we're going to Elbaf, now that we saw, Dory and Bragi go crazy, it's like, I don't know. I feel like these Giants are being scaled up so high
Yeah.
that I don't know if Usopp is there yet. I
Yeah,
mean, we got
yeah.
to remember, Usopp couldn't even hurt page one. And he whipped out the whole arsenal for him. I don't know.
Yeah, and
Oimo and Kasha are kind of fodder, but I am expecting them to just be like 5 times stronger than they were at Enies Lobby at this point.
what
Based off
about
of what he saw about Dory and Bragi.
and if you guys didn't know, Sai's been making some different videos recently. So my question to you, Sai, based off your recent video,
The
how
Usopp one?
many of Usopp's how 1 through 6, how many of those power-ups does he need to beat the giant?
How many of
Eight.
those power-ups that I talked about?
Yeah, which
Uh,
which combination? I saw people making combinations in the
he
chat.
needs a future sight. He definitely needs a new weapon. Uh, Even like hockey on the bullets. I don't know. He needs a lot. I think Usopp needs a lot to beat a giant.
You said like
Prep.
two,
If he
four,
has
five,
prep
and
time, he'll
six.
be fine. He's kind of
Oh,
like
that was
Batman.
one, right? Prep. No, no, you didn't say prep time.
No, I
But
didn't
yeah,
say prep
like
time.
2, 4, 5, and 6. I feel like you just said those ones. The last one
Yeah.
Conquers or the fifth one?
The last one was a devil fruit.
Devil Fruit. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't
Mm.
think Conqueror's Hockey would exactly help him. I feel like if Usopp were to get Conqueror's Hockey, it would be just for like a
After
really nice scene, and that's it.
or after he can beat a giant. Like once he beats a giant, then he gets Conquers. I'm okay with that, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll show
yeah.
them who the real master is.
Yeah, not like a crowd of mobbing civilians at the top of a rooftop to have him unlock observation hockey. Um,
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because he called them my masters. I'm like, they didn't do much for you. You just looked at them and thought they were cool, but like, and then
Yeah,
shouted at
that
them.
you're so right. Like the my master line, it kind of comes out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, I was
Like
like,
they didn't teach Usopp anything, When you think of a master, you're like, oh, it's my Shifu at a dojo, right? Like, oh, this guy taught me kendo. It's
yeah,
like, dude, Dorian Bragi didn't do anything for you. Like you looked at them, you thought, wow, I love how they fight. And that was it. Like that, you didn't even ask him to become like a pupil of theirs. Like that was it. That was the
yeah.
extent of that.
I want to know. This is too much haterade. This is where I draw the line, but I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
anyways. Do you think they know his name? Like based off of Little Garden, I was like I didn't go back, but I remember the conversation. It was kind of like they said something and Usopp's like, "Wait, what? You guys are fighting to death and something?" And they're like, "This is honor. You puny little humans would never understand with your short lifespans." And then Usopp goes, "Wow. Giants are so sick." And Nami's like, "What?" And then Usopp's like, "You don't understand a man's struggle." And I was like, "What?" And then none of
Yeah,
this is going
Usopp's a
on with
little bit
Dorian
silly,
Brody.
bro.
But like I feel like that's too much haterade, and I feel
No,
like
no, no. I
Dorian
no, I like
Brody
that. because
Of course you like that.
no. Coming off last chapter, when Dory and Brogy like were shown here, they didn't mention Usopp, right? They said, "Hey, we're here for Straw Hat. We're here for the Sun God." Like,
Yeah.
I think it would be good for Usopp's character if they don't
No.
remember Usopp, because Usopp would have to prove himself, right? Like, oh, like let me remind you guys who I am, or like let me show you guys how much I've grown. And then he hits them with that memory. I think that would be a great plot point. Are we gonna get that? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it
Yeah.
would be really nice if they did just forget him. Cause let's be real, like
When you said
Usopp,
that,
I don't know. Oimo and
no,
Kashi will remember him though. Oimo and
when
Kashi
you
are different.
when you said that, I agree with you. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it like imagine if Zoro, right after Baratie, saw Mihawk again, but wasn't like that strong, right? And in order for Zoro to get that respect, he had to beat all the monkeys, right? And so like there was like a level to become like the master student whatever thing, right? And but imagine if Zoro couldn't beat the baboons. And then what would Mihawk be like, you loser? Like you're not
Yeah,
worth
like
it,
get out
right?
of here.
Yeah, so like for Usopp, it's not that Usopp didn't get stronger or whatever, but like that's why I asked the giant question. It's like a lot of the master stuff is kind of like we do kind of correlate, right? How close is Zoro to Mihawk, right? How close can Sanji beat Ivankov? A lot of people had Ivankov in the top 50, very, very strong character, right? But we don't know. But considering Ivankov trained Sanji, that gives us like a parallel of like, well, not Mihawk, but like, is a student mentor, right? That's the relationship. And then Luffy Rayleigh, right? I feel like Luffy surpassed Rayleigh, but like is Usopp that far behind the Giants still? And like how high does Oda scale the Giants to make it make sense? Does he even need to? And you said like the pre-time skip Giants Usopp could maybe beat, right? And I'm
Yeah.
worried about that, like could he, if you brought Usopp to Little Garden, is he outdoing Mr. 3? Maybe he's outdoing Mr. 3, right? Mr. 3 at least took down the Giants. I think Usopp with prep time could probably do it, but without prep
Yeah.
time, I don't know. I
He
don't
needs
know.
he needs the prep time, dude. He's like Batman. But even
Yeah,
then, like when people say Usopp with prep time, it's only because of his fight against Luffy that we say that though. Or
yeah.
at least for the most part. But
But that's also not how
yeah.
Giants would fight, you know?
Yeah. Like they fight very differently. Like the reason why Usopp with prep time was scary was because he knew Luffy. Like he
Yeah,
literally said that. Like I know everything you're gonna do before you even yourself knows what you're gonna do. I think he actually said that line verbatim, but
yeah.
yeah, it
Wait,
was cool. What's up?
we talked about this potential with Usopp, right? Not like
Yeah.
our version of it where it's like, it's like tough love, right? Like who's this guy? Why is he still like who? Oh yeah, the long nose guy, like that kind of treatment. And so he has to prove himself, all that stuff. That would be good, but like, what do you think actually happens here? He says, "My masters," they all like, "Oh, long nose coon," and then Usopp gets all kumbaya'd into like greatness. Like, what do you think then?
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't exactly like the opposite, right? Like, because the
Yeah,
opposite scenario is that where Usopp goes down there and they're like, "Whoa, it's our student Usopp! Ah, I love this guy."
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I feel like that wouldn't really be well deserved. For Oimo and Kashi, it will because they had a different story altogether. But for
yeah.
Dory and Broggy, the people he's calling his masters in this chapter, I'm like, I don't know.
Because the other thing that we
I don't
have
see
to
it. It
take
would
into
feel
account
weird.
is Hirudin of the captain of New Giant Pirates is the one that held Usopp up when he became God
Yeah.
Usopp, right? So how much of that information is on Dory and Brogy? And maybe they're like, because and before I thought of that, I was like, oh, maybe they're like, you have to earn the title of God. You can't just call yourself a god, right? Like Luffy. And then Usopp's like, what? But then on the other side, Hirudin could have put in a great word if they ever
Yeah,
talked.
yeah. He could
So
like maybe Usopp is known as the giant saver in Elbaf because he saved
yeah,
Haruden.
yeah, that would be
Yeah,
crazy. So he goes, my
that could
masters,
be a case.
and then they
Hmm.
go, my master, and they go to. I don't know what I would like, but
I
like
don't
I
know.
just
I don't. Yeah, I feel like Usopp's relationship to the Giants right now is just really strange. Obviously I feel like Oda's gonna clear it up pretty well, but there's not a lot of good options out there for Usopp in my opinion.
yeah, given the pieces that we have, right? Obviously,
Yeah,
Oda
yeah,
has
yeah.
the
Like if
picture.
we learn more information, like Haruden was pimping out Usopp out there, then maybe it
Yeah.
goes out a little bit differently. But then again, you're right though. Like you hit the nail on the head. Like since he's got Usopp, and they know that epithet, do you think that Dora and Brog are gonna be like, hey, you're not God, it's this guy, the Sun God? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
And then Usopp's gonna have to like earn that God title back. It's so strange.
because if from what we know, they have a whole festival for Sun God Nika, right? Now imagine some
Yeah,
random dude next to him calling himself God. It's like what would they say? Like, we don't pray to you. You're not our God. Like, what do they say, right? I
yeah.
it is an interesting I guess that it makes sense why Oda, if Oda chooses to make an emphasis point out of this, then this panel makes a lot of sense. Because I thought this was weird too. Because like when you look at the paneling, Oda just decided to throw us a random scene panel and zoom into it. And I'm like, what is this trying? Is it to show us how far the Giants were? But it's not from their perspective. All we see is just like the cloud and two dots, and then later, like, oh, that's Nami Usopp, right? And I was just like, damn, Oda's really emphasizing this interaction. And I was like, my masters is so weird. And then he says again, Master Brogy, Master Dory. It's like, bro, they can't hear you. Um, and then he goes, I thought we might not see them in Elbaf. And then I laughed there too. I was like, bro, we didn't even know if you were going to Elbaf up until like we still don't
Yeah,
know.
it was still a question mark for us. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And so all of this is really interesting. I'm hoping, like you said, like we get some kind of thing, like kind of what I said with Van
supplemental
Auger.
material.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like with Van Auger, it's like I want something to anchor on to be like this guy is crazy, right? I want one of these giants to just everybody's landing a hit on Saint Saturn. Can they land a hit? I want that. Give the Giants a hit too, right?
Like Vladimir Putin beating a bear.
Yeah, yeah. They need that kind of PR for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, get the Kremlin on this.
You know what's funny? Yeah, get the Kremlin. I love that. Uh, when we get the panel of the Giants all like landing, it
Yeah.
reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are. Yeah,
Oh,
just a
yeah,
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah,
merry creatures just walking down a road. It
yeah.
feels nice. It's such a good panel. I do love the Giant panels a lot. They're great.
They feel
Oda's
they
showing the Giants a lot of love.
Yeah, I hope this sentiment feels good. Like we talked a lot about the Giants, just 2 pages, but like when I think of Elbaf, when I think of Giants, it's the same paradigm shift of going from Wano to Egghead, where it's like from Wano we went from feudal Japan to futuristic like island. When we go to Elbaf, I want that paradigm shift again, when we're like,
Oh yeah, same.
yo, like every panel makes me feel small. You know what I
Take me
mean?
to a medieval festival. Give me like a turkey leg.
Yeah, yeah, and
Just
I'm
really good.
excited for that. Which is, I think that's a lot of the reason why people, are anticipating LBAF. It's a for so many reasons, but you're right. Like this, like the way they're dismounting off the thing, and we also have to remember one of the inspirations for Oda to make One Piece was Vicky the Viking or whatever, and
Yeah.
so it makes sense that like, hey, if Oda really liked retro video games and Astro Boy and those kinds of things, and Egghead feels so awesome and nostalgic for us, it's like when we get to the Elbaf thing and Oda covers what inspired him, or at least a huge inspiration, I think we're gonna get a lot of that same feeling or insight on Oda's like sentiment, and he's gonna make those
Chapter
feel really good.
14, for those of you who don't believe us.
Yeah, in the pre-SBS era,
Yeah,
Oda
when there
took
was
like,
no SBS, Oda was making his own SBS corner at the end of chapters, and that was chapter 14, I think 15 and 16. It was three
yeah,
chapters back to back where he just talked about how much he loved Vicky the Viking and how
yeah.
that's where he got inspired for One Piece, because like you said, Vikings, and even the musical aspect too.
Hmm.
Because the big thing about Vicky the Vikings is that they all played music. And they all had this little kid they were just throwing around, which is supposed to be, I'm assuming, Luffy. But
Yeah, I mean,
Vicky was smarter in the series, though. I don't know.
I
That's a
have
hard
to.
one.
I looked at it a long time ago, but I forget Vicky the Viking. I'm gonna check it out again. But and another note on that too. We talked about this a little bit last time. How people don't think that Oda knows like other languages or English, but in that Vicky the Viking thing, I think it's in chapter 14. He even has like a breakdown of Viking, like why is it called that, and like why Vikings did what they did and how they did it, and he broke down like various etymologies that were given to us. He also did that for Jolly Roger too. He broke down the etymology of Jolly and Roger, I think in like chapter 6, I think, or 5 or 6 or something like that. So
Yeah.
Oda's definitely put a lot of focus. And keep in mind, this is like 20-year-old Oda too. This is pre-internet Oda. These chapters
Oh
are
yeah, he was
before the
going to the
internet.
library, dude. He was checking out
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, or tapping into punk records because like some of the he had a lot of crazy resources because like in chapter 1 also a lot of people completely forget the first words of all of One Piece is I finally gathered all the resources now for this pirate story. That's the note before chapter 1 even begins, and he said that he took a long time to gather up all these resources. I would imagine if you look at his studio, like the crazy disheveled part of his studio, there's probably a bookshelf of all the books he had before he even started One Piece. And if anyone took the time to look at them, they'd probably figure a lot of things out. But we're all
Oh
too
yeah.
lazy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could raid Oda's house, we would.
Oh yeah,
Well,
100%.
legally, legally. Yeah,
Legally.
we're not gonna break in and attack Oda, but
Yeah.
if we ever got like a what is it like the golden ticket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we
Yeah,
we
yeah.
probably like visit.
Yeah. I don't
Actually,
Oda
I don't know
doesn't
if I'd
even
want
need
to
to be there.
visit.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
want Oda to be there.
yeah, I wouldn't want to meet Oda. I feel like that'd be really weird.
yeah, yeah. I would just be like, can you just step outside real quick? I just want to
Yeah,
look at
can
your
you leave your house so we just take a look?
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I want to see the action figures that he does. You
I'm
remember
glad
all
we're
the
on the same boat, like
Yeah,
where we
yeah,
don't want to meet
yeah.
Oda.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. But like
Never meet your heroes. Not even a
side
hero
note,
really, but you know.
in the San Francisco thing when he was there and everyone was there, not that I would want to meet him, but I would want to play like Where's Waldo and I would want to try and like scope him out. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I'd be like, that's him. I know
Oh,
what he looks
imagine
like.
taking a picture in San Francisco during the OPLA reveal,
Yeah,
and
and then
Oda's in the background, and it's like a ghost, right? Like, it's like
yeah.
Shutter, where you have to like look at the picture, and you see a ghost in the background, you're like, oh my god, it's Oda.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Maybe he is a ghost and that's why they showed us. Remember the New York Times posted that picture from the back just to make us think that he's real still. They just have
Yeah.
that for PR. It was the Kremlin again. It was them
Oh, what
doing.
they should do is that whenever Oda shows up in a picture like that where they don't show his face, they should put like this blur effect so he does look even more ghastly. Yeah. Oh, dude, imagine we get to the end of One Piece and then Shonen Jump is like, Oda, he never existed in the first place. He was
Yo,
actually made up. Dude,
you know,
that'd be dope.
what'd be funny is, in Thriller Bark when Brooke said like he doesn't show up in mirrors or pictures or whatever because his shadow's gone. Oda doesn't have his shadow. That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we go
Yeah,
back to his pictures and we realize there's no shadows.
yeah, yeah. So he's just not a real like. Oh yeah, and then I think it's also no, that wasn't the case. I was thinking like if someone took a picture of Brooke, he just disappeared, but that's not how it worked. It was the sunlight that made them disintegrate.
It's oh, imagine this entire time Oda was just Sora AI. Just an AI generated image.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be big.
Yeah, yeah. We cracked it. The Da Vinci Code broken right here.
Oh, wait. Speaking of which, I
Speaking of
hate to
what? Speaking of
speaking
don't
of the
just
Da Vinci
blind.
Code,
Oh, okay.
spoilers came out this week for the chapter, by the way. Pretty
Uh-huh.
much the same way they do every week.
Just a little bit later.
Yeah, just a day later, but we still got
Yeah.
everything. I mean, the chapter
Yeah,
is
yeah,
also a
yeah.
day later as well.
Which is what we assumed to be the case, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I was right.
yeah. And then technically the translated chapter came out an hour later ish than usual, and I was preparing to stream today, but then it came out the same, like basically right when I would have streamed anyways, and
Yeah.
so I just streamed it and it was fine. So
I just
it's the same.
I just had a chip on my shoulder because of what I said. I was like, "Hey guys, I think I heard that spoilers are still gonna come out," and then TCB was like, "Nope, you heard wrong."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I was
yeah.
like, I did like I said, I didn't respond because I didn't want to start anything. But
Well,
it's like, I guess
maybe
spoilers didn't come out this week.
maybe TCB said that because they were it's like Kizaru saying he's a corporate slave, but Saturn was right behind his back.
Yeah,
So like
you think they were like a Kizaru right there?
yeah, TCB
Gun to
had
their
to
head, they
say
had to
that.
post that.
Yeah, yeah, because they were getting they saw their panels in that police lineup and they're like, oh shit, spoilers are done for. We're
Spoilers
not,
no more.
yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
release. Yeah, like,
Yo,
you know, it'd be really cool, like, unironically, but imagine every spoiler drop. I think you would partake in spoilers if this was the case, but every time there's a spoiler drop, we get all of the bullet points for the chapter,
uh-huh.
but there's a cipher, a brand new cipher every week that you have to find out. Like the poneglyph, right? That'd be so sick.
Well, to be fair, like you know this, my favorite part of spoilers is the GIF hints that
Oh,
like
don't say that part. Oh god, people are gonna hate you for that one.
because they hate them, right? I seen
Dude,
people
people hate the GIFs. Oh man, it's crazy. I don't understand the GIF hate either, because it's like they're like, oh,
just wait
My
a day.
Hero and all these other series, they just drop spoilers. And it's like, yes, they do just drop spoilers. Yes, they do not have the GIFs, but let me tell you, they have to wait like 3 extra days until they get those. Like, we're at least getting something well ahead of time. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like complaining about an appetizer when the entree gets here, or when the appetizer gets here before the other food, and you have to see everybody just wait. I don't know. It's kind of goofy.
I mean, isn't it always gifts like Sunday night, Monday morning, then tip prior to the shakedown.
Yeah, the gifts got delayed as well. Yeah, the gifts got delayed by like 24 hours.
Yeah, so like, and then everything just follows suits. A day later is the bullets. A day later is the full thing. The day later the raws. Whatever it is, right? It's that's the case, right? It's not like the gifts take away from anything else. So, but I remember you showed me afterwards like one of the things, and I was just like, because because I asked the question. I was like, how did this on the stream? I asked you, how did this spoiler thing start? Or how did people get this preconception? Because I streamed and people were asking me. I was like, where did that come from? And then you said it was from the spoilers and the leaks, and then you said it was from a GIF, and I was like, what? There are GIFs?
Yeah, the GIFs are so cool.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. I think Hime retweeted one and said, what the hell is this? And I mean, I saw after the chapter, and I was still like, wait, what? What is this GIF related?
So, like, for this week, for example, our first GIF was somebody saying, I think my work here is done, which is in reference to countering Devon and Van Augur. And then we had one that says, no way that defies the laws of physics, which is what Kizaru says. We have Red King, which is a reference to Red King. And then we have the touch. One. Yeah, we have somebody touching somebody else, which is a reference to Devon again.
Devon, yeah.
And then we have a snow leopard, which is in reference to the cover page. Like, these hints are good because they're very ambiguous if you don't like have the full scope of the chapter.
Yeah.
Which is why I actually like the GIFs a lot. What's up?
Did you memorize them or did you just scroll?
I just looked them up.
Wait, like, do you have them on your phone?
Yeah.
Wait, can I see? Can you? I want to see them.
Well, the one I pulled up his Twitter account.
Wait, there's a one Twitter person that does this?
Yeah. And every week, whenever he posts the GIFs, people are just like hating him in the comments left and right. And I don't understand why. Because, I mean, it's people who are impatient and they want the chapter. You know, they wish he just dropped all the pages right then and there. But at the same time, it's like the guy distances himself from the spoiler community pretty well. But also, this guy, every week, without fail, has put out full spoilers. With no monetization. He does it for himself and just throws it out there. And it's like, dude, if I was him, I'd almost just keep to myself then. Like he gets so much hate for no reason when he's actually just like Ushimitsu Kozo from Wano. He's literally just doing everything out of the kindness out of his heart. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
people
silly.
are super weird because also like not this guy and what he's doing, but people in a similar industry just got arrested for it, and he's still pushing along, keeping it going. It's like, damn, dude, what do you want from him? Like, just let the dude live.
I saw one comment that was so funny. It was so one of the leakers, Pewpiece, he'll post some Twitter pictures here and there about the leaked chapter, but somebody said, why don't you just release all the leaks and pages right now? And then I clicked on the guy's account, and one of his first tweets that I saw was talking about how, oh no, like this one Twitter leaker got his account got banned. I can't believe it. And it's like, yeah, because he posted the chapter, you loser. Why are you asking other people to do it? It's so dumb, dude. People are, dude, Twitter isn't real. I feel like Twitter is not real sometimes. Like the people who actively post on Twitter, half of them brain dead. Actually brain dead.
I agree. There was something
It's
that came up
ridiculous.
later, and that discourse came into my live stream, like in the comments, and I'm like, I'm literally like, this is straight up from Twitter. And the irony was that my comment that I made in my stream was sarcastically mocking the Twitter people that would say it, and then they came and thing attacking me. I'm like, oh my God, it's literally you're
Yeah,
literally why I made the meme in the thing. So when we come across it, we'll come across it. But
it's so good. Where
yeah,
were we, dude?
we just passed
My
Usopp's
master. Oh, no, no,
yeah.
no. One last thing about Usopp. Oh my god. So Usopp is like my masters, you know, like he's so
Yeah.
excited about seeing them. And then what does Usopp do? He says, well, we gotta hurry up and move these boxes. We gotta hurry up and finish up. Like I thought
Wait.
he was gonna go down there. Like I was kind of expecting Usopp to like jump down from the clouds, and I was like, oh, that'd be sick.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Because he does
Yeah,
have the trampoline pop green. So we know that Usopp can like go down there and be fine.
I'm pretty sure he probably also has like some kind of parachuting things. He also has
Yeah.
he has the Milky Road thing that like
Oh
um
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. The Milky Dial, right?
yeah, he has like a Milky dial. Also, Nami can do the same thing. So like what Vegapunk did and made that Cloud Road, he did at Punk Hazard, and Nami also shown us separately. I forget where, but Usopp when they went to Punk Hazard, he made a bridge out of smoke, so he could do something with that.
Yeah. But
Um,
well, there's bigger fish to fry, Par. We have to get that ship ready.
yeah. Well, I thought it was just funny because he said finish our prep, and I'm like, what prep? What were you prepping for? And there was no point in
It's busy
any.
work, dude. It's so busy work. It's like when Jinbei, like before last chapter, Jinbei the entire time was moving boxes. You remember that? Like
The one of
I
the
don't know.
strongest warlords on the seas, ex warlord,
Moving
ex
boxes, bro.
Whitebeard
That's
pirate, or
crazy.
yeah, yeah, the strongest fishman. I think I could say that, like the strongest fishman moving boxes on the clouds. But at least I don't know if it's right after this. Yeah, it is right after this. At least I was happy because like these boots make him like fly in the air. I'm like, at least he's having fun, like
Yeah,
yeah,
Jinbei's having a good time.
yeah.
I will say though, the busy work that we're getting is kind of crazy because it really just puts into scope just how many straw hats we have. Like we still don't even see Robin this chapter. Like we saw her last chapter, and then she's
True.
missing again from this one. Like Brooke has one single panel, Jinbei has two panels. Like we have so many people, it's hard to like keep up with everybody. That's why I am in favor of splitting up the crew
Hmm.
come Elbaf because I feel like that would give us more time to like spend with Usopp and the Giants, Luffy and the Giants and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people do not like splitting because well, we had like a whole stint where we didn't see Zoro for a long time.
The
We had a whole
Zoro.
stint where we didn't see Sanji for a long time. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's rough.
yeah.
It's rough.
It is. Yeah, I mean, I like the Sanji stuff, but then also, like, what was it was like how many years, right? Like, realistically, in the show, it's an arc, but like, not.
Was it like
I
two
said
and a half years or 3 years?
I think it's like 2, 3, yeah, it's something around there, right?
I think it was
I,
three. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I said Zoro fans, but like realistically, yeah, when we saw Zoro, I got really happy when like Luffy gave him that hug. I realized in that moment, like, don't, it's been a long time since we've seen this guy. And uh yeah, splitting up the crew is a tough one, but what gives me a little bit of I guess solace is that Oda, especially in this arc, has shown like a mastery, in my opinion, of being able to jump places and like make it feel okay. Like this,
Yeah.
we went from Hachinosu, Reverie, to like the Rev stuff to a flashback, and in between that, we had the main arc Egghead still flowing in a way that wasn't annoying, right? I think that's like the main thing where it's like whenever we cut away, it didn't feel bad, and then we didn't spend too long elsewhere. We jumped back, we did that, and so if Oda does split up the crew, I don't think it'll feel like that going forward. I think he'll split it up really well, hopefully, right? But here's a question:
What's up?
this Brook line, right? Did it feel like Lilith was giving crew vibes, like she's gonna at least join the ship for a little bit? That smack on Brooke's head, does that feel like a crewmate type of behavior?
Um, I feel like at this point, since the dragon option is kind of dead right now, I
Hmm.
do feel like Lilith will be with us until the next island. Like we'll drop her off at Elbaf or something. So here's my zany prediction for what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
We're gonna go to Elbaf. The whole crew will.
Okay.
We'll have the Vegapunks with us, whatever, Bonnie, and then we are gonna hear that Fishman Island and Wano have been attacked by Blackbeard, and then that is when the crew splits up.
Because of
Luffy
the
goes to
caribou
Fishman
stuff.
Island, and then we get the Madame Charlie vision completion thing. He shows up at the very end. Luffy's standing there amidst the flames of Fishman Island.
Mm.
Wano, the borders have been destroyed. Zoro's over there or something.
And
And then,
you didn't mention it, but the
oh, what's up?
reason why is because in this chapter, Caribou showed up and he knows
Yes.
about the ancient weapons, and he would relay that, and then Blackbeard would be like, "Well, if the world government's not taking them, I will." And then he goes
Yeah.
after. Got it.
So I think Luffy and the crew are
Interesting.
going to be too late to save it. They're just going to be there at the very end. Like, we see the fallout of Wano, the fallout of Fishman, and then Luffy goes back to Elbaf to reconvene to get the crew, and then that is when Shanks fights Blackbeard. That is my bucket list, or my crazy prediction, my fantasy football teams.
That is pretty zany. That is, it's
Yeah.
interesting, but it's not out there considering like one thing Oda does is that he brings like old elements to us usually, right? But like now in Egghead, he hasn't been doing that. He's been keeping them separate and we've been going to them. So like Hachinosu, Garp, like we've been seeing so many other things and the Revs and so if Fishman Island and Wano were attacked. Well, Wano has Yamato, but that's not strong enough, I don't
I
think.
think
For
Yamato's going to lose, and
yeah.
that's when Yamato's going to. This is going to sound stupid now. Yamato's going to join us because she lost as the guardian of Wano.
Wano's a harder one to say because like there's a number of strong people on
Do you
there.
think, dude, if Blackbeard wanted to, he could so beat Wano?
All of Wano because like there
Yeah.
are a lot of fighters,
I mean,
right?
Blackbeard beat the Whitebeard remnants, and that was before like his crew possibly had even like the
But
devil groups they have
even
now.
but even your boy Akainu was hesitant about Wano. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
just
And there's a
rumors.
reason.
Okay, Akainu hyped up Wano for no reason. Like, oh, they have scary samurai, and then we get over there, and then like the samurai, like yeah, they're strong. Like the scabbards or whatever, but in the
I
grand scheme of things, they could not do anything to Kaido.
This is a crazy tangent, but like I still think about that. Like, what did Odin do to Akainu for him to like? What did Akainu see for him? Because he's not the type of person to like build up like a random
Dude,
civilization
Wano's
like
legacy
that.
is carried by Odin and Ryuma. And I don't even think they know about Ryuma. So it's probably, like you said, it's probably just Odin. Like,
Yeah, like Odin was
just
just
his
with
feats in the
Roger
past.
in a kind. What did a kind? But like my point is like we saw the year that Odin was with Roger. That it almost sounds like either Akainu read the newspaper and then saw like crazy samurai man chops island in half, and then it's like, and then up all these years he's been shivering. He becomes fleet admiral. He's like, I'm never sending my men there. Oh no, Ryoku,
Yeah.
don't go there.
It's
Don't.
a suicide mission. No, I think so I'm trying to think of the timeline now, but maybe some other Marines saw Odin and then they're like, hey, Akainu, like, you know, Akainu's like a cadet like Kobe. He's like, Akainu, stay away from those samurai. Like, you know, Odin was crazy. He killed all of our crew. And then that is where Akainu gets that idea from, you know, he just grew up like fearing the boogeyman.
And I can rationalize that up until Akainu. And the reason why I say that at no part of my purview of Akainu is that he cares about someone's like rumors and things. He's so strong that he would verify it himself, you know what I
Maybe it
mean?
came from Garp or Sengoku though.
And even then he's just like, old man, you still walking around these
Yeah, but like, 20, 40, whatever years ago, like, yeah, he'd be like, okay, yeah, Garp has some good words of wisdom here. Same with Sengoku.
I agree with that. If it was like a Garp or Sengoku or Kong or whatever, and he's for some reason respects their thing up until like 20 years later, right? Because we have to realize like Odin's been dead for 20 years. So Akainu was what, like 49, 50. Well, how old is Akainu?
But it's one of those things where it's like you never need to verify like Wano's strength. Like they are
They
a
wouldn't need
lawless
to.
country. It's isolated. Like who cares about those losers?
That's fair. That's fair, right? It's just funny because it felt like so out of character for him to be like, ah. they have a strong force. We're not able to send people there. You know, I'm like, damn, really? You can't? And like, and then Ryokugu shows up and he pretty much handles like if they just sent Ryokugu +1. Yeah, like I feel
Yeah.
like right now it's like they'd probably be able to do stuff, right? And then as long as a wild Shanks doesn't appear in the wild, right? Like as long as that doesn't happen, I think they
Yeah.
got it, right? So
Yeah.
in that regard, if Blackbeard shows up to Wano, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna feel, you know what? I like that idea. I like all of your idea mainly because that's what Blackbeard did with Whole Cake Island. After Luffy left, after Luffy disheveled it, he came in, took what he wanted. Why wouldn't he do that with Wano, especially if he has an ancient weapon apparently
Waiting for
there,
him. And dude,
right?
Blackbeard is so built to do that. Like he has the Gura Gura no Mi. Like
I
he can
never.
literally just smash that wall.
Yeah, I
Like
get
we don't
like
need Zunisha.
again. I've as far as thinking about this goes, the jumping point for me is this chapter where Caribou says what he says to who he says it to. So like now that you're saying that, I don't think that like I ever even uh, pondered upon like the Straw Hats um going like that out of the way for those kinds of reasons. But now, as far as moving forward, yeah, like splitting up the crew, and then like if they have to protect Wano and Fishman Island, like what do they choose? Which way they go? They have a small group, and then that could be why, you know, when Luffy after Dressrosa is like, I don't need you guys, talking to the Grand Fleet. But that's exactly where he would need the Grand Fleet. That's why Whitebeard had one. That's why, you know, like all these other characters. And then Shanks, we don't know how he's able to do what he does, but there you go. Like Barto rolled up into one of his territories and took it out. But Barto's not like that guy. But Shanks doesn't have like a military to immobilize every time something like
Wait,
that
no, no,
happens.
he has the Denture Smile Club guy and
Yeah,
what
ball
ball
fingers.
fingers, ball fingers, Toei or something, whatever, what that loser's name was.
You just called him that loser. Why would I remember his name?
There's a lot of losers out there. Let me see.
Yeah,
I've
but
been using the word loser a lot recently.
yeah.
One Piece ball
Heard it.
finger. That's what I typed into
Did you
Google.
Google
Oh,
one?
wait. It popped up. Ball
No.
fingers Garotini on the One Piece
Wait,
wiki.
that's actual. No, his name's not Ball Fingers. We made that up.
No. That was an actual thing. Remember? That was his actual epithet. Look it
No.
up. Look it up. Type in ball fingers One Piece. Yeah. Garotini, brother.
Wait, I thought we made that up.
No, we didn't make it up. No, that was like an actual translation.
I
So
remember there was an epithet, but I thought it was like ball tip. That's not better, but like,
okay, no. So this is what happened. This is back when OP scans and TCB were like, at it.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
OP scans translated ball fingers directly based on like what it says.
Uh-huh.
And then TCB, they changed it to be like padded toe Garotini.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about right.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
they took that like that extra step and they're like, hey, maybe it's not ball fingers. Maybe, it's a reference because he's a frog. So
And
it,
then
it, it
Viz,
depends which
Viz is
what
like,
you want
no,
to go with. I think even the Viz went with ball fingers actually.
yeah. The Viz has to be ball fingers because the wiki referenced the Viz.
Yeah,
So,
see, so the Viz agrees with OP scans here. I love
oh,
that.
frog toes. I think TCB might have said frog toes,
It was
and that's
padded toe because I remember
padded
it
toe?
was really cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me see. What chapter was this? 1079. I think
Yeah,
TCB definitely did
1079.
padded toe.
But
They kind of
that's
wanted
so,
that one.
yeah, it's so funny because I'm at remembering at least that when we got into the call for this, right? This is 1079, so Shanks, right? A Shanks
Yeah,
chapter.
padded toe Garotini.
Yeah, and so I came into that and I made a joke about like his things like and whatever, and then you said it. I thought we were just on the same wavelength. You're like, no, this is actually a translation. I remember now. That was
Yeah,
funny.
ball fingers, man. It's canon.
I
We're
can't
gonna have a
believe
ball finger character. Yo, that's
in
dope.
Legendary Chapter 1079. Some people put this top one of Egghead. Ball fingers is canon in that. That's so
See,
fun.
dude, I love the dumb characters of One Piece. Like I eat it up, dude. Like what Red King
Ball
in this
fingers
chapter,
even.
Bluegrass, Ball Fingers, the Denture Club captain. Oh man, oh man.
Oh
I
my
love it. I
god.
love One
We're
Piece.
almost at we're almost at our favorite panel. So let's skip this trash
Wait,
ass
so you have a
segment.
favorite panel, right? In this
I had a
chapter?
panel that I think I had a panel that made me react the most.
I'm
And
not gonna lie. So in this chapter, it is not recency bias, but I actually think it has one of One Piece's top panels
huh,
in this chapter.
re-say what you just said. You said something crazy. It's
Out of
not
all,
just what?
it's not just recency bias.
What is recency? Recency?
Reese. Okay, so moving on, Par. So wait. Last thing before we get to the Lucci stuff. So the Thousand Sunny is flying off, and like you said, Lilith gives some orders here. She gives off these weird like Nakama vibes. But
Mhm.
what do you think the plan is? Do you think we're just gonna hop on the ship and go? Because it does seem like we mentioned it 3 times in this chapter that we need to leave. Like the characters
Mhm.
are like, hey, we gotta get out. Like I think 4 times actually. Like 4 different characters. Like what? Rob
Gotta
Lucci
go.
and Zoro, Usopp, I believe Jimbei, and then I think there's one more character that also says we have to go soon. But it's like, is Egghead Island ending quicker than we thought? Like, do you think we're gonna hop on the ship and go, or do you think we're gonna stop the ship and wait?
I think to that question we hop into the because I actually asked a similar thing. Rob Lucci says a crazy line. He says
A great line.
those fools will never make it if they can't cut off the arm to save the body. Giving up now would be doing them a favor. Waiting for a corpse is pointless. And so I think like that line really stood out to me. One, it's Rob Lucci giving it. Rob Lucci in a lot of ways I regard as like I think Oda uses him as like a
Rational.
smart character that like when he says something, it typically is a very like sound take of what's happening, right? And him saying that made it to me. I'm like, so the Straw Hats are gonna need to make a sacrifice. What does that sacrifice look like? And it did ponder like I did think about this as far as when we talked a little bit about this, maybe a lot, just in a different scope when we're talking about the Thousand Sunny and them possibly having to leave without it or something like that, or like Morgan's ship is coming, and that this is where I'm kind of wondering. Based off what you said, do we stop? Do we go? Maybe there's a world where that split up thing happens and part of the crew leaves with the ship, the part of the crew that can't survive, like these characters, right? And
Yeah.
I think the Straw Hats know which ones they are and they'll self elect themselves and they'll leave. And then you'll be left with what, like a Jinbei, Zoro, Luffy, Sanji staying here, and that might give us a really and Frankie I guess is still here or not, I don't know, but that might give a good separation where this like the weaker Straw Hats they've had done this before where they reflected upon their strength, the relative strength, and realized they need to get stronger post time skip, or time skip is one of those times, but like this could be one of those things, and maybe they use that time to get stronger, and then Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, whatever, all the top strong fighter characters, they have to find a different way to get off the island, and they would need someone who can coordinate it all, but again, we have like what Morgan's is coming, Vivi might be coming. There could be another way, and that Vivi part is important to me because what would they be missing if you left well, Sanji aside, but like Luffy, Zoro, Jinbei and Sanji are a little bit better. They're more rational. But like Nami is the one who's making orders. Robin's the one who's making orders. Usopp's making the orders. So if you left these dudes on the island to figure out what to do next and how to plan, if Vivi shows up, she's that character. She's that perfect character
Yeah.
because she was like basically that for the Alabasta saga. So if that's the way it goes down, and the again to tie it all back, the reason why I'm thinking that is because Rob Lucci said like they need to cut off the arm, and that's a very like Oda metaphor. And again, it's Lucci saying it. It's meaningful, and I'm on a similar place with you where I'm questioning like what happens with the ship? Does it
Are we
stop? Do they get
leaving?
on?
Are we
Yeah.
going?
They hop off? One thing I do want to address though is that so I forgot who said it. It was one of my main viewers though. They said, why can't the Vega Force fly like Jinbei? that would have solved so many problems. Like the Vega Force is running, remember? And
We
then
don't ask those questions, Par.
I was like, damn, if it just flew like that, that'd make everything a lot easier. But yeah, yeah,
That's
I'm
like
not too
asking why
sure.
didn't Jinbei deliver the boxes like that too? Because he was also walking them.
Mm. Oh, you know what?
What's up?
If your theory that the Iron Giant isn't a paraplegic, maybe the Iron Giant is how like Luffy figures out how to work that thing, and then you have the
Oh, and
fighters
that's how they
use
go to the
that.
next island.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
also Jinbei being here, this Iron Giant last mobilized 200 years ago when Fishman Island was like accepted into world government. So maybe with the history tying together, they figured things out, and then Luffy figures out how to make Gear 5 make that thing work, right? So maybe that's something. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I wonder if the Iron Giant has like Fishman PTSD. Like maybe he sees Jinbei and then he starts like moving again for sure.
That's crazy. That I didn't think you said that. You said that.
Because the way it sounded to me is that the Fishmen did something against the Iron Giant, and that's why they got accepted into the world government, right?
No.
What?
Yeah, wait, what? That's not what I thought.
Okay, wait. So 200 years ago, the robot attacked Marie Joie, right?
Yes.
The robot goes down. And in that same year,
It stops.
Fishman,
They don't it stops in
or
its
yeah,
tracks.
yeah,
It doesn't
it stops doing stuff. But in
yeah.
that same year, Fishmen finally get accepted to go back to the world government.
Yeah.
So the Fishmen definitely they did something to be in the world government's favor, right?
Okay.
So I'm just like, and the way it's, the fact that it's all in one panel is like, okay, maybe the Fishmen helped stop the ancient robot.
Well, they didn't stop. Well, like you mean like they hit a button or something? Because what we
Or no,
know,
like not a well, you can take it any way you want. Like hit a button, kill the guy who was activated it, or maybe they just assist in like damage control. They went
uh-huh.
up to Marie Joie and said, "Hey, I'll heal you guys." I don't know. Like something happened with Fishman and this ancient robot, and somehow out of all of it, Fishman came out on top with the world government.
Okay. But okay, and you're saying because of that situation, the Iron Giant has fisherman PTSD.
Yeah. Because like maybe the Fishmen like
See,
worked with the world government. Like we don't know anything about it. Like I am only regurgitating the facts we know of, and just making these little conclusions here. I'm like Rob Lucci,
the little conclusion of the Iron Giant having Fishman PTSD isn't a little. See, that's where I was hung up
We
on.
know that
Your
they're tied though.
analysis.
Like it's
Yeah,
all
we're tied.
connected.
It doesn't have to be.
The Fishmen and the world government started singing "Kumbaya" after the giant went down.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I have recessancy bias, but I don't think it has Fishman PTSD.
I don't, dude. I don't think it has actual Fishman PTSD, but like, what if he sees Jinbei, right?
And he starts shaking, he starts trembling.
No, Par. He doesn't start shaking. He starts running away from him.
Ah,
Yeah. There we
wait,
go.
wait. So that means that also it has legs then.
Oh, what if it starts hobbling on the ground? Have you ever played Worms?
Mm, I feel like Worms is such a vague name for anything, really. Like, I feel like Worms could be a game for like you could say Worms and we could be talking about completely different things. I could just agree with you. Yes,
So
I've
Worms
heard
is
of
like
the
an
game.
old video game where like you're a worm and you just like crawl.
So it's not like Snake, like where you eat stuff, and because some of those depict you as a worm that ate things.
Well, a worm and a snake are a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah, but
Um,
the snake. Okay, not all of us could afford a Nokia phone back then, so some of us had to play Worm. The knockoff
no, it
brand.
wasn't on a phone, Par. This is like PSX or not PSX, like
PSX,
PlayStation 2. Like it's
PlayStation 2. I didn't
yeah,
have those.
Worms, dude. It was a
Damn,
big franchise back in the day.
I lived under a rock. I'll be honest. I was like
So did the
Patrick.
Worms.
Wait, why did you bring up the worms? What were we talking?
because because the Iron Giant's gonna hobble around like a worm.
Oh, so you could have just said you didn't need to make a game. I know what a worm does. You didn't need to be like, you remember that game from 1996?
Oh, it's like a Nazi zombie when you like blow off the legs because you're trying to like stall for your friend who's in the bathroom. Have you ever done that?
like okay, Call of Duty zombie, yes. Like I don't know what world timeline you live in where we had Nazi zombies. Like,
Wait, wait, okay. So before
why are
Call
we
of Duty
referencing
Zombies,
all of the? We said the Kremlin, we said Nazis. Like we're just yeah, everything.
no. So you came
It's
in too late.
educational. YouTube, it's educational.
You came in way too late because before they rebranded to Call of Duty Zombies,
Yeah.
they were Nazi zombies.
No, I know that, but like, okay, fine. All right, fine. They're Nazi zombies. You're right.
And then
Just
like in
like
the
when you,
background, whenever you play Call of Duty, like
it could
World at
also
War,
just be
and the zombies,
zombies.
brother, no, it was called Nazi zombies. They were
No,
Nazis.
no, I'm saying like your reference of saying that the legendary Iron Giant moves like a zombie. All the zombies. It doesn't have to be
Okay,
not.
the more popular version of zombies was the Nazi ones, because like every now and then you'll have like, every now and then you'll have Hitler laughing in the background. I think because
You
sometimes
just said the name.
you'll pull the teddy bear and then you hear the in the background. It's so great.
Guys,
Good
I
days, man. Good
apologize
days.
ahead of time if you listen to us out
No,
loud.
no.
I don't know where to
If
place.
anybody here used to play Call of Duty back in the day, they know exactly what I'm talking
No, they
about.
know, but we just said like four demonetized. Like
Hey, half of my
YouTube's
channels aren't even monetized. It's fine. You think I care at this point, Par? I hate YouTube.
yeah,
I hate doing
YouTube.
this. Why are we even
Your
here? So,
your YouTube manager's like, oh yeah, I'll help you outside, and then he sees the buzzwords on your last video. It's like, hey, do you want to explain this to
not
me?
even my YouTube manager can help me. It's too far gone. So it doesn't matter. This is a drop in the bucket. But hear me out. So the Iron Giant, just like a zombie, is crawling on the ground after you like blow off their legs,
Yes.
and it's running away from Jimbei.
Okay. Yeah, because the Fishman PTSD from
Yes,
200 years ago.
yes. There we go. Finally, you see the vision. For a
yeah,
guy named
that's.
Par Vision, you had your eyes closed, brother.
Oh my God. Yep, you're right. God damn, I was sleeping on the Psy vision right there.
Yeah, there we
Ooh.
go. Thank you,
Ooh,
dude.
I might
Honestly, Par,
just
when
leave
we get
this
to the
on.
Iron Giant and it starts crawling away from Jimbei, you owe me an apology.
You know what?
Imagine he's like, please no. Like he starts like talking. He's like, stay
Yeah,
away.
First son of the sea, don't touch me. Like
Fishman disease. Ah,
I
dirty.
I will commit. If we get the situation where the legendary Iron Giant comes back to life, sees Jinbei, starts crawling away like a Nazi zombie, I will apologize to you.
I feel like that one guy who so I don't know if you looked at the Super Bowl bets. One guy voted or bet that Taylor Swift will land a touchdown.
Yeah,
And the odds were like 1 against 14 billion or something ridiculous.
Imagine if it happened.
That's
though.
me right now.
Imagine if it happened. He would be
Oh, he'd be
legendary.
rich,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be
He wouldn't
so
just
rich.
be. He'd be legendary. He'd be the legendary Iron Giant for sure.
Yeah, you think so? He would cut off his legs and crawl from fish.
No, not cut off his Back to Zoro and Luffy.
Wait.
like-
Have you ever seen those evolution memes where you see like a lizard crawling out of the water
Yeah,
from like billions of years ago? That's just the Iron Giant.
yeah.
It's just the evolution of man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
And we don't understand because we're not advanced enough. But 800 years ago, they were so beyond us. They were like, "Why do we need
Yeah.
legs?" Yeah, honestly,
Oh, that's so
maybe
good.
that's interesting. Wait, isn't
we'd
there
be like a bunch of Geo dudes.
not Geodudes is a good one, but Gundam has it. That's separate. In Dragon Ball, don't they have the robots that don't have legs and they just fly and they just have arms?
You're talking about the peel-off robot from old school Dragon Ball.
Ooh, I mean Oda loves that. So like, hold on.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's very like Power Rangers coded.
Yeah. I spelled peel off like a fucking goon. I knew it was spelled like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what? I'm looking at it. This could very well be that like we have the top half and the legs are somewhere else.
And you know what would be amazing if we get like a robot that is missing legs? It would be reminiscent of Thriller Bark, where like the Straw Hats combined together to make a robot.
Yeah. Wait,
Honestly, that was like the Straw Hats' strongest form. I'd
Yeah,
argue.
yeah, yeah. Was it BF? Battle Tactics 9, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
Battle Tactics 9.
Yeah, and then Robin said, "Don't ever do this ever again."
Yeah. If Robin played along, I think they could have beat Orz and Moria right there.
Yeah, considering Zoro played along, Robin should have. I mean, if I saw Zoro taking part in that, I'd be like, all right, fine.
But you have to imagine it's a little bit different for Robin because she was wearing like a skirt.
Oh yeah,
So
true, true, true.
it would be kind of awkward, you know?
Yeah, yeah. She could have. Oh, she wasn't strong enough. She could have
Yeah,
made a
it's
bodyguard.
different for the boys to do it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like a boys' world, you know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's 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 a dog eat dog world out there, and all the
yeah.
dogs are men. Love
Yo,
it.
I'm
I'd partake in the battle tactics. It's
I'm
hilarious.
actually on this boat that like there is no legs to Sledge Iron Giant and the legs are somewhere else. After looking at the peel off machine, and I'm thinking like, yo, Oda could definitely do this. I could see it now. That'd be
Dude, it would be so funny because imagine we get to the robot and we're expecting something, and then people are just gonna be laughing at the fact that he has no legs. It's gonna be so good, dude. I'm
yeah,
excited. I hope he
yeah.
doesn't have legs for the jokes.
Yeah, I mean, now that I have a Dragon Ball, because that's the thing. You ever get, if any of you guys theorize, right, and you have a Dragon Ball reference, I say run with it because Oda loves hyping up Dragon Ball. Like he
And then we can
literally,
give him legs from somebody else too.
yeah, yeah. Why? Maybe that's what Frankie does. Maybe
Oh, Frankie
Frankie,
builds legs. Oh, that'd be huge. If Frankie
yeah,
can match technology from like the Void
and
Century,
use them.
that's big for him actually.
Yeah, like what if he looks at it and he's like, wait, I know how to do this. I would love. Wait, actually,
Wait,
we
yeah,
cooked.
wait. Frankie and the craziest part is that Frankie hasn't even like seen the Iron Giant in person yet either. He wasn't with Luffy or Chopper
True.
or Jinbei. Oh yeah, this could be big. Yeah, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Oh, this all came from zombies, dude.
No, it didn't come from zombies. Okay, it started way
This all
earlier
came from
than that.
Nazi zombies, my man.
No, it did not. All I'm gonna say is
Huge.
that we were in the kitchen and we made a mess. But when we came out of the kitchen, we cooked something good up. Don't look back at the kitchen though. Don't look back.
Is it edible? I don't know yet. You know, it's theory soup. It's theory soup, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it'd be
We just
hilarious.
gotta serve it to Oda, and then imagine we were editors, right? And we were pitching like some side plot
He'd
lines,
be
and
so
Oda's like,
sick of us.
yeah, yeah. Oda would be like,
We would be fired like day one. Like we have the dumbest ideas. We walk up like, hey, please check it out. Please check it out.
I think the
We'd be like
two.
Odochi.
No, we wouldn't be
We'd be
like
like Odochi trying to like go up to Sukiyaki, Yasui,
all of them.
Odin.
No,
Like, can we
he
have
was
money, sir? Please check this out. Please.
no because
That's literally us.
if we pitched the two ones that I think Oda would like, I think he would like them. It was the Recycle Cur one, and then this one. I think
Dude,
the
oh
two.
wait. The recycle cur idea, man. I don't know. It could be kind of good.
Yeah, that's
Coming
what
off of
I'm
this
saying.
chapter. Yeah. We
Oh
we we
yeah,
cooked that one up, dude. And let me tell you, that is a way to get that man to live.
yeah, yeah.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, real quick, I'm gonna give a quick refresher. You know, like how Usopp told us about a little garden here. I'm gonna tell you guys about the recycle cur theory that me and Par talked about.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
we talked about Vegapunk dying back, like literally, I think back when we got the recycle cur, right?
Yeah, yeah. The
Or after we met
chapter,
Vegapunk.
the chapter we got the Recycle Cur. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
After Vegapunk and we got the Stella part.
Yes. After we
Yeah,
saw the real Vegapunk, we came up with this idea where the dog of Egghead Island that eats trash would be turned it will be turned into the new Vegapunk, and it would be like Goddard from Jimmy Neutron. Like
yes,
we just put the brain on top of the dog, and he's just Vegapunk.
yeah,
It
and
sounds silly when I describe it, but I think it would go kind of hard. Imagine having a pet Vegapunk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely a lot of nuance that was lost, but adding the nuance doesn't help in this context.
Yeah,
It's a
it
silly
really
theory.
doesn't.
It's a silly theory, but it was born out of Sai's observation Maki being triggered by the narrator box being given for the recycle cur. Like the most random, to the point that the anime directors decided to take that narrator box and give the dog a whole. He bit Luffy, and he had a whole like maybe 2 minute, like minute and a half, 90 second like entire reel where he was chasing a Yonko. And
Yeah.
so, hey, listen, the anime, they, if you
It's
guys
interesting,
like,
huh?
Yeah, if you guys
Like
like the Aokiji cover story thing, that's the same vein. It's in the same vein what they did with Recycle Cur and Kuzan.
that recycle cur, like it had its own like introductionary panel. Like it was like one of the Yonko crew or something. It was
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, hey, if the Goddard idea works, I feel like we just hit our Taylor Swift touchdown.
Yeah. We don't get rich off of it and we don't become
We'd have to go
legendary.
back and like clip it though, you know?
Yeah, we can pat ourselves on the back real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we get for that.
Well, it's like one of those things where I'm trying to think like like the guy that goes to CVS to get like Plan B, and then you ever see that picture where like the guy like there's the CVS behind him and the lights are shining, and then the guy's like all like shaded, and it's like the unsung hero. That would be us with this theory.
What meme is this? I didn't see this.
You've never seen that?
You just described something so out of pocket. And I'm like, you just acted like it's normal. And I feel
No,
like it probably
it was a
is.
meme. It was a meme.
Yeah, I know it is, but it doesn't help. Like, it's the same thing where you describe the recycled cur thing to anybody who doesn't know. They just think we're two crazy dudes. But like, you just didn't know the meme. I'm like, yeah, sure.
No, dude. I think all the guys out there know what I'm talking about.
Maybe I've seen it and I just never like looked at it. And maybe no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. No, I don't. I feel like I'd remember this.
We're an hour and a half in. We're on like page 3.
No.
The
Well,
memes are coming back.
technically the part that really we spent the most time talking about technically is the Zoro Lucci fight. Because I
Wait,
pulled the
what?
dialogue, because the dialogue you asked me the question of like, are the Strats
Well,
leaving their
okay.
staying?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, whoa. We have the dialogue from page 4, guys. Big difference. We haven't talked about page 4 though. Like at the events of Rob Lucci and
Technically.
Zoro.
Technically, like if we went back to the spoiler
I'll
thing
give
with
you
the
like a
bullet,
3.5.
2.5 out of what?
I don't know. 3.5 out of pages completed.
Gotcha. I thought you were rating me like a Google like a Yelp review or something.
Oh my
Like,
god.
but yeah. I mean, what did you think about the Zoro Lucci thing? A lot of people
Um,
probably were up in a tizzy about this, right?
yeah, people are up in a tizzy. I mean, honestly, anything we get, everybody's up in a tizzy. I like this is exactly what I expected. This is the outcome I expected.
Yeah,
And I think most rational people expected as well, right? Like Zoro
but
versus Lucci, they're clashing. Cool.
yeah, but I bet you also not relief, but it was just like, thank
I
goodness a
was
little bit
not
like.
worried.
No, not that.
Don't put that on me. I was never worried that Rob Lucci would get one shot. I thought that was
No, not that.
ludicrous.
No,
What's
not
up?
that. That we like the because I was like, oh, thank God the meme isn't real. That it's not base Lucci. Like it was actually awakened Lucci. Like the base Lucci meme was so funny and like so
Oh
many
yeah,
people brought it
yeah.
up. Like to the point I think Brago had it in his top 50. He wrote base Lucci.
Base Lucci.
Someone wrote base Lucci above Zoro, and I was like, in the top
That's so good. That's so good.
yeah, and then
That's a
I
great
saw it,
meme.
and I was like, oh, it's not base Lucci. But then I looked over, and it's not three sword style do rag conquers hockey flame on Zoro. All those power ups on one guy is crazy. They all matter.
But Par, I'm gonna add a new power up to Lucci. Is his clock
Okay.
ticking? Is the pendulum swinging? Because
Oh,
that's like the gag he has. Yeah, that's the gag he has. Is his pendulum swinging? I don't know, dude. It's like Don Krieg and how, like, you know, they say the hourglass is a countdown to your demise. Lucci's pendulum shows that your time's ticking.
You know what? I'm memeing when I say this, but I'd actually like it if like the anime gives us the nuance. And I wouldn't like it because the manga didn't do it and Oda could do it. Where if in order to go awakening, Lucci dingles his fucking beard.
No, it does it by itself. It's sentient.
It's a sentient.
No, yeah, it is. Like, you watch the episode, like, it literally does it by itself.
It's a metronome, dude. Oh
Yeah.
shit! Maybe it acts like a metronome for Luffy's Gear 5, so he stays in rhythm. Like that's gonna be
Oh,
their
that'd be
Frieza.
huge. A
Yeah,
great
yeah.
duo. Yeah, yeah.
And the
You know,
last saga, Luffy's like, I
Rob
can't
Lucci
feel the
is like a
rhythm. I don't know.
Frieza, huh?
He's like, I can't hear the sound of my,
See
and
it?
then you just hear ch, ch, and then it was silhouette. Lucci comes out, beard first, metronome.
Oh
He's awakening,
God.
and then Luffy's like Lucci, and then they do the Frieza Goku type thing, and then like haha, and then
Yeah.
Zoro's on the side crying because it should have been Zoro.
Yeah, Lucci's like, you beat me, Luffy. You can't lose to Emu.
Yeah.
Just something so silly. Hey, that'd be
You
huge.
can't lose to an 800-year sentient god that's like the grasp of like space-time continuum. And Lucci's like, we can't possibly lose to that.
Yeah, we can't lose to this loser. He's bald.
As a jaguar and a white bouncy kid. Like, yes, the final duo. Oh my god. Or
It's
leopard,
great. Dude,
whatever.
it's great. Lucci,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, people are upset that Zoro is like being stalled by Lucci, but it's like that's how the fight was always gonna be, right? Like from minute one, it's like we already knew there was gonna be like no clear winner yet. They're just gonna be stalling, and they're both gonna look decent, and that's exactly what's happening here.
yeah.
Like people went in thinking Lucci was a bum. Wow, surprise, he's not. You know, like
Yeah,
Lucci was
yeah.
always strong. Like I don't know where this weird conception came from where Lucci would be dead.
I think you and I to a certain point, because like this conversation lasted all the chapters that they weren't even present. And I think you and I stopped talking about it, and the last thing we said was like at the end of the day, Oda isn't going to make one of them win or lose. It's gonna be the same, and it's PR for both of them, and it's fine. That's just what we're gonna get. And we're getting that. And like the only other thing that I would want to add to that is like the nuance that like they're both tired. Like Lucci came off of getting slap boxed by Luffy, then he like restrained. Stussy knocked him out. He wakes up, has to fight the Seraphims, and then like whatever else. And Zoro had a similar thing where he had to fight the Seraphims as well, and he was fighting Kaku and prior. So it's like they're not coming into this like completely fresh per se, but also it's like the way I also looked at it, like let's say Zoro did want to go max out, right? Like he did against King, where he had the three swords, he had the Conqueror's Hockey thing. I look at it as like Zoro realizes that he can't go all out because he's needed later on. So like
Yeah.
there's no reason for him to be like at the end of the King fight, he couldn't move. At the end of the rooftop thing, he couldn't move. That's how much he put himself. And the only time he did that was on the rooftop. It was to save Luffy, right? Because he needed to block the attack for Luffy. And then also with King, he needed to defeat King, because if he didn't defeat King, King would run rampant across Onigashima separate to Kaido, and then Luffy and Sanji would have to deal with both of them. So I look at this as like Zoro's kind of just like yo, like I'm surviving, we're good. He's here, and as long as I don't lose and I keep him here, that's better for everybody else, right? And
Yeah.
like the amount of effort it would take to beat him would make it worse for the crew later on, because then they don't have a Zoro, right? That's kind of how I think about it. And whereas like Lucci's probably kind of on a similar boat, where I kind of think about Lucci what Kizaru said when Sanji showed up. Kizaru goes like, I have to show up like with something, otherwise I'm gonna lose face. Whereas like Lucci's here, and he came into this fight like, oh man, I can act now because Kizaru's gonna take care of like the Luffy stuff, right? And so now he's here, but also where's Kaku? Like his homie's in there. Like he has this mission, like
Kaku's forgotten.
he has no contacts with Kizaru. Kizaru doesn't even know the Giants are here. Saturn doesn't give a shit about him. And like the last CP0 agent they ordered him to die against Kaido. It's like at the end of the day, there's no sides for Lucci to win on. Like
Yeah.
it might even be the safest thing for him to stay here right now.
Have you
Like,
have you heard about the pant agenda where they're saying that TCB added the pants in the Huffsin for Zoro to make him look bad?
wait, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like an agenda, but like I've seen like
Yeah.
one or two people talking about it. And here's the thing, I love the jokes around it, but there
Yeah.
are people who like take it too seriously, and
Oh, yeah.
that's the problem I have with it. Like if you're just joking about like the Lucci and Zoro stuff, it's like, oh, whatever. But people who like
Yeah.
actually like see this and they get mad, it's like, okay, now that you're silly. Come on.
Yeah, well, for me, yeah, to contextualize the line is like, I could say base Lucci, blah blah blah, but then if I'm like talking about a theory or whatever, and I say like, oh yeah, like, I could see like Zoro, blah blah blah, doing this X or Lucci. Let's use Lucci. I could see Lucci, I don't know, ending up, uh, dealing with the pacifistas on the coast. There's something random, or the vice admirals fighting them.
Yeah.
Let's for whatever reason. And then people be like, "What do you mean Zoro loses to Lucci?" It's like I didn't even say anything like that. You added that. Like, what do you mean? Like
It
Lucci
came out of nowhere.
could have gotten an order and fought them and then left and then changed his directive. Is Zoro going to chase him? No. But like if you mention any idea going forward with either Zoro or Lucci, they're like, so Lucci, you think that base Lucci loses to Zoro?
Base Lucci,
What?
that's hilarious. I love
Yeah,
that Lucci's getting the love though. That's so nice.
yeah. That's the other thing. I saw that on Twitter where people were like Gio put on the big boy pants and started riding Lucci to counter all the hate. And I'm like, I'm with Gio for the most part because it's like Lucci is literally one of the scary, if not the scary, like Crocodile. He's Sandman, like he's made of sand. Anel's Lightning Man. Luffy almost died to a leopard. Like that guy is
He's
scary.
awakened now too. And like the thing with Lucci is that he fought Gear Fifth Luffy. He lost, but like I said, I think everybody loses to Gear Fifth Luffy. Like I don't know why that would be like a loss or an L for him per se. Like
I maybe
there's
maybe
like no reason to downplay Lucci at all. There never
listen,
really was.
maybe I'm a Lucci victim. Maybe I have Lucci PTSD, but I still have the memory that because of Lucci, Luffy had to unlock Gear 2 and Gear 3. And that is crazy. Nobody else can say they did that, right? It's because of Lucci and what he did to the crew on Water 7 that Luffy got Gear 2, Gear 3. And it's
Yeah.
like that's his role in the story in the same vein, in my opinion, of like how Goku unlocks Super Saiyan against Frieza. It's like there's these certain characters that just hold weight. Anytime Frieza shows up again, yeah, he's beneath Goku, but he's not scary. Like he's still really terrifying. And I think
Yeah.
that's the case where it's like, yeah, Luffy looked at Lucci earlier in the saga and was like, yeah, you know you can't beat me, right? That's literally what Goku says to Frieza. And then Frieza's like, shit, he's right. I can't beat him. I
That's
guess I
just
gotta
how it
join
is,
you, you
man.
know? Yeah, and like, but at the end of the day, everybody else is still gonna be like scary. But then also we saw like Nami was stomping on Lucci, right? Like when they were tied up, she's like, "Yeah, take that, boom, 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 boom," right? And it's like we're moving, we're changing the dynamic of the character, but that doesn't change that Lucci is like whatever regard people give Zoro, they need to give Lucci. He's just an antagonist. He's not gonna maybe get to end of series and be like that crazy, but maybe I wouldn't be surprised if he does get that treatment. I think Oda
Yeah.
really likes Lucci too. I mean the TikTok beard thing was some crazy add-on
That
by
was
the
that
anime
was
directors,
an
but I'm not mad.
interesting addition.
I'm not mad because it's kind of fun, but like the dude has a white pigeon that people still think it's a human. We give him a metronome beard. He's awake in Zoa now. Leopard, cool. We're getting
I
along.
kind of view him how I view like Crocodile even, like we beat them a long time ago, but when they come back, man, these guys are going to be powerful.
Yeah,
Like they're definitely going to get scaled up. And Lucci's
yeah,
just one of them.
yeah. That's yeah. That I
But
yeah.
that being said, I feel like Zoro is probably going to beat him next chapter though.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because like we don't know. Do we know what Lucci like? We know what Kizaru wants. We know what Saturn wants, sort of, right? Do we know right now what Lucci's trying to do? Because he came here with a mission, but that mission kind of got taken away from him, and now he leaked all the stuff. But like, what did they tell him to do afterwards? I don't think we know that, right?
I don't think we know because he hasn't had like direct contact with them, right?
Right. And that's my thing. Like I think if I know what he's trying to do, because right here it just looks like, hey, you lose if I keep you here. That's what Lucci is kind of saying, right? He's saying your crew won't make it out with you still here, and if they wait, you're gonna die, right? So it's kind of this weird thing where it's like it feels like Lucci knows that he has to stall Zoro, but it's like at the end of the day, if like Lucci, not Lucci, Zoro, Luffy, Sanji, not that it doesn't change anything. Obviously, I think Kizaru, like, he'll have his hands more than full. But the reason why I'm like, I don't even know what that means because I don't know what Saturn does. And that gets continued on later in the
Oh, hey,
chapter.
we don't have to talk about Saturn. He's pointless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
just pretend like he's not even here. Come on, let's be
yeah, I
real.
tweeted something and I don't regret tweeting it. Like, if he changes my mind later on, sure. But like that, my point in saying that is that right now the two major players still is like Kizaru and Lucci. They're the scariest people here, right? Like
Yeah. So we
Saturn is
have
scary, but
in terms
he's
of scary, Kizaru, Lucci, Red King, Bluegrass, the Otter one.
Yo,
Doll is
the
in
otter
there as
gets no,
well.
no, Bluegrass higher because she
Bluegrass
can sit on
higher.
your back. You're done. She rides you
Yeah,
to
she'll
the
just
end of
ride you.
dawn.
Yeah. I mean, Saturn. He's kind of low on the list right now in terms of like impressive characters.
You know what Saturn is? Saturn's like okay, follow the metaphor. Okay, guys.
Okay, let's
He's
do
a
it. Let's do it.
silverback gorilla behind a zoo, behind plexiglass, bulletproof glass. He's behind, like, he's scary. Don't get me wrong, silverback gorilla is very scary, but I don't feel afraid. It feels like we're just like I have more than
Mm.
enough. Like,
Oh, how about this? And then every day in that zoo at like 4 p.m., they let up the glass, they tie up the silverback gorilla, and then a bunch of kids with baseball bats just beat him for 1 hour. Just the zoo opens up, you can beat the gorilla, and then you can leave. That is Saturn. Yeah.
that no, you
That is a great metaphor.
it's like you added a very vital part of it.
It's like
which
a
is
Nazi zombie, but you have Juggernaut.
what is with I literally chose silverback gorilla. You still brought it to Nazis.
Everything goes back to those damn zombies, Par.
I don't know why.
If you were around gaming back then, you'd know why.
I was around gaming, but there's you're not even playing COD right now.
Nobody plays COD right now.
Wait, I play COD right now.
I feel like you're just not hip with the trends, Par.
What do you mean?
I just feel like you're not a trendy guy when it comes
So
to
many
gaming.
people are playing Modern Warfare 3 right now. A lot of people.
Modern Warfare 3? No. Warzone,
new-
yes.
Well, it's Modern Warfare 3 Warzone, isn't it? Isn't it in the game?
Well, yeah, it's like, but it's still two separate things, though.
I mean, it's just one button away for it. I could click on that. I've been playing Warzone.
That's so different, dude.
No, there's a lot of people playing Modern Warfare 3. I was thinking about streaming. Now I feel
No, you can still stream it, Par.
No,
I don't want to ruin your
reason.
dream. But yeah. Hey. You stream Modern Warfare 3. I want to see it.
All right.
But yeah. Back to the
Speaking
zombie
of
metaphor you were
sniping.
making.
Oh, are we gonna?
But,
are we gonna jump to Saturn? I was gonna say, speaking of sniping, and then the next panel is like a laser snipe.
Oh, damn. One last thing I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
I think the Lucci Zoro fight will get wrapped up next chapter, whether it's Zoro beating him or whether like Jinbei shows up and helps beat him. I feel like this fight will be wrapped up, and Lucci will. There's no way he wins, considering Jinbei's like around the corner.
Yeah. Jinbei being Zoro and Jinbei slaps Lucci.
Zoro and Jinbei's over to kill. It's too much.
Yes. Wait, but so do you feel that Lucci has to lose in this interaction? Like, because for me, I feel like there's gonna be a dispersal. Like, there's just gonna have to separate.
Yeah, I think there is a chance that Jinbei can disperse this. Like, maybe he throws water in the middle and then they get away. But I don't think if Lucci goes down, I would consider it like a big loss if it's that 2v1. Because since he is in Awakened Zone, just like how Kizaru gets up time and time again, like after Luffy knocks him down, I think the same thing's going to happen here. Like what? Like Lucci got knocked unconscious by Gear 5th. Very next chapter, Band-Aid, he's back. Like I feel like that's how Lucci is and is going to be.
So two things.
He recovers super quick.
Now that you brought up Jinbei again, I not that I forgot that he was here, but more so like how he interacts with it. Do you feel that Kaku is still like in his bubble and he's just been chilling, or do you feel like he escaped somehow and he's gonna match up? If it's Lucci Kaku versus Zoro Jinbei, that might be a little bit
That'll be very different, yeah. I think he's still trapped because it's a sea stone bubble. Like the Seraphim couldn't get out. From what we know, like I don't know if they've been trying, but yeah, the sea stone bubble's a thing. Kaku has a devil fruit. Like I don't think he's gonna escape it unless somebody else intervenes.
You know how they said like the bubbles, like they didn't say these ones are impenetrable, but they did say like they use the same gun, the impenetrable defenses, that bubble thing. I just have Vegapunk PTSD. Whenever he tells me something's impenetrable, like the dome, and then he says that about the bubble, now I'm just like all of his things are flawed.
Like does this actually work?
Like, does
Uh,
because Kaku has hockey? Like,
yeah.
we've seen Luffy and Kid barely knows hockey. I don't care what anybody says. In Udon Prison, he was muscling through too. He's a Devil Fruit user, and he was working just like Luffy. So it's like maybe Kaku can also just pop the bubble, and it's like they never tested it against someone who's actually strong or something like that, right?
Oh,
Um,
you know who Dr. Vegapunk reminds me of?
who? Ro-
Professor Calamitous.
Wait, what is this from?
So he's a real life scientist.
Oh, I don't know this then.
Yeah, so I pulled him up right here. He was an intelligent child who never finished anything, from food to sentences to homework to
This is
inventions.
SpongeBob episode, isn't it?
His inability to finish things lead to always failing in schoolwork, as noted by Mrs. Fowl, which
Wait,
strengthens the
no, this is from
idea
Jimmy
he was held
Neutron.
back.
It's from Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Neutron.
I thought it was SpongeBob. Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
remember
Wait,
him?
yo, this is
Yeah,
a
Dr.
flashback.
Vegapunk is actually just Professor Calamitous because everything he makes is like
Right.
perfect, but it has like that one flaw. He just can never take it to 100%.
He actually looks a lot like Professor Calamitous when you really think about it. He even has a separated head kind of piece thing going on. Oh my God. Wait. You know what this means? If this is real, right? And Oda like has some part of Calamitous in Vegapunk, Goddard is real. Like the recycled curve theory's stocks went through the roof. Oh my
Yeah, dude,
God.
Jimmy Neutron. Do you
You,
love how I started reading his description?
yeah, because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is like a Nickelodeon show, and I thought it was
It
SpongeBob,
sounded
but
pretty cool though. Like I could see Professor Calamitous having like a Kaido-esque intro panel. Like, you know, Kaido's like, oh, he was captured this many times and he did this, he did that. You know, the guillotine would break.
I
And
just
then
find it crazy.
Professor Calamitous, it's like he never finished his food. He never finished his sentences. Yeah, it's good. It's
Professor
good.
Calamitous had the daughter, beautiful, gorgeous. That was a cursed existence. Or yeah, I think it was the dad. He is Jimmy's nemesis. And beautiful, gorgeous's father. And Mrs. Fowl. Oh my God, I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah,
Oh
Professor
yeah,
Calamitous was big.
wait. No, this is wait, Sai, this is real. This is real.
Wait, why?
Ask me why I think it's. Oh, you just did. Okay.
I already asked, brother. What's up?
Television appearance. Calamitous appears in Professor Calamitous, I presume, in the next episode. The Great Egg Heist.
Stop! Wait, what?
Yeah, that is the next that's the
For
second
episodes?
episode. Yeah, the title of the episode is The Great Egg Heist. Calamitous has
Yo.
a robot bodyguard disguised as a Calamabot, which is also an action figure.
Isn't that just a pacifista?
Yo, it's
Wait a minute. Dude, imagine Oda actually likes Jimmy Neutron. That would be so funny.
this is great. I think this is real. Might be real. I might, you know, from food even this is what you read. Oh my God. He took self-help classes. He's later he overcomes this and is heard completing sentences after he took a self-help class.
This is so good.
Yo, no, wait, hold on. This connects. We don't know Vegapunk's backstory with Kizaru. What if Kizaru still has his speech impediment thing where he speaks slowly, and Vegapunk originally couldn't finish his sentences, and that was their thing, and together, that's how they became friends.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, I'm looking at Professor Calamitous. Dude, the Great Egg Heist versus the Egghead Island incident. I don't know, man. Maybe we kind of maybe we cooked here.
You hesitated. You're like,
No, I didn't hesitate. I didn't hesitate.
You're like, maybe we cooked something up.
Yeah, maybe we. What did we cook? Something foul, Mrs. Foul. Hopefully, everybody here knows what Jimmy Neutron is. It's a great Nickelodeon show. I
One of
think
the
it's all
better
on
ones.
Hulu. There's like 3 seasons. You can like binge all of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I put it up there. It has like the same world building as One Piece, but the character Jimmy, he has the same like development. He goes through the same like arcs as Thorfinn from Vinland Saga.
Yes, I'm just gonna agree with
But
you.
but there's a lot of like morally gray plot points, so it does remind me of like Attack on Titan and Eren a little bit as
Oh yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. And no, no, my favorite part of Jimmy Neutron is the giant chicken monster overlords that came through. So it's also, it's I don't know what series that would be. Oh, it's like Promise Neverland. Actually, no, actually, it is like Promise Neverland.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wait, that's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
It also
all
had
the
the ghoul thing
mangaka,
too.
all the mangaka watch Jimmy Neutron. They probably all sit around and watch it together. That's why
Yeah,
you
like
just
the
went to
Shonen Jump team just sits together and watches Jimmy Neutron. Because wait, he does have like that Tokyo Ghoul thing where like, Kaneki, he like goes inside of his mind and he sees that girl and he
Oh.
transforms. Yeah, Jimmy Neutron does the same thing with his brain blast.
You're right. You're right. Huh. This is
Yeah,
crazy. Crazy
Jimmy
stuff.
Neutron. Maybe we'll know what the One Piece is if we just watch Jimmy Neutron.
I already know what the thumbnail is. I already know what the
Wait,
thumbnail.
what?
Please,
No,
don't do me dirty.
I'm not gonna do you dirty. It's gonna be great.
No, I don't know who I want to be, Sheen or Carl, but I know you're gonna
No, you're not gonna be one of them, Par. I always make you look good in these thumbnails.
Oh yeah, always. Yeah. Remember when you put me in the good doctor meme unintentionally?
Yeah. Oh my god, the Good Doctor one is so funny because
You didn't even know. You didn't even
dude,
know
that's
you
so good because somebody was like, "Wait, Sai, if you're the Good Doctor, does that mean that Par's does that mean he's the Good Doctor?" I love that. That comment was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't
No,
even.
that's
I know
good.
you didn't even think about that. You just put up like you looked up attractive Asian dude or whatever, and you just
No,
put
I
that.
looked up Dr. Han.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I looked up Dr. Han. Is there an Asian person in Jimmy Neutron? Because if there is, then
Yeah.
I'll put him as a thumbnail for myself.
There is one. I think
Yo G
she
or
wears.
Yo Yi.
Is that the name?
Yeah, his name's Yo
Yoshi?
Yi.
Yo Yi?
Yo Yi, and he's a kung fu artist.
In Jimmy Neutron? Yo
Yeah,
Yi?
Yo Yi, brother.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm gonna be Yo Yi. That's sick.
dude, no
Yo,
one's gonna
Asians, we
know.
made it.
No one's gonna know what they're clicking on.
I mean, these
At least,
thumbnails
like,
are always so cursed. You think people are gonna finally stop watching these videos because of that? Oh
no,
wait,
but
I found a picture of Sheen in a toilet. That's gonna be for you.
no, see, that's what I mean. Can you at least be like Goddard and Jimmy? Can we just do that? Can we?
What the hell? No.
Wait, we literally one of our main theories is about Goddard. Can we have him, please?
No, Par, you're gonna be in a toilet and you're gonna like it.
Please.
I like to imagine the toilet bowl is the bowl we serve our cooked soup in.
Wait, like the paraplegic legendary giant one led to something great, I think.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of good ideas here.
Yeah, it's just
In the middle of
it's like One Piece. It's not about the
yeah,
journey. No,
all
no,
of
it is
this.
about the journey. It is about the journey. It just to be the Pirate King, you have to get the One Piece, right? That's what we're all about.
How do I tie this back to Nazi zombies? So we see like a ray gun and it gets blasted in the next page.
Yes.
And we learn that 30 of the ships are gone, which is 30% of what they have, right? What's so funny? What's so funny? I didn't say anything crazy.
I'm laughing from the previous
You
thing. Then you
goober.
said, "How do I tie some Nazi zombies?" And then you did the quick maths of 30%. Like, I don't know. I was in a weakened state, and
Yeah, you were staggered like in Final Fantasy VII, yeah.
I need a little bit of recovery. Can we? What
All right.
can you? Yeah,
Dude,
narrate
no, we
next-
can't. We can't. Part
No,
the next thing we're gonna talk about is Red King. There's no recovery.
The damage report is me. 30% of my defenses are down. Like,
Dude.
okay. I know what to bring me back on. Buster
Go
called
for it.
trash. Yes, right?
Yes, trash.
Okay, 30% gone. Like, we don't even.
But also, wait. I do want to address the comment real quick. Somebody said, "Hey, Sai, the only reason the Buster Call is bad is because we outscale it because we're a Yonko crew." and that yes, that is exactly why we make fun of the Buster Call, because to us it means nothing. Like if we were civilians, like if
Yeah.
we were the natives in Vinland Saga right now, yeah, like this a Buster Call would be scary. But
You
like
could
yeah,
have
like
chose
that's
One
like the
Piece.
whole point. What?
You could have chose somewhere in One Piece and made the same.
I could have, but I just read the chapters of Vinland Saga. It's fresh on the mind right now. It's fresh on the noggin. You know, like if
Okay.
you went up to Jimmy Neutron and you hit him with the Buster Call, he's dead. But yeah, like we
No,
are a Yonko
no,
crew,
no.
so
Jimmy
that's all
Neutron's
it is.
we gave him like 8 anime references, and those references mean that he doesn't lose to the Buster Call. You
Jimmy
literally
Neutron beat a Buster Call.
easily, dude. Like the thing is, he's actually Batman. He has prep time, but it's instant, and then he'd figure it out. Look, the goat himself is literally actually later on he says the thing like the Marines you having to fight their own weapons, and that's how sad the Buster Call is, right? Like the strongest part of the Buster Call was the pacifistas, and now the pacifistas are turning,
All
and
they have are cannonballs now.
yeah, and
That's
then
so sad.
someone I don't know if they were sarcastic, and because it was a comment, obviously it's like a text thing, but like they added more to it that I'm like, is this a sarcastic thing? I can't tell it because they went on for a little too long, but they're like, you're underestimating how heavy cannonballs are. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah, you're underestimating how heavy the cannonballs are. Like, no, we get it, brother. Like, the Buster Call is scary if you are a civilian, but we're not civilians in One Piece. You know, like we are the Straw Hat crew. That is exactly why we make fun of the Buster Call, because like it can't do anything. It is the most pointless thing here on Egghead Island.
Like, can we?
But
No,
what's up?
have the Straw Hats even mentioned like the Buster? Like Usopp is out scoping. Like,
I
look,
think
the
Usopp is the
giants.
only one who like mentions the Buster Call.
Yeah, he was like, like we have to get off, but like other than that, everyone's like, whatever. Like even Robin, who should have the most
Yeah, Robin was
PTSD.
like taking a nap. Like
Yeah.
Usopp was like on the side, like with all the jitters and nerves. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. But
Like,
yeah, like the bust. Like I don't think Luffy has even mentioned the Buster Call.
no, but even more than that, like, did Usopp in this chapter be like, did he go like, oh man, look at that? The Giants defeated the Buster Call. Like, no, he just was like acknowledged that they landed. He didn't even think it was like a feat that they beat the thing, did he?
Wait, another thing too to keep in mind is that Oimo and Kashi, they were like hit with the Buster Call as well,
True, they were on
and they don't care. These guys don't care.
Yo, for real, they were there, and then like at the end of the day, all the other giants they probably have no idea what a Buster Call is, and they probably are still don't know what a Buster Call is. Like,
Yeah, they walked up, they saw battleships, and they're like, "Well, that's silly."
yeah,
Yeah, like it doesn't matter, dude. Like the Buster Call is just it's outscaled, it's pointless. Even with the 100 battleships, it's kind of lame. And I was hyping it up because I have gone on record and I've hyped up the Buster Call, but I hyped it up because of the Pacifista. I was like, yo, the Pacifista and the Vice Admirals are scarier than the 100 battleships. Like,
yeah.
and I still feel that way. I mean, Red King gets a really cold introduction here as well.
Oh, can you run us? Can you reenact it?
No.
Oh.
But Red King, he's here. Vice Admiral Red King. And I know that I'm wrong when I say this.
No, you're not. You're not. He's the next coming.
He's the next coming of Akainu. Like, so he doesn't follow like the Zodiac, right? Because, you know, the whole like dog, dragon, goat, snake, you know, like the whole Zodiac of colors in the you know, in the marine tiers. Like he doesn't fit it because it's Red King. But I'm saying that he could be the next generation. Maybe instead of the Zodiac, we give them titles like this. Yeah, no, Red King, Blue Grass. Like, who's next, man? Who's next?
What is the word for king that they use here? Do we know? Do you know the Ross?
I don't know.
Because aren't there a few words that you can like translate to king based off context, or do they use like katakana? Right. I'm interested because it's like maybe he does fit. Maybe there is a weird. Maybe like Red King is a reference that we don't know about, like a cultural one or something.
Yeah,
it is interesting because like the blue grass Red King, but like we don't know the other names, right? It's just these two. So then that implies that their other ones are probably the colors. 9.
Yeah, the other colors.
9 vice admirals, so we're probably getting like what green, yellow,
and the thing is too is that we could even get like it doesn't even have to be like the like the zodiac colors where they, they combine the zodiac plus like the color in Japanese. This could even be like an all like English colors as well, like oh red, blue, like they actually like that's their name.
Wait, do you think
What's
here's
up?
another thing. Do you think this is oh yeah, yeah, so you just answered it. Sorry, I was like thinking like because Akainu is his code name, right? His real name
Yeah, I think
Sakazuki.
these are his code name. These are code names as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Bluegrass, Red King. It's probably code names, but like for the Vice, because what Garp would Garp have a code name? That'd be crazy if he had a code name, right? Like the
but
White Fist.
the white.
Like
Oh, that'd be dope. The white
yeah,
fist.
I'm trying to think like because I was thinking
It
like
kind of
dolls
kind
and
of sounds like a white supremacist, but white fist. White fist sounds pretty hard though.
yeah, yeah.
Just minus the context, it's pretty cool. Pretty
Well,
cool.
minus that context, but like as long as we have the full context of other colored
Yeah,
code
yeah,
names,
yeah.
then it doesn't feel as bad.
And here's the thing too, is that like another thing that separates him from like the other like Tokikage, Momosagi, and all of them is that this could just be like a new generation entirely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like they retired the Zodiac naming scheme and now they're onto a brand new one. Because we do know there is a literal character that Oda has that gives these guys these nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name, but he looks like a loser. I think his name's like Nagasaki or something, but yeah, there's a Marine out there who does this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What?
Loser named Nagasaki. Okay.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
just
I'm not even joking. Wait. One Piece Marine nickname giver.
nickname giver. That's a thing. I'm gonna make a short
No, no,
about
no.
this.
I'm like Googling it. I'm trying to find who it is.
Code names One
No, I
Piece
can't find. Dang.
wiki.
Marine characters. Oh no, this is the OPLA. Stop! Get away from me.
Ah.
There. No, no, no. There's such. There. I promise you, there's a character that like canonically gives these guys the nicknames. It's in an SBS because I almost talked about it, but I
Well,
didn't
too
because I don't
late.
think
I'm
anybody
gonna
would
talk
care.
about it.
I
Who
know.
cares?
I know. We can both make the short. We're both making the short video. You son of a
I
gun.
found it. I
Who is
found
he?
it. You're a loser, Sai. You. It's not
Yeah.
even.
No. How do you find him?
I'm just better. What do you
No, you're
mean?
not. You're not better.
I even know the SBS, everything.
Okay. What's his name? What's his name? Drop it then. Is it Nagasaki?
No, you're just racist. It's Nazu Kitagari.
Nazu Kit. No, but there was an ending there. What are you talking about? I was close.
What did
I
you?
guarantee you,
You
if
said
you like
Nagasaki.
scramble the letters, you could make that name.
I'll read it. I'll read it. The SBS chapter 945. The names for all the admirals follow the format of color animal, right? So I thought there's an organization in the Marine headquarters where they'll discuss the inside names for each admiral. Could it be that the head of the organization, Vice Admiral Nazu Ketagari, who has a hobby of doing fortune telling based on names? That must be it, right? From Iroha. And then Oda's response is, of course. You're very knowledgeable. And not just the admirals. He named every member of the Marines who have his epithet.
Yep.
Yeah,
There we go.
and
Red King, dude. He got nicknamed by Nagasaki.
and I could not do the justice of describing what this man looks like, but my God,
Is he a loser?
He has braided pigtails, very long face, kind of like Van Auger, and a hat, and his hat makes me like over his eyes somehow. Very interesting. It looks like he's wearing
Great
he has
design.
blush.
Great design.
Yeah, he has like blushes too, so very interesting.
Yeah, and let me tell you, he gave this dude the nickname Red King.
Yeah, and Bluegrass is a crazy. What did
Dude,
he know about
like
her?
we have the next crop of high tier characters, right? Like this is the second coming of Akainu. Bluegrass is the second coming of Aokiji. Like, dude, the hype behind these guys, the mantle they have to pick up is insane.
You know what it feels like a little bit? I don't know how much I like applying this theory into like my own, but like Fujitora and like Ryokugu, what if they were all a group originally and they left, right? Like Fujitora and them and they left. And so like they were like this as vice admirals, they were named all the colors, but then Fujitora and Ryokugu left for some reason. And so like it was the group disbanded, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
maybe they have a similar story here where like some of them defect or whatever, but as far as like the Akainu sentiment, yeah, memes aside, I did get kind of scared when he got that close up of that face and he was mad serious. I was like, oh wait, hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
this
you
guy
almost
means
expect him to do
business.
something crazy, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And then he says like the softest line, like he says, "This is a pitiful sight."
Oh, actually, I think we can kind of, no joke, I think we can kind of guess what the other colors are going to be. Because
Okay.
so when you really think about it, so bluegrass is a reference to bluegrass music because she does the
Okay.
yeehaw stuff, so it's country. Red King is a
Ooh.
reference to the Ultraman Red King, which looks like him, which is kind of funny. So we could
Oh.
probably find other references out there in the world that have to do like that correlate with a color, and then we could probably like guess what the other VAs are gonna be.
Ultraman King Joe, right? That guy? Or no?
Ultraman Red King.
Red King. Let me see.
It's
You're
like
saying
that
it.
Godzilla looking thing. But yeah, like it looks like
Oh,
these
you're
colors are all
right.
gonna be like they're all gonna be
A
real
reference.
references
Yo.
because that's what they're doing with this. Like that could be like the naming scheme because like at first we had the color in the zodiac. This time around, it's a color, but also like a thing. I don't know. I don't know what the other ones would be off the top of my head, but I think if somebody really tried, they probably
Wait,
could just like guess all the other colors.
maybe it's all from Ultraman. Because isn't there the grass? There's a grass thing in it too. Let me see this. What is this? There's all because
Ultraman
Ultraman has
grass.
colors. I remember that. So there's Ultraman blue, but there's also like kind of grass thing. Is that a thing? I feel like I remember.
There
I
is
mean,
a. I looked it up. I typed in grass
oh,
Ultraman.
plant
There's
monster.
a Mandarin grass,
Yeah, it says
and
it's
it
a
is
plant
blue,
monster. Yeah. Hmm.
huh? But I mean,
Interesting.
I feel like the yeehaw fits in really well with bluegrass since that is like very country.
Yeah, could be
But
that.
hmm,
Thank you.
it's
Yeah.
it's interesting. These admirals are something else.
Yeah, yeah. Dang, now I'm gonna be thinking about the names. I mean, you're the creator to bring up
Vice
you know,
Admiral hype.
yeah, not Vice Admiral, you to crack the code side. I believe in you. You're the chosen one in this regard.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
know it,
figure out
dude.
green, yellow. Look, I'm gonna look up Ultraman Yellow. Let's see,
I
Ultraman.
really think it would be cool if Red King here said, "Wait, those researchers escaped. I gotta go get them." It literally is like the second of kind. That'd be so cool.
That'd be crazy. That would be
That'd be
crazy.
wild.
Huh.
Ultraman Yellow.
The Ultras are a race who live on the land of light. This sounds right down Oda's alley. I
There's
like vaguely
Goldman,
remember this.
Ultraman Lightning. Yeah, there's a couple of ones Oda could play with.
Now I gotta watch Vicky the Viking and Ultraman.
And Jimmy Neutron.
I already watched it, Neutron.
Damn it.
It's locked in that memory, the
It's
par
locked in.
vision. I think as far as I like this dialogue, right? Like pull back all smaller vessels, lead with the ship. Like Oda's giving like meaningful stuff to them, and then he's even saying to think we Marines have to fire on our own weapons, right? I like that because there was a whole thing of like replacing the warlords for seraphims in the first place,
Yeah.
and now with these pacifistas maybe there's a faction who are like anti-tech, like that'd be kind of sick. I don't know where. I don't know if
Bring us back to the Stone Age.
I don't know where Akainu lands on with like the seraphim stuff, right? Because he's commanding the seraphims in a way, so he has to
Yeah.
deploy them. He has to do all that. Is he on board with that? Is that a reason why, like a plot point to discuss? Maybe some like from what's his face, Bluegrass probably loves them because she can ride all of the robots, you know what I mean? Like maybe she got deferred her admiral role because she was busy riding actual marines, and they're like, hey, you can't do that to real people, but we have
Yeah.
these pacifistas. And she's like, this is my ride to the admiral level, you know what I mean?
Yeehaw.
Like when Green Bull thinks about getting fired, like for like all the bad things that he doesn't listen to Akainu for, over his shoulder he feels the glare of Bluegrass waiting for her time to rise as the admiral spot. You know what I mean?
You
Dude,
know
but
what's
here's
crazy
a
to think about? Oh,
yeah,
go
what?
for it.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, where do you think, like, is Suru stronger than these guys?
Uh, it's hard because like we like to hold like people like Whitebeard and Roger in like high regards, but as they get older and as they age, I guess those are horrible example because they're dead. But like as characters get older, they are still strong, but they're not in their prime.
Yeah.
So like eventually these guys will eclipse like Sudo, maybe even Garp. I mean, well, I think Kobe will eclipse Garp at like some point.
Some point. Maybe
Yeah,
we
I
don't
don't.
get to that point personally.
Yeah, we're not
but
going to get to
the
that point.
trajectory is there.
Yeah, the trajectory and Kobe's potential. I think he will surpass Garp when Kobe's like 50 years old, which is 30 years from now. But yeah, I feel like there will be a point where these vice admirals do surpass everybody else.
Oh,
What?
wait. Is this the way?
What's
Because
up?
I remember everybody making up admiral names for Kobe, right? Like, and they were like, oh, but to fit in the Zodiac, he has to be like the dolphin or something. I'm like, what? How did that happen?
Oh
But
yeah,
with,
wait, he doesn't need. Wait, yeah, with
so
this
now he
naming
could be,
scheme,
yeah, he could just
yeah,
be the pink whatever.
pink whatever. Yeah, wait a minute, that's huge.
Yeah, so he could be ranked up to Vice Admiral Pink something, and he could play in that role.
Yeah, wait, yeah, no joke. Like he doesn't have to be a zodiac animal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Great.
the Anamorphosis books, right? Yeah. Kobe in one picture is like a snake, and then he slowly becomes a human again. Yeah, it's huge. That's
Yeah, people
huge.
made the crate like I think dolphin was one, and then there was another rabbit, like pink
Dolphins
rabbit.
a bad one because dolphins are the
Yeah,
sexual predators of the ocean.
yes, we
I'm
always
on like a huge anti-dolphin
campaign
agenda.
camp. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. But yeah, he could just be Vice Admiral Pink Mamba. No, he doesn't have Mamba, but like something, whatever. Pink Fist.
Yeah.
Pink. Okay, Pink Fist is
The
crazy.
pink the pink fist, yeah? You want to go with that one for Kobe?
No, like I was because you
The
made
pink
up like,
fister. Let me see what in the world is pink? So
I
if
don't
I
know.
type in pink or okay, the
Pink
pink,
pop culture. Pink pop culture
the
references.
pink bra, the pink stuff. Oh, the pink sauce.
The pink. Oh,
The pink sauce,
yo, Kobe's
huge.
Vice Admiral Pink Sauce. That's great. This is great. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I do not like the pink sauce person, but let me tell you, it would be hilarious if that gets brought into One Piece.
Pink Sauce is funny. I don't even know what that
Have
would
you seen
be.
like all the drama later?
No,
Like
I don't.
after the fact?
Wait, I'm not looking at Pink Sauce. I'm trying to find other references just in case.
Oh. So while you look for references, let me fill you guys in. The pink sauce is a TikTok thing that popped off because a lady
Oh
made
no.
pink sauce, and what happened is all of her sauces contained milk, so when she would ship it like in hot weather, it would all
Oh.
like it would become contaminated, and she would still willingly sell it, and people were talking out about it, and then she called people out for talking about it and talking about the issues. And then she made it into like this weird race thing at one point, and she just like belittles everybody who like says that her sauce has legitimate problems, and it's like it's so wild. Yeah, no, and then she sold her brand to like Dave Spices or something, and then Dave like shut it off, and then now she's like upset again. It's such a weird thing with like these TikTok celebrities. But
So I got
what's up?
one.
What'd you find?
The-
What'd you find?
Either okay, so it's one of two: the Pink Clash or the Pink Rock. And the reason why I say that is because there's a famous English rock star, Paul Simonon, English musician,
Pink
best known
Rock.
for bassist for the Clash. And Oda knows like random things. I mean, like I don't know. There's other references in One Piece if you know, but he said pink is the only true rock and roll color. That is a
The
quote that he
pink
had.
rock. That would be cool. Like Rock Fist. Oh wait, I don't know, dude. Rock Lee. I think I think we've cooked again, Par.
Yeah, we're on a
Dude,
roll here.
no joke. I think this might be our best theory video yet.
Michelin star. I think we might get a few of them. We have like a
Yeah.
four-course meal going on. Again, don't
Damn.
look back at the kitchen, guys. Don't go back,
Damn, dude.
Just look at what we served. This is crazy.
Yeah. Skip the part where Par goes on about the Nazi zombies.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, right. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
But I do want to note that you bringing that up, it got us to a place. You had to bring it up. We had to fight over the zombie origin. All
The
that was
zombie
necessary.
horde.
Just like Luffy had to go to Skypiea, right? And yet people skip it. Don't skip it, guys. Give Sai the watch time.
You can skip it. I thought about a fun video idea where I bring somebody who knows nothing about One Piece in and just have them ask questions.
Oh, that's a fun One Piece idea. And then you
Yeah,
try
it's a
to
fun One
answer
Piece
without
idea.
sounding like a crazy, disconnected human being
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
normal and
I think
functions
that'd
in.
be a I think that'd be a fun idea. Just like bring in like random people that know vaguely about the series so that they know what to
Vaguely,
ask.
vaguely,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I have to do that daily because the friends I live with, they don't know anything about One Piece. Like they don't even watch the live action or anything. So then,
Oh,
but
God
they're
bless their
really,
soul. They survived.
yeah, they're really
They're living
curious.
a
They
good
ask me
timeline.
all the time. And then like my friend, he's like, "Yo, maybe I get onto it." And I told him about how um about how crazy some of Oda's messaging is, and he's like, "Ah, that's crazy. I kind of want to try it now." So maybe he hops in.
Yeah,
A
One
drug.
Piece is good. If somebody's into anime, I'd recommend it, but we said this before, but you would never recommend One Piece to somebody who just got into anime.
Oh
Like
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. You want to start with other animes first. Like One
yeah.
Piece is a commitment. Some of the fan base will disagree with that, but One Piece is a commitment. Let's
Yeah,
be real now. 1,000 episodes is pretty damn crazy.
yeah, 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 100%. Especially people who come in with the new stuff. I would want them to watch the classic, like other classics in the realm of it,
Yeah.
and then try One Piece after knowing where like anime was when One Piece
Yeah, like
started.
watch Berserk first or like something like that. Just
Depending on
like
what
get in
kind
the
of.
old mindset, like where not everything is like very quickly paced, right?
Yeah, I think everybody a safe first choice for most people is Death Note as far as old animes. If people have
Yeah,
not
yeah,
seen
Death
that
Note's
yet.
great.
Yeah, that's a solid one. And then that gets you into like, okay, these are normal people, but then there's a death god, and he writes a name in the book. That's a little weird, you know?
Oh, wait,
That's
wait. Speaking of the Death God, have you seen the video where the cop gets freaked out by an eggcorn?
Acorn,
That's
yo.
so good. The reason it tied to Death Note is because somebody said that it looked like he was fighting a Shinigami because he was just firing. So there's a video going around that was
Oh my
making the rounds
God,
the other day
you're right.
where
That would be straight out of Death Note.
yeah there was a cop who he like arrested a suspect well not a suspect he arrested a person because they were like making noise and like stealing cars or just something random. The backstory doesn't matter,
Wait,
but
are you saying this
essentially
one? Because I have the full story. You want me to say it?
yeah actually you tell it.
So there was a person that had a warrant for their arrest for Grand Theft Auto, and they weren't sure if he had
Wait, like
arms that
GTA
wasn't on the
6?
charge. Essentially, so they went to go arrest him and a sergeant. So they arrest him. They put him in the car. Once you arrest somebody, you check them for weapons. There's a pat down. You check all that. They put him in the car. He's walking past his patrol car, and then when he gets about shoulders to the passenger the back seat, he starts rolling. And in the video he just starts rolling. I'm trying to play the video out for you guys.
Yes.
He starts rolling and then he goes shots fired, shots fired. I'm like, what? And he just keeps rolling. He does like 6 rolls on the ground, and then he's like, off after the last hit roll, he goes, someone asks him something and he goes, I'm hit,
Yeah, he
I'm
says
hit.
I'm hit, and then he also lays on his back flat, like, like he starts like kind of panting a little bit, and you're like, oh damn, like he got sniped, right? Like, oh my god, he got hit by a Nazi zombie, like something's happening here.
Yeah,
But go
yeah.
on, go on.
And so, like, and you know, I'm not an expert, but like, my God, if he got hit by a bullet and that was his reaction, doing 6 barrel rolls into a flip set, I'm like, damn,
Adrenaline, man.
yeah, he's crazy. And so, after he does he lays on his back, he gets up, immediately pulls out his pistol, starts firing unlimited rounds into the back of his patrol car, into his patrol car. All this time, we don't know what's happening, right? And then you
Yeah,
also in the video hear other gunfire coming from a different direction. You also don't know what that
from the
is.
other cop, yeah.
And that is his sergeant, right? So he fires into the thing. They are firing at the guy that they arrested because they thought that he pulled out a gun and shot at him. Meanwhile, we look back and I don't know who verified this, but it was an acorn that hit the patrol car's windshield, and he thought that was a gunshot, and then and that allowed them to unload their entire round into
And
the.
keep in mind, it wasn't the world's largest acorn, right? Like, I know somebody's gonna be like, well, maybe it was a really loud sound. No, 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 no. You can actually go in the video and see the acorn. And if you amp up the sound, the acorn thump is so small that the noise gate on the police's body cam doesn't even pick it up. It is actually like inaudible. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so they fired all of these shots. Like I think they emptied multiple rounds in on this car, and the suspect, through divine intervention, did not get hit a single time, which is great.
No injuries.
Yeah, no injuries. I mean, of course, like I'm glad the guy who was unarmed did not get hit, but yeah, it's such a wacky story, and it was like Death Note where I think there was a scene where like they see the Shinigami and they just start firing into the void. Like that's
Like,
literally what this is.
the people go mad once they see it and they start shooting, and everyone else is like, what the heck is happening? And when you said the Death Note thing, I was like, oh my god, what if it was?
Yeah, somebody else said that maybe it's like JJK and he's seeing a cursed spirit.
Yo,
We just don't see it right now.
and
Yeah,
and like
this guy's fighting in the anime verse, bro.
and yeah, people want the conclusion. The guy who shot first heard the acorn. He was fired. He's discharged. The sergeant was let off. No issues.
Which I think is fair. I know some people are like, oh, the second officer should get fired too. But to be fair, if you hear gunshots from a distance and somebody says shot fire, I'm hit, and it's like, okay, like you're not gonna like stop and wait. So I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, the protocol
Like
is the only thing that I would question, right, is because it's dubious what they thought what the threat was, right? From the first cop, right? But he heard the acorn, From there, we don't know where the sergeant was. And again, I didn't look into that far into it, but we don't know where the sergeant.
We have body cam of the other person. They're actually like pretty far away. Like their vision was blocked. Like they couldn't see anything.
See, and that's my thing. It's like where it's like if the cop says shots fired, I'm hit. But like he never gave a directive of where the threat was coming from. So that means that he on his own ascertained the threat, and the threat being the person that they pat down, they handcuffed in the back of the car. Because for me, I'm like, I wouldn't know if I'd registered that as a threat. What if the shot came from anywhere else?
So if you look at the video from the other body cam too, when they walk out around the corner and they see it, they see the guy on the floor shooting at the car.
At the cop.
So I think that's why like they directed it. Like for example, if it was me and you. And if I just heard Pars saying, I'm hit, I'm shot, shots fired, and I hear you like letting out your load, I'm like, I wouldn't stop and be like, well,
where
is this real?
Ow.
Like I wouldn't be like, is this an acorn? I'd probably hop in like, I gotta save Par, dude. Like Par's about to die. I don't know. So I think it's very fair that they got let off. But yeah, definitely fire the first guy. The first guy's a menace.
Yeah. Because then if you found out that I said that all from an acorn, how would you trust me? How would you believe in me, right? But then also the what you just said addressed what I said. It's like if he doesn't know where the target is and he's very far away and he's blindly firing, that's a threat to like everybody in this neighborhood.
Yeah, and they're in a neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my thing. But like as if he knew and he was close enough to know like he's shooting into the car and he said I'm hit, that's different. I don't blame that guy as much. I think it's a little crazy, the whole situation, crazy. Right? Because like for me, the like even if you were to say like, oh yeah, they thought the guy was shooting him, well, that's still their fault. Because that means that they didn't pat him down. Before you handcuff them, you have to make sure that they don't have a weapon that is a gun, right? Even if they have a knife, it's they can't knife you from inside the car, right? Like there's the gate, there's all that stuff, but a gun is a crazy thing for them to miss. And that guy was like heard the acorns, like he must have had the gun.
The acorn thing is just so funny though, because I love like the slow motion videos of the acorn hitting the car.
Yeah. I didn't see that much. I showed all my friends the body cam video without the context, and I asked them. I said, "What do you think happened in the video?"
Yeah, it's like a class project. Hey, speaking of shooting unarmed people, Luffy hits Saturn with the Gatling.
Unarmed is crazy for a he's a Shinigami. Saturn's straight up looking like fucking oh my god.
Okay, wait, backing up a little bit. I just want to tie it back into One Piece, but So we cut over. Luffy sees that Vegapunk is dead, and his eyes do the bazinga, like little, pop out. And I think that's so funny. Because Gear Fifth, man, I think Gear Fifth is actually hilarious to me. Like,
Yeah.
I just love that one of the last things Vegapunk is gonna see are Luffy's eyes just popping out, like, boo, you're dead. Ah,
I
that's
find
so
it
funny, dude.
crazier that Vegapunk is just lying there. Like,
If you look at Vegapunk, he's lying there and he has like this little like tongue out, like he
Yeah.
actually looks dead.
yeah, and that's the
It's
hardest
hilarious.
part is that usually when someone has like the tongue out like that, like in fiction you think they're really dead, but he's built like that's his
Yeah, he's just
birthright.
built like that, dude.
Yeah, like he was born looking like a meme, and he's just out here like that, and nobody's caring. Like you just have to.
I
don't
really
know.
hope that Toei goes in hard on this scene. And when Luffy sees that Vegapunk's dead, the eyes pop out, but you also hear like the sound effect, like the train horn. Like
Yeah,
we're just zooming on Vegapunk's dead body, boing boing, just going back and forth.
this
Yeah, it's so
this
funny,
is-
dude. I love it.
I
Gear Fifth
just
is great.
as far we talked about this before, and like people are like saying like they conflated two things, right? We acknowledge that like sometimes in the chapters the progression has been a little bit wonky. It's not like logical
Yeah.
for some things, and that's because there's certain points that the chapter needs to get to, and those are the important things, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, some of these minor things don't really matter, right? And then someone like took that and was like, well, that's why we dislike Gear 5 is because it makes everything goofy. And it's like, no, Gear 5 is goofy. And One Piece does this all the time where we just have a dying old 80-year-old on the ground who got stabbed by a celestial dragon god Spider-Man, and and he's just gonna lie there. And last chapter, from my standpoint, it looked like Bonnie was doing chest compressions, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do to a through and through piercing wound.
What's funny too is that just scrolling down a little bit when we see the panel of Kizaru, Sanji, and Luffy, you can see
Yeah.
Vegapunk's dead body in the back, and Luffy just busting up laughing. I like to imagine it like like you ever like play Fortnite and you go down and then the enemy team
Yeah.
comes over and starts emoting on you. That's what Luffy's doing, and I think that's actually funny.
Yo.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Do I prefer like tense scenes more than Gear Fifth? Yes, I personally do. That's generally what I like more. But Gear Fifth isn't bad. I think it is like hilarious at times.
And I also think that is a lot of the I'm not gonna say genius, but I think Oda made this structure on purpose where Zoro and Sanji's fights, look at Queen and King, like those are done like in a very serious manner. I mean, Gear 5 in the anime felt serious through and through. Yeah, there were the funny moments, but there was some seriousness to the Kaido parts and all that. But
Yeah.
like having Zoro and Sanji carry and be separate, like one is each are going through different struggles. That's like what other main characters in other series go through, and we can have Luffy be silly and goofy because we already have so much seriousness everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
And like I prefer it like this. It's like Luffy's comedic relief almost to like a Zoro fight where it's just like I got my fill of shonen action, right? If you want shonen action, hey, there's the entire Shonen Jump catalog for that, right? But there's only one Luffy doing it like this, memeing and creating emotes like live.
Dude, imagine. I think the only thing that would make the panel where he sees Vegapunk better is if he starts doing the L dance, like just puts an L on Vegapunk. Yeah, just that'd be so funny, dude.
That's not a
Yeah.
Fortnite thing, but like that's
I
a
don't think
fun
that's.
one.
I mean, I conflate everything that's silly with Fortnite. Just
I
that's
heard
what
One
those kids
Piece
are
is
doing.
gonna be in Fortnite, I think.
No, that was fake.
Oh, that was
You
fake.
got you,
All right.
yeah, you got clickbaited, dude.
I mean, I didn't click anything. I just scrolled on Twitter.
All right, so you believe what you see.
No, I didn't say. I
Gooner.
said I think. I said
Yeah?
I think, and I asked you for verification. I didn't say, Sai, did you hear about the new biggest news that I'm so
So
excited for?
Par's the type of guy who where
I didn't
when
even
I say it's
play
raining
Fortnite, you
outside,
do.
so I can tell Par it's raining outside and he'll just believe me outright. He won't look
No.
up and see the guy pissing on him.
No. no, because you're not a
That's why
weatherman.
in the thumbnail he's
You're
sheen
not
in
a
the toilet.
weatherman. I don't trust you to look outside. You look at
Yeah,
you. You're in your room. All I ever see you is looking at a screen.
yeah. All you see is my little cat toy room.
Yeah. You're not an
I love
expert
it.
on outside.
Hey,
What?
you don't know that for sure, Par. Speaking of outside, though,
Yeah.
Bonnie is like, "Hey, show me how that punch is done," and I think that's such a cool little dialogue choice. I don't know. I
Mhm.
love Luffy and Bonnie's interaction here, man. Like
Yeah.
Bonnie changed so much throughout this island, and I think it fits really well. And I also love that, like, normally Bonnie would be giving Luffy shit for like what he's saying, like, "Oh, your punch is really weak, right? It was a flimsy
Mhm.
attack." And
Yeah.
then instead of arguing like she normally would, she's like, "Well, show me how it's done." Like a genuine like, "Hey, like let me see it. Let me see it."
I also feel
And I was
like
like, "Damn, that's cool. I like it."
once we got the age revealed, I feel like Oda's using the manga to portray her more and more, or Bonnie is like fitting that child role, and she's breaking out that facade after seeing
Yeah.
Kuma's memories, and now recognizing Luffy. She has no qualms with acting the way like her age. She's not putting on a front for anybody, and it probably also fell in line with Kuma being here, right? Like
Oh yeah,
she's
yeah.
not. She wants to act like herself, and like this line, this feels like a like like what a kid would say, like what Momo, what Tama, what they would say if they were in her boat. So it does feel good, and I feel like there's a dynamic angle that Oda is using with
It's
the dialogue.
it's like a kid, it's like a Chinese kid meeting Santa Claus. And
Go
then
on.
Santa Claus takes him to the North Pole, and then the kid's like, "Hey, show me how it's done." And then, obviously like the elves are just like making toys. And then you'll go back home, and then the Chinese kid goes to work at a factory. I really do think it's like that, where after Luffy does that attack, Bonnie will be able to replicate it. I think Bonnie will be able to tap harder into the Nika future more than ever. What?
Yeah. I hate that I saw that punchline before the punchline, but you're right. I think she'll be able to copy the punchline. Will
Yeah,
it be
it's gonna be
named
great.
Booming Dawn Gatling? Probably not, but maybe it is. That'd be crazy if Bonnie and Luffy throw out a Booming Dawn Gatling at like who
Duo.
survives
It's so
that?
good. I
Yeah.
think I think Bonnie's gonna change up the name. Since Bonnie knows like what Sun God Nika is, I feel like she'll have the Nika variant of named attacks. Whereas Luffy sticks
Ooh.
with Gumu Gumu.
Like so she'll say like the Nika Gatling or something. The
Yeah, yeah,
Nika
yeah.
Dawn. Ah,
It'd
I
be
like
kind of
it.
cool. Yeah, since Luffy's not gonna, I don't think Luffy's ever gonna say Nika Nika Booming Dawn. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's gonna be like Bonnie's thing.
And then to add on, we're gonna have Kuma crying in the corner. He's like, "My dreams, they've come true, Nika.
Yeah,
My
dude,
daughter, you've
Kuma's
also
dude.
Nika."
Yeah, Kuma, he must be so happy right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's probably like looking up at us right now, and he's like, "Yo, this is great."
yeah, yeah.
Or
And then we
looking
split
down.
to,
Sorry, looking up is like he's in hell.
well, if you scroll a little bit, you see him literally looking up, like maybe not on his own, like he can't
Volition,
control.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
But you do
just like
see
a
a little like
corpse.
wide like circle under his eye, at least in this scan that I see. Maybe that
Yeah,
is
I
a
see it.
teardrop.
Yeah,
Who
you think he
knows?
crying?
Maybe,
Wait,
yeah.
so since he's like a pacifista, do you think he cries, or do you think that's like oil?
Everybody has liquids.
Even robots?
Yeah, even robots.
So he has like his windshield fluids coming out.
Yes, windshield wiper fluid.
There
Yep,
you
yep,
go.
yep,
Okay,
yep, yep.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
apple scented or something.
His
Yeah.
eyelids are, and his like eyelashes are the window wipers.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah,
Dude.
Vegapunk, best scientist. Why would he skip that detail?
Yeah, yeah, he's there. Unless he's like Professor Calamitous, where he doesn't finish everything all the way.
He
Dude,
looks like him
Saturn
in
though.
this
Okay,
panel. The one next
dude,
to Kuma, he looks like him.
he does. He
Yeah,
actually does. Like no joke.
it's the same. Even the way I mean, yes, he looks like Einstein, and Jimmy Neutron, Professor Clement's probably Einstein too. But like, this literally looks 1-to-1,
Also, bro,
bro.
I think it's time to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Saturn.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you said, I didn't notice him. Is he in this chapter? What did you say the first time? I agree.
I think I just mentioned that. I forgot he was even here. Oh yeah, I said he was low on the threat list, right? And
Yeah.
here's the thing, like I know like we always die. We do the same thing for Dragon, where we know that they are gonna be at that level. They are that tier of character. But so far, based on what is in front of us, like a lawyer, right? Like somebody handed you the papers, you can only base your facts on what we have. Saturn does not look good. Actually like a punching bag.
I'm actually gonna change what you said a little bit. I agree. I think that you and I both think that this guy's gonna be strong. He's gonna be a menace, whatever, right? I don't know why we think that, because if we use the Dragon parallel, imagine we saw Dragon get punched in the face over and over again and look like this. We would drop him.
If you replace Saturn with Dragon, dude, those stocks would plummet.
They'd be gone. We would not bet on Saturn the way we are. And we're saying that about Dragon, given but the thing is with Dragon, all the negative things are separate from the combat. What did we say about Saturn? We said we'll wait until we see the fight. We've seen the fight. No, I don't know if he's seen the fight. His eyes are closed and he's bloodied up.
Even outside of the fight, dude, like what Vegapunk memed on him 3 times.
The science, I am a man. He memed on himself and said, I'm a man of science.
I'm a man of science. You cannot fool me, Vegapunk. And that was like years ago. Like it's not like it was all of a sudden he didn't have time to check, brother. Saturn, like he made that deal with Vegapunk years ago.
I don't know who was a bigger clown, him or Buggy. Like, this dude is such a clown. Like, Buggy has the ability to never be cut and he's fine, right? But that's what it feels like. Does he have the sandbag no me? Like, what is
here's the thing too. Like, people do dial it back. I dial it back myself, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, Saturn, he can regenerate. He takes no damage, right? But here's the thing. If you think to any anime, any piece of fiction where there's an immortal character, they still have a great showing. They still fight. They still try to dodge attacks. They don't just get clowned on by everybody alive like Majin Buu. It's a solid one.
Majin Buu, exactly.
Cell, he can infinitely regenerate. Guess what? He still tries to fight. He still doesn't get hit. Like, there are a lot of characters out there that regenerate. They don't get dicked on. I mean, Mahoraga from JJK, that dude got blown to 1,000 pieces, you know, but he can adapt. But guess what? Like, he has a great showing. Like, that is what it is. Saturn, even for a regeneration character, even for somebody who's immortal, does not look good when you compare him to the other immortals from different series or different pieces of literature. It's kind of crazy.
This is like my comparison, right? It's like it's the sandbag from Super Smash Brothers. It's like, yes, it's immortal. Yes, you can hit it 1,000,000 times and you can never kill it. You can never beat it. It can never die. But the sandbag doesn't do anything to you. It just is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the car from Street Fighter.
And then sure, let's give him the sandbag. He looks at you and then you get punched in the jaw, right? Luffy literally got punched and then kept it moving, right? And then like later on, I'm not like, I don't want to skip too much, and because this is a whole separate thing, but like it's so dumb that not dumb. I don't want. I'm
no, like, okay. We can skip to it a little bit. Katarina Devon, he casually lets Katarina Devon touch him, and then guess what? Instead of getting any licks in, he tries to attack Van Augur, and Van Augur teleports away. Like, I would almost prefer if Saturn didn't try to attack Van Augur, because him missing it adds to the insults, you know?
Yes.
And of course, Van Augur would teleport away from anything. Instant transmission, it's great, but just the fact that you add, oh, he missed an attack onto his list, it's bad already. Like, he was already in the red. That just kind of pushed him a little bit more into the red, which I'm like, damn, dude.
And then let me toss the red on him, because even his dialogue here makes him stupid, because he asks the same question twice. He goes, "What business do you have here?" And then he goes,
"What are you guys doing here?
Yeah, what do you hope to get at these?
What do you want?
Why do you ask the same question twice?"
And plus, he has the ability to lock people down and hurt them with his eyesight. And what does he do? None of that. You know, like Dr. Octopus. Like, brother, what is going on with this man?
Like, there's so many things that, like,
I feel stupid because dude, when we came here, I didn't say it out loud, but deep down, brother, I was like, you know what? I said, maybe Saturn's gonna look crazier than Kaido. You know, like I was like, that's right. I was like deep down, you know, I was always like, you know, I feel like they could be equal, right? Like villains do get stronger. That is a thing in shonen. Like we're just gonna get stronger and stronger. I was like, maybe Saturn's gonna cliff Kaido. I don't know, dude. But I feel like a lunatic for even having that idea right now. Of course, like I said, we're going based off of what we had at the time, but looking back at it retrospectively, holy crap, this
You
guy's
know,
nowhere close to Kaido.
there's one instance that I can think of that parallels this. Do you remember the first Doctor Strange movie?
I didn't like Doctor Strange because
Okay,
it
you
had
didn't
that
like
one
the.
Asian guy.
Okay, whatever. Do you remember the ending?
I don't remember the ending.
Okay, so the ending is, and spoilers for people who haven't seen it, like a 15-year-old movie at this point. He gets the eye of Agamotto, whatever it's called. So it's a time stone, so he can
Yeah.
alter time. And what happens is, the villain makes a deal with an another dimension world eater, and by using whatever thing, it already progressed and it was about to eat the earth, right? So in order to beat that demon extraterrestrial smoke monster thing, I forgot the name of it. Doctor Strange goes into the portal and he dies. He dies, but he keeps on dying because he has the time stone. So he just has a loop going on, and the villain gets defeated because he just is stuck in a loop where every time he kills him, it just restarts, and so he just gets frustrated at the end and he gives up
Oh, it's
because
like
the
Naruto. It's just like Izanagi or whatever it is.
well, Izanagi is based off the eye, right? So the as many eyes
Or
as
no,
he
oh
has.
sorry, not Izanagi. It was the one that
Suki.
Itachi hit Kabuto with, where it repeats the same event over and over until Kabuto loses the will to fight.
Yes, basically. And the difference, I guess the difference in this one, I think it's the loop triggers if Doctor Strange dies there, I think,
Yeah.
or if he gets killed by him or whatever. So it just keeps on looping. And like, I don't like that power. It worked in that movie because it was like, it was a different context. But like, imagine if like the Void Century is just a frustration. Like they were just like, all right, you win 100 years. It was just us re-walking into the same thing and looping it. Oh my God. Like that's the only, and I can't even have a positive sentiment if Saturn's that character. He just
And
frustratingly keeps getting back up and walks in. And the thing is, his durability isn't strong. That's the
it's
other part of
not good.
regeneration. Yeah, it's like, yes, his regeneration is great, but like if he gets hit by a building and his horn breaks off, what are we talking about? He's useless on all fronts. We haven't yet to see him. He threw Bonnie at the ground with the intentions to kill her right after, and he didn't even crack the ground. Where in One Piece, we've seen characters break. Bellamy breaks the ground by springing. Just by the way. Like Bellamy's face broke the ground from when Luffy punched him into it. And yet Saturn
Yeah.
can't even match that, like from what we can tell.
And
He's
not
just
to mention
yeah.
Saturn and Rubble, dude. Like Katarina Devon is able to touch him and just meme on him because Saturn is too busy trying to get out of Rubble.
Maybe that's why, like in Marriage Raw, remember they still have the slate. Like they have Vegapunk to tech everything out, but they still have this because they're afraid of like man-made things. Maybe their weakness is man-made stuff.
Oh yeah, they have like buildings is like construction workers would like put them in their grave. Yeah, maybe that's it.
They just
Saturn, yeah, Saturn. He's kind of a jokester right now.
Saturn walks through New York City, sees scaffolding. Oh, the concrete jungle is his
And
fear.
and like you said, it kind of goes back to the whole thing. Like Saturn can regenerate, but what does that matter if we just knock him away every single time?
Yeah, yeah. There's no, he doesn't provide value. He's basically a ghost that like you keep like, hey,
He's like a ghost. He's like a ghost you keep on hitting away. Yeah.
yeah, and then they just reform. But like, imagine if the ghost is like the nuance of the ghost is just a vision, right? They can't touch anything, and you're just like, get out of here, Casper. Like you know, what I mean? Just kind of like that, and that's what he
Yeah.
is at this point. He just held up Bonnie, and he looked scarily at people, and then other than that, he's just a punching bag. I don't
You
know.
know, it's to the point where I'm like, who else is gonna hit Saturn? Like, I guess Frankie did, Sanji did, maybe Zoro. Like, I feel like even if Zoro has like no energy afterwards, I think he could still hit Saturn. I think Usopp could hit Saturn. I think all of the Straw Hats can hit Saturn. Like
I
no
think
joke. Like
Zoro
it's
fought a
easy
scarier
hits.
version after his fight with King, he saw the Grim Reaper. That was scarier than Saturn right now. Like I'm still scared of that Grim
Yeah.
Reaper that came after Zoro. And then like that's why I asked you at the beginning of the chapter. I was like, do you think the Giants are gonna? Because I want them to. I want all of them to slap
Yeah,
dog them.
dude, imagine every time Saturn gets up, one of the Giants just slaps him down. That would be so good. It would just be like bullying an old man, right?
This is why they were afraid of the Giants this whole time. It wasn't because like they're super powerful. It's just that they can constantly squash them like a bug. Like boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah. Maybe
Oh
that's
god.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
the giant
yeah, no, that's
PTSD.
huge.
They are
Oh
huge.
God, they are huge.
Maybe that's what at the end of every next chapter, who else is hitting? At the end of this video, let's try to theorize who next lays hands on Saturn.
Yeah, I think the next person to lay a hand, I don't even know. Like, where is he? Like, he got blown back really far, right? Like, he got blown back so far. He found he got hit back so hard. He found Devon and Van Auger, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's true because someone I didn't even realize how far he got hit in the chapter. I thought Kyrie Devon and Van Auger were in visual like distance of Luffy, but they're out of sight, out of mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sanji and Luffy are staying off of Kizaru. You would think if two Blackbeard pirates were there and Saturn were coming out of rubble, they would at least garner some attention. But no, they're
Like,
not. That's how far
no
they are.
joke. I feel like if there was like another like top 30 or something, people would have a lot of people over Saint Saturn.
Yeah, I literally said this in my thing where like everybody was saying like, top 15. I put him there and I literally said I hate this. This is my least favorite choice of my list, having Saturn this high because yeah, sure, I can think he's strong. Do I believe it? No. There's nothing right now that makes me believe it. Do I feel like he's going to be there? Yeah, but like, at the end of the day, everybody on this list could punch him and he would be bleeding, lost limbs, everything. What I don't know how to scale
And
that.
he
I
doesn't
don't know.
exactly fight back. Like his only feat so far, well, he can hold people down, which we know goes away. He can stare at people, but everybody he stared at is pretty much A-okay right now.
He barely stabbed Kuma.
Yeah, he didn't pierce Kuma. He stabbed Vegapunk, which I don't think is a feat because
He missed.
Vegapunk isn't a fighter.
And he missed the heart.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still
The man
fatal,
of
but,
science.
even then,
Man of
it's,
science.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And then, he killed a fodder marine. He killed his own soldier because they stared at him.
Forgot about
It's an own goal. There's nothing good going for Saturn right now. Like, we need more Saturn feats, but maybe the takeaway here is that he is like truly the weakest Gorosei, which there were a lot of hints to that already. From his pentagram thing having the number 5 to Saturn being the farthest planet from the sun. Like, there's a couple of things that said that this guy's just straight up not a fighter
Do you think
or the strongest one at all.
Okay, here's a comparison. I think this is a
What's
good
up?
one. Is he the Bluno of CP9?
Yeah,
Because
I think he's the Bluno of the Gorosei. I think he's the Usopp of the Gorosei. The Mr.
Because
3,
Bluno
Mr.
was
3 of
scary
the Baroque
at the
works.
beginning. Bluno was scary at the beginning, and then Luffy beat him with Gear 2, and he needed that. Right, sure. Right, just like if Luffy didn't have Gear 5, he didn't have certain things, yeah, Saturn might be a little bit more scary, right? But the reason why I say that is after that, and yeah, we don't we have the cover story, whatever, but like film red, even in that depiction, and I'm assuming later on, because we're gonna have Bluno again, he was just a utility. He was just the door man, opening doors, closing doors.
Yeah.
That's all he really was for a large part of, besides the 1 or 2 fights. But like maybe for the entire group, he just becomes like the summoning circle guy.
Oh, he could be the seamstress.
Just sew their clothes?
Yeah, because he's a spider. So what if like he makes
He's
all
not
the
even-
clothes of Marie Joie? So whenever they need clothes, they go to Saint Saturn and they just like yank out strings out of his butthole.
Let me
and then
tell
they just
you,
like weave some robes.
I've been waiting for him to unload all of the webs out of his butt, right? Like we need the butt to be unloaded.
Yeah,
and
isn't that like the
he's-
best thing about a spider? Like
That's
they
the
have
best
like
thing about-
poison, they have toxins, they have string. Saturn hasn't really done any of that, huh?
That's as soon as the Ushi Oni thing got locked in, I think like a chapter later, I literally said this, like, where are the webs? One of the most iconic things about Spider-Man period is the web slinging from the wrist, and they had to make it out of the wrist, because imagine your child's favorite superhero shooting webs out of his butt. You couldn't do that, but you needed the webs to make sell Spider-Man. Just like he is a fraud. Like as far as spiders
And
go, as far as
and
spiders go,
another thing too is that I kind of like the idea that he used webs to hold people down, but since he got hit and the like everybody could move again, it's not webs. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not invisible webs anymore.
yeah, yeah. And then
I don't
here's
know.
here's the worst part of it, Sai. I'm gonna say
What's up?
something. I'm gonna say a hot take, and I think you're gonna agree. I think the best part of this chapter was that Karen Devon got the touch because I feel like I don't know if she can copy his powers, but I know for a fact that even if she looks like him, she'll use every part of his power better than him. I'm going to be so
Yeah.
upset when she transforms into him and she goes, "Wow, he was really awful with this power."
Yeah, imagine Devon just starts shooting like webs out of her butt, and it's like, wow, that was way more than
Immediately.
Saturn gave.
Yeah, I like I expect that now. I expect Carrying Devon to be like a power specialist, you know, like the jack of all trades and that
Yeah,
kind of character that can sort of do it better than the main part. But the problem here is that we don't have good for Saturn for her to do any like she just transform and if she dodges somebody, my God. Already better. What are the eight legs for, dude? Like
it's a W,
Saturn
man.
hasn't dodged a single person, has he?
No, do you remember what Saturn said? He said, if I wanted to dodge, I would dodge.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now he's just getting clowned on. Like, I think it would be better if he dodged, right? Like,
And that's the thing with the
it would
regeneration
look
power.
better if
Like
he dodged.
I think the minimum takeaway is that the regeneration that he has no stamina lock, right? Because like Marco has the stamina thing, right? Like all these other characters that have regeneration, they have a stamina ceiling for it. At the minimum, maybe the one feat that we could take away is that his regeneration does not deplete his stamina. But Sai, what if it does? What if we find out later he's huffing and puffing like my oh,
I can
oh
only
that
regenerate so many times. That would be such an L. Another thing that's crazy too is that, you know, like the whole thing, like if I wanted to dodge, I would dodge. It would be straight up better if he did dodge because the dude is knocked back so far. It's probably gonna take like a whole chapter for him to come back. Like he
I
has to walk back. Like dodging should be easier than just, you know, sprinting a 5K back to Luffy. I don't know, dude.
here's the
This
other thing
guy's interesting.
about dodging. It's like there's a perspective, like an image you uphold as the leader of the free world for 800 years. To like, there's a pedestal of like even Kuma said it. A celestial dragon hasn't been punched before at Sabaody, and Luffy was the first, right? And now the Gorosei lands for the first time in 800 years on common ground with people besides God Valley, right? And he gets hit immediately. Like all the people
He
saw
gets hit by
that.
like multiple people, by the way. And he's
Yeah,
probably not done being hit. Like that's the craziest part. Like he's gonna get hit next chapter, the chapter after that. Honestly, this should be like a reoccurring thing. Like imagine we get a cover page thing going where it's just Saint Saturn getting hit by different characters.
me you. Oh wait. I'm so cracked for this. I'm patting my
What's up?
shoulder already. Patting my back. He is the Fukuroku of CP9, where they had to punch him, and then they get the
Oh, they get the
Doriki.
Doriki.
He's the progenitor of Doriki. He
Oh
taught
yeah,
Super.
yeah. He created the Doriki power scaling.
And
You
what
just
if
have to
he
hit him a
hits?
lot.
He's gonna like Luffy hits him and he goes like that wasn't even 17 Doriki, and then he like wipes off the blood. You know what I mean? Like
Okay, see, if he did that, I would forgive him being hit all the time. I actually would.
I would have loved it if his real name had Doriki in it, right? Like his third middle name is
Maybe
Doriki.
it's a law situation where we get the Doriki later.
What if the D just stands for Doriki?
That'd be big. Wait, yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy. Who
And
made
when,
the
and when
Doriki
people like
standard?
scale Doriki, Doriki's like actually like Joy Boy's name.
Yeah, like
So they're just scaling him to Joy Boy.
because when you think about it, Nika's power is a rubbery body. Who better to punch and then tell you how strong you are? Who? What if he was the because
Yeah,
who
Nico's the
made
progenitor of Doriki. He
who
is
made the
Doriki
Doriki
himself.
scale? All right, next part, vision theory. Today, guys, we're gonna talk about the Doriki scale and who made it. My
Who's that
theory
one
is-
wrestler that like shoves you in his butt? Is it like Rakushi or something? That's what Doriki kind of sounds like. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No,
It was like an
and
old school wrestler who he Rikishi.
Rikishi, is that
Yeah,
it?
Rikishi. Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I gotta
You
like
get hit with
find
the
my friend
Rikishi
right now.
special.
Rikishi special. Do you know anything about Rikishi? Okay, good. It's better that way.
So
A
so
wrestler
Rikishi
who
would like
put
get
people
somebody
in
in the
their
corner of
butt.
a ring, and then he would just like squat on them.
Why do you know this? You're not
What do
even
I? What do you mean? Why do I know this? Everybody knows about Rikishi.
I literally am talking to an ex-wrestler who's going to go see Lucha Libre in Mexico. The moment he lands, he's going to wrestling. He doesn't know
And he doesn't know
Rikishi.
Rikishi.
No one.
Tell
Oh
him to look
my.
up Rikishi. He has to like find the roots of
Oh, you
wrestling.
remember? Oh no, he said it was like a memory he repressed.
Yeah, Rikishi's great, dude. Yeah, anybody who was around the wrestling era, Rikishi was goated, man.
Oh no, that's
Like he was
crazy.
a huge reason why people would watch WWE.
That's funnier because that means like they he did it one time and they're like, oh, do it again, do it again. The people love it. The people love it when you put you in the
Do it, do it, do it. I heard you know, like The Rock. We imagine The Rock being like Kaido, right, or Whitebeard. Rikishi actually put the fear of God in The Rock too. Like I don't think anybody wants to be hit by Rikishi. Like he's like Elizabella with the King's Punch. Like you dodge it. That's something you dodge. Like Rikishi comes up and then Big Mom's like Kaido, Yokero, like move, get out of
like
the way.
the reason why all like the Gorsei don't ever want to fight in the same room with him.
Yeah, just get hit with the Rikishi. Wait, how did we get to Rikishi again? Oh yeah, Doriki.
Yeah, the Doriki he made the
Yeah,
Doriki.
yeah. Sorry, got sidetracked.
Also, I just want to say your segue into Rikishi made no sense. The name was not even close. No,
Doriki Rikishi. Come on, no, you're telling me you don't know the rhyme there? Come on, you don't have a rhythmic bone in your body. You're not Rob Lucci level. Come on.
I don't have the.
Yeah, you don't have the metronome.
Oh my god, I'm breaking, dude. This
Uh,
is.
we're almost done though. How
We
long are we
almost
going?
cooked
It's
the Doriki though. 3
yeah,
hours.
Doriki. Yeah, we cooked with that one.
Yeah.
All we have left is Sanji, Kizaru, and then Blackbeard. Oh my god, these are big. These are big parts. Okay, we're gonna speed through it.
Yeah. We'll
So
start with
thank you, Puff, for
Sanji.
coming in. Have a great, huh? All right, yeah, Sanji, dude. Sanji blocking the
You
lasers.
should just cut these
Dope.
off randomly. It's like, wait, what happened to the rest of it?
That'd be
No,
hilarious. Do you think anybody would ever notice? Like, do people actually watch this to the end?
some people have comments based off of things we say at the very end to the point where like I appreciate it because when people comment because most people comment on things at the very beginning and after 3 hours I forgot what we said it sometimes but the last like
Yeah.
30 minutes I definitely an hour I definitely remember and so I appreciate the people who comment the last stuff because it makes me think less. I'm like, oh, I remember that
I
conversation.
remember that convo now. Thank you, thank you. It's like a repressed memory, like Rikishi with your friend.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly same thing. He literally put his hands in his face and he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, dude. Okay, so Kizaru.
Yeah,
All I gotta say is that this is the most expressive we've seen Kizaru. Okay, a couple of things first. But when Kizaru shoots the beam, I think it's so cool how he has his eyes closed. Kind of
yes,
dope. Like he doesn't want to watch his friends actually die. He's like, ah, damn, I can't look at this. I think that was a great touch. But his face after Sanji blocks it, it's like, yo. Like,
yeah.
he was not this expressive with Marco, with Whitebeard. Somebody brought in
Ben
the Whitebeard
Beckman,
one too. What's up?
Ben Beckman had a gun
Ben
to his
Beckman,
face.
yeah. Like he kind of memed around during all those battles. Whitebeard, you could tell he was serious, but he wasn't never like shocked at
Yeah,
any point. Probably because he knows what Whitebeard is already capable of, but like just Sanji doing this, it must have been so impressive to him that he's like, yo, like this guy's kind of up there, which I think is dope because like, if Marco can clash, I think Sanji could. I think this is great.
yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely love it.
This face was so expressive and so iconic that in my live stream I put a cold call out. I said, if there's any artist listening, please make the full face so I can make this an emote.
Oh yeah,
And
that is YouTube clickbait gold.
within minutes of me ending my stream, someone tweeted at me. I retweeted their thing, so if you guys want to see it, shout outs to them.
If
They
you're here,
really.
I'm gonna use your image, please. Or can I, please? I
Yeah,
thought about using it, but I was like, I'm gonna ask. I gotta ask first.
I'll
But
pull up the thing right now.
yeah, so like, I think Brago also had somebody like fully color and like filled the face and the body out too. Like, it's such a
Yeah.
great joke.
It's a good one.
It's a great panel, dude. It's a great panel.
It's AJ Do Stuff on Twitter. His commission's open if you guys want more, but I loved it. It was so quick, and he just said done, and I was like, awesome. And then
Damn.
I have this face on the screen on my screen right now, but this is a good one. This
And
is
dude,
iconic.
Sanji did this without fire on his leg too.
Yeah, it's just
He did activate the Jerma DNA here because his eyebrows switched, but
yeah.
dude, let me tell you, man, Sanji's looking pretty damn good here. And hey, going back to the guy who's like, hey, why don't you guys ever praise Sanji? Because Sanji didn't do anything up until this point. Like this is impressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if you want us
We
to
can
hype
only
us,
praise things that we see.
if you guys want us to hype him block parrying Saturn's legs, well, at this point in the story, I could do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like anybody could block Saturn's legs at this point. So yeah,
Like-
that wasn't anything to really talk about. This is great. No, this is a Sanji thing right here. This is
yeah.
big.
Like he blocked this. Like the thing is I thought it was interesting because when he fought, when Saturn blasted out Atlas, Kuma, Bonnie, whoever, I forgot the Frankie, up in the
Frankie.
sky, and he blasted all of them out. Sanji blocked the one that looked like it was gonna hit Bonnie, and he's doing that again. But in that instance, Kizaru didn't bat an eyelash, and I guess the clashing is different because over there it looked like he kind of dispersed the light. Whereas what I'm assuming here is what Kizaru is acknowledging is that regardless of what Sanji says, which I'll get to in a second, Kizaru is acknowledging that Sanji just broke physics. That's why he's so shocked. He's like, this is,
Yeah.
I am the light man. I literally determine physics. And you just messed up the whole space-time continuum.
Even then, like the barrage that Sanji kicked away, it wasn't as impressive as this is because when he was doing it, Kizaru's like shooting out like a little Gatling, right?
Yeah.
Like Gatlings are great, but like they're usually less potent in attack power. This right here is like a focused beam. Like he was trying to kill Bonnie, and Sanji just came in and kicked it away. It is beautiful. And then they have like this reminds me of like Lucci versus Zoro, where they had like their one-liners like, oh, light doesn't hold a candle to love. Like it's like, damn, dude, are these guys gonna fight? Like, do you think this fight's I mean, I guess it has to, right? Based on the ending panel. It looks like next chapter they're actually gonna like do stuff.
And here, right after, right, where he goes, well, I'm in a real pickle now, right? I think Kizaru acknowledges that, but Luffy and Sanji is like actually, and now that Sanji just broke physics, duo. Yeah, because the other thing we have to acknowledge is Luffy's breaking physics. Like his entire point of his form is
it's like just replace Luffy and Sanji here with Roger and Scopper. You know, like damn, oh god, scary.
Yeah,
you throw in Zoro, you throw in Rayleigh, it's over. It's over.
So
I mean, it's already over. But
the main concern I have with
like
the fight part is that Sanji lit up his cigarette, and that generally means like, you know, it's his time. It's like whether it's a fight thing, whatever. There's going to be focal point. He doesn't light a cigarette for no reason. Luffy is in an interesting state, right? He's laughing, he's whatever. He's always like that. But my thing about it is right behind them is Vegapunk. And they can't fight with Vegapunk there. Kizaru wants to kill Vegapunk. So is it that Sanji stalls Kizaru while Luffy takes Vegapunk? But then
I could see that.
But then it also makes more sense that Luffy runs it back and does it. But then I don't know, because I feel like in order for it to be a 1v1, and okay, backing up, I feel like Kizaru would want a 1v1. I don't think he wants a 2v1. I don't think I don't even know what Kizaru does with his face front. Does he try to fight it, or does he try to like?
Oh, I have headcanon.
Okay, all right, hit me with that.
Headcanon: Luffy and Sanji whoop Kizaru when he loses, and then Vegapunk says, "Hey, like I'm gonna die. You guys leave me behind." And then obviously we have our goodbyes. Luffy and Sanji leave, and then we come back, and Kizaru's standing over Vegapunk, and they have their final words, kind of like Kuzan and Garp. I think it'll be a really cool scene. Like I really just
who's
want
standing over who? Who's standing over?
Kizaru standing over Vegapunk. I kind of want a scene where just those two characters are like alone together, so they can have like a genuine conversation. So I mean, for that to happen, like Sanji, Luffy, they beat him. Kizaru gets knocked down, blown away, whatever, and then they leave because Vegapunk says he's gonna die if he moves. And then I don't know. I just want a heart to heart between Vegapunk and Kizaru to just see how Kizaru's actually feeling behind the mask, behind like the whole, oh, this is my job, whatever. Like I really want to see his final words to his friend Vegapunk.
Yeah. No.
I think
Yeah.
that's what I care about more here. But fight
Yeah.
wise,
It's
I
hard to
do think that Sanji and Luffy will win.
we'll beat him. Like, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I guess you're right in terms of like we're in the last saga now, right? Is Oda going to continue to blue ball hold off the punch as well? We could look at it the Zoro Lucci fight where it's like you said, like he's going to stall, but maybe there's a conclusion next chapter. You feel strongly about that. Like if that's the case, if that's the momentum, I feel stronger that Kizaru has a conclusion to this fight rather than a dispersal thing, right? I just feel like a lot of Egghead besides the it's weird. Outside of Egghead, there's been conclusive fights. Inside of Egghead, it's been constantly like everything meets and then they spread apart. It meets, spread apart, meets, spread apart, and it keeps on doing that.
Like
And I don't
Rikishi.
know when.
You said meet and then spread apart, and you're like doing this weird hand motion, like you're just what Rikishi in front of you, Par. What's up? You're spreading apart his meat. What's going on, man?
I've been making a lot of meat jokes recently because I just went to Korean barbecue and I ate so much meat that yeah, we just been saying a bunch of meat jokes and I don't know if this movement was it, you're right to call me out on that. I
You're
take it on
welcome.
the
You're
chin.
welcome. I was
Okay,
looking out
okay,
for you. Don't
yeah.
do that in public. Yeah, I'm trying to help you. I'm bullying you at home so that you don't have to do this outside with somebody else. I
I
got
don't
you. I
even
got you.
know what brought me this is the original one. It was meat and then spread apart. Meat and then it morphed.
It morphed into like you swimming and spreading cheeks. Yeah, yeah. It happens. It happens, man. No worries. No worries.
um so I don't know if Kizaru's fight ends here, right? Like,
Yeah,
does he?
yeah, yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's like Kizaru's been getting punched, but like he hasn't gotten like he's gotten punched like Saturn has by Luffy, right? But like Kizaru doesn't have the and then like the blood shooting out of his face, and every time he gets back, he's like, oh man, this is
Yeah, he doesn't have the thing where he's like, I'm losing consciousness like Lucci did.
yeah, yeah. Or and like Saturn like looks like he's dying every single time he gets hit. And Kizaru is kind of just like he's getting he's he's feeling like a real character rather than like the myth of like how strong are the admirals. Like we're starting to get that, but the more and more we get of it, I still feel strongly that he's going to be portrayed very undefeated up until kind of like Kuzan. Kuzan was shown to triumph over Garp. I feel like Kizaru's also gonna have like a he's gonna be put on a pedestal because
I
we're
love
going
that.
into the last saga where Akainu's going to be up there, Kuzan's going to be up there, Kizaru's going to be up there. So I don't know if it makes sense to have him lose face here when like Saturn's already losing so much face. It's like how much more face can we lose from their side? And I just it sounds like copium and it also sounds like bad writing, but like I feel like it's going to get dispersed. And I know I've been saying that specifically for a lot
I
of
think there's
Egghead.
ways where it could feel good though.
Yeah, I feel like there's ways it
It's kind
can
of like the
feel good.
Usopp thing, right? Like it's weird on paper, but I feel like it'll work out.
Yeah, Oda will have a way, but also there's still variables out there that like for example, one of the variables that we weren't certain of to the point where when Dorian Broggie came, a lot of us backtracked on the Blackbeard pirates even being here. Now, you and I had always believed that Blackbeard himself, even if we thought that the Blackbeard pirates were here, like in the scope of the ships being gone, we were thinking like it's not Blackbeard himself. Why would he waste his time doing that? It makes more sense to go back to Hachinosu. Garp was just there, right? So many different iterations of that. But this chapter, we broke that mold by having the Blackbeard pirates come here as a surprise. And I feel like there's still more to come on that front. And hey, they could be the dispersal thing to the point where like when we move into the Blackbeard part, I don't know if you want to do that yet, but like because outside of the only thing is left I have to say on the Sanji thing is the light doesn't hold a candle to love thing. That's literally like elemental hockey stuff that I've talked about. Love this, that, blah, blah, blah. And breaking physics is what people are like, yeah, but that doesn't make sense. There's no logic to emotional fighting. I'm like, we're in One Piece. One Piece literally, like, Sanji exploded saying that it was love. He literally lights his fire out in love. Yeah, it's Germa genes, but like, I don't think Germa genes have him defy physics like this, right? There had like the only thing that we realistically know that does that is hockey. We know that he has hockey. People still to this day don't think that he has hockey, which is a weird thing because he said he used hockey in Ifrit Jambe, but then people were like, no, he didn't use hockey there. And whatever people want to think, I don't really care, right? It's all like mostly Twitter people. Also, Twitter people were like mad at me for him. So when I was reacting, I said like light doesn't hold a candle to love, and it's like Bonnie, he's protecting Bonnie, and so I did the sarcastic mocking thing. I'm like, oh no, people are gonna think like and I was
Yeah.
mocking like the Twitter head, and they're like, Par, you're pushing that horrible weird agenda. I'm like, no, I was literally sarcastic. And I moved on. If I cared about it, I would sit there for like 15 minutes and be like, Sanji's a weird character. We have to get rid of him. I hope
No,
Zoro
Sanji's
kills
great,
him.
dude.
Yeah, Sanji, I literally was hopped on like, yo, he defied physics. That's awesome. And the Kizaru panel. The Kizaru panel kind of like broke me a little bit because like you said, it was so expressive that I this is it's now an emote on my channel after this call. But yeah, like the other thing, and this kind of segues into Blackbeard stuff, is after like seeing like if they were observers, right? Because realistically, Van Augur has the warp fruit and Devon has the best disguise fruit, and they're on Egghead, and they apparently have been here for a long time
They've been
because we saw.
chilling, bro.
So they watched everything go down, and I'm kind of thinking like, damn, it would make sense if like Devon also found an in if she can copy Devil Fruit powers, especially. Who cares about Saturn? I would get injured trying to touch Kizaru at the minimum. Just like a
Yeah.
whoop, Van Augur tap, doop. That's it. That's it, right? And like I don't know. And then Luffy, he was on the ground for like 5 chapters. If they were
Dude, if
watching Van
Devon
Augur,
can copy Luffy, oh
boom.
my god. Dude,
Yeah,
you could burn a lot of bridges like that, right? And even
exactly.
Kizaru. Like, yeah, you could burn bridges with this devil fruit.
Blackbeard would love that. Blackbeard would love to
Like
have
imagine
Nika.
we leave Egghead Island and they're like, "Yo, Luffy, I heard you killed all these like a village." And they're like,
Yeah,
"What?" And it's like, "No,
yeah,
it was Devon." It was like, "Oh, dude, like that is I mean, they could even do that with Saturn, right? Like she could pretend to be Saturn, go to a village, kill everybody, boom, we hate the world government. Like
yeah,
you can spread propaganda with Devon so hard.
yeah,
It's
easily.
insane.
And like, hey, like maybe that's like we have that gap of who fed Luffy. Maybe it was these guys,
Oh
and
yeah,
maybe
Van
they did
Augur
it.
warped in fruit.
And yeah, and then you warped in the food, but also Luffy ended up in the microwave, right? And so it's like if they were helping Luffy, Luffy's the type of dude like, yo, if you feed me, you're a friend, kind of, right?
Oh my
So
god.
at
Yeah,
the
like
minimum, he would high
oh
five him. Boom,
dude,
Devon gets it.
imagine Luffy looks at Van Augur and he's like, "Oh, Usopp, you're here. Usopp, you
Or
made it."
even crazier, maybe Devon transformed into someone Luffy does know. Wait, I don't know how many
Oh,
people that she crossed the paths that would fit this bill, but if it was someone Luffy was familiar with, then boom,
that'd be
boom,
dirty,
all
bro.
yeah. And
Love it.
you saying that is exactly why I like the Blackbeard Pirates in especially in this chapter, but it's like the cherry on top. They're so competent, dude. They're
They're
so
so
good.
good.
They're so good.
One last thing I want to say before
Yeah.
we fully hop into Blackbeard is that my marine agenda is going strong. I love it. Between people liking Kizaru to Rob Lucci
Oh yeah, yeah,
respect,
yeah.
the Red King, I'm eating it up.
Yeah,
And
Red
I
King.
want to make this clarification. When I say I have a marine agenda, it's not the same marine agenda that people think when they go online. I just want them to be portrayed well.
Hmm.
As far as power scaling goes, it doesn't mean that I'm one of those lunatics who thinks the Marines are like at the top of the verse. No, dude, I
Oh
just love
yeah.
these guys.
There
No,
are
yeah, because
different
it's weird.
ones.
Because like when I say I have a Marine agenda, people automatically assume I think Kizaru is going to win all these fights, that Lucci's going to win all these fights. It's like, no, dude, I just love these dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
You're
them more than the
Marine PR.
pirates.
You're
Yeah, I'm
Marine
Marine
PR.
PR. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about how they're portrayed. And if they
yeah,
get good portrayal, I consider that a win. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's not their story. Luffy's always going to beat them. Like, that is just, it is ingrained in their character. It's like
yeah.
going into JJK and saying, I like Sukuna, or I like a villain. It's like, yeah, I like him, but I know they're going to lose. Like, that's just,
Mhm.
they're literally characters built up to lose.
Yeah.
And that for the main character to, like, overcome. So
And
all I care about is that portrayal. And let me tell you, minus the Gorosei, Marines look pretty damn good. I love
yeah,
it. I
and
love it.
the greatest heroes have the greatest villains, and you can only be like a hero if you overcome like a
Yeah.
great evil, right? So you want that evil to feel evil. And right now Saturn's not feeling it. And to that point, like this show out had a lot of people saying like, oh, Saturn's definitely not the last, like the Gorosei and Eam are not the final villains. It's Blackbeard. And I don't blame them, but I still like this doesn't move me in that regard. All this does is like I am anticipating Blackbeard now. Their crew got a
Yeah,
whole lot more
dude.
exciting.
No joke. I think the Blackbeard crew is my favorite pirate crew in One Piece so far.
I can't
I've kind of
disagree.
always been there because I'm not a big fan. I like the Straw Hats, but for different reasons. But I think
Mhm, mhm.
in like general pirate groups, I think Blackbeard's crew is so cold. I love them.
For
They're just
me,
goofy.
the reason why Blackbeard stocks are not iffy, but like, obviously like the Van Auger thing. We
Yeah,
until like recently, the bird in the sky. It's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. And they're all cool, but they're all like heinous villains. And with the story of One Piece, it's like sometimes like Bellamy, right? He was the dirtiest, dastardliest pirate, and then he was like whatever at the grand scheme of things. And then he comes back and he's like a plot point. He's a narrative point rather than like a power. He's not the full package anymore, right? And the
yeah,
Blackbeard Pirates, is hard to say that they were the full package rather than Blackbeard himself. We always knew that Blackbeard would be the full package based off of what he did at Marineford and prior with Ace and everything. But his crew, we didn't know if they were just tag-alongs and just evil people. We don't even know the validity of how evil level 6 is. Oda's been hiding that. And that's why I've liked the Blackbeard Pirates, especially recently, is my theories around Impel Down level 6. I've made like 3, 4 different separate theories on Impel Down, and them being very scary, very smart. You think about it, it's like Crocodile was there, Ace was there, Jinbei was there. Like they were surrounded by really really cracked characters, and so the for me it's like this chapter it changed the paradigm because it's like now and not just this chapter but like the recent chapters with the Blackbeard Pirates because Oda had it so that they were all separate from Blackbeard, right? They were
yeah.
all essentially acting on their own. Not on their own, but like they were independently carrying out orders, and that gave them validity. Like you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you could say that like the Straw Hats are carried by Luffy, like the second half of the group. If Luffy weren't there, how successful would they be on all these missions? Now, do we think like in Dressrosa, yeah, all the Straw Hats win. All that's what Luffy bets on them all the time, sure. But this is a different degree. You know what I mean? They're island hopping. They're touching the Gorosei and coming back. They're fighting Garp. They're across the board doing everything. And that's like independently. Not a single one of them has dropped the ball
They're
either. So
organized, man. They're good.
yeah, yeah. So it's great. The organization's awesome. There's so much to like right now. Obviously they're evil, but the better the
Love them.
villain,
You
the
gotta
better the
love
hero.
them. Oh no, I received a comment, dude, and you won't believe what it is on
Oh no,
YouTube.
what's the comment?
It says the way you pronounce recency is wild.
Wait, you said recessancy in your video?
Yes. 7 minutes
You
ago, somebody commented that.
you're not
Beast
allowed to.
mode 3799. He's like you.
All right, hold on. Saying recessancy over recency is your fault.
That is my fault, but let me tell you, it's ingrained in me. I can't stop it. But
My friend did something similar. I'm
with
gonna spell it.
Rikishi,
No, Sabaody, second word. How do you pronounce it?
I'm not gonna pronounce it.
No, you're pronouncing it.
I'm not.
Pronounce
I'm not.
it.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you go do it. Do it, please. You get your. I've heard you say it correctly before.
Archipelago.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. He said
Okay. Oh, thank God.
archipelago. He said
Yeah, okay,
archipelago.
archipelago's wrong. Whew, thank God. I was almost afraid that my pronunciation was wrong too. I was like, please no. First, recessancy, recency. Come on, no, not this now. But speaking of the recency bias or the not having recency bias, I do think the panel where Van Auger and Devon say the world might be
Yeah.
one of my favorite panels out there. I think for me it's a top 10 panel
Do you do you
for
think they
sure.
pronounce it Zawoldo?
You know they will. Like I mean,
Yeah.
it even if they don't say za, like they're gonna have like that accent.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's I
yeah.
don't know. It's gonna hit hard, bro. I love that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you guys want? the world. And the fact that they say it together, beautiful. Like no hesitation. They're like, yo, the world, done.
So I thought that was a weird answer. I'm not gonna lie. I like the panel. I like that they said
Yeah.
it. But it was because didn't Blackbeard say that he wanted to be in the world government and like he wanted to get chips to join it? Like so Kobe was one, Garp is now going to be that one, and he was kind of like lining himself up to be an ally of sorts. But it doesn't that kind of fall apart when you tell the Gorosei guy, "Hey, I want the entire world." Like
Yeah, I mean, hey, things happen. I mean, what? Like he said he wanted to be king of Hachinosu, and then I always thought that was very flimsy because I was like, yo, you're Blackbeard. You can aim way higher than just king of
yeah,
Hachinosu, king of a town that you already rule. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think that's dumb. So I always thought he
yeah.
was aiming higher.
Yeah.
So
I
it was just
agree.
like a piece in the puzzle. But I do agree that telling Saturn that they want the world and then also trying to use that piece afterwards is strange. But hey, there could be a world where Van Augur and Devon and even Blackbeard, I guess, have so much faith in Luffy that they know he's going to beat Saturn. Because, I mean, if Van Augur teleported Luffy food, that could be a real thing. Because Van Augur's like, well, we need Saturn knocked out so that we can touch him. How do we do that? I don't want to fight Saturn. Well, let's just give Luffy food and just do it.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
I was
it
just
almost feels like they're betting on Luffy here in a way.
yeah, I was also gonna say another thing because I was like, I don't know why my brain went back to how you said the giants should be visible from here. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
damn, Karen Devon should touch one of them too, because that's kind of useful to
Oh
be
yeah,
Dory
she could touch
ability.
anybody, everybody.
But
And
but she doesn't need to because San Juan's so big and
yeah,
he's probably a better giant as far as like
but
being big.
hear me out, dude.
Okay. I said
Imagine.
being big and then you said hear me out. I don't like this.
No, 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 no. Hear me out on something else. But like for
Okay.
Saint Saturn, imagine Luffy does beat Saturn so bad we don't see him. It's like the Kaido Big Mom treatment. The Goros are like, hey, where's Saturn at? Where's Saturn at? And
And they
that is
find
the
him.
exact scenario that the Blackbeard Pirates want. And then boom, just like when King Cobra went missing in Alabasta, Saturn pops up in some random village and just does something crazy. And it's just Devon. Like, there's so many ways to go about this. And I truly do believe that the Blackbeard Pirates are betting on Luffy here.
So that okay, there's two different sides. I see it, right? Like th- as far as like an anime trope, I'm thinking of scenes where that kind of thing happens, where like
Yeah.
an antagonist of like a future arc helps out the protagonist earlier on, and when they do that, it's kind of like they were kind of not grooming. Grooming isn't the right word, but they were like they want to make it interesting for themselves, or
So they,
they
yeah, they like groom the character.
yeah, and like there's a certain power that like, hey, if you beat this guy, you know this power now. And now like this will be helpful because I need you to unlock something else. I can't do it, but I need you to learn it, blah blah blah. And it's something like that, but like in this context, that would imply that like Van Augur knows how to beat Saturn. And the reason why I say that is because if they've been watching like you and I have, they see a punching bag that cannot die. And like I don't know if I would bet on Luffy to beat something that I haven't seen like yeah, he's a meme, but at the end of the day they're seeing him come back from every goddamn punch completely fine. So then the other opposite side is that Van Augur's like, "Yo, I don't know what the hell is going on with that guy, but you can figure it out and I believe in that." You know, it could be that, but I feel like
I
as
don't
anime trope
know.
goes, it's the other way usually.
Yeah, I'm the other way. I think Van Augur and Devon just I don't think they hold Saturn that highly, to be honest.
Damn, really? I feel like
Yeah, I don't think they do.
inverse, I feel like they look at Saturn and they're like, "Oh, he's terrifying," you know?
No, dude, I do not think Devon and Van Augur think Saturn is terrifying. Did you see after they say the world, Van Augur has the most like unimpressed face known to mankind. He's like, and then look at how serious Saturn is. Saturn has like the shading. He's like, oh, like he really wants to kill him. And Van Augur's like,
You're right. You're right.
and then even Devon, like what she walks in here laughing at him. She hits
You're
him with the
right.
moo foo foo foo. Like brother, they're not scared of Saturn. They really could care less about this
Yeah,
guy.
like if you were scared of someone, would you like nonchalant? She literally, we see her shoe step, and then she puts a heart at the end of mission or TCB put mission complete heart, which I'm assuming is gonna reflect it because that does get reflected sometimes. And she like caresses, like touches it. You know what I mean? And like
And then even when talking to Saturn, there's like no sweat beads coming off her either. Like she's like he's like, hey, what do you like? What? Why are you following Blackbeard? And then she just says, well, teach is special. Like really, she's kind of like disrespecting this man. Like they really do not care about him whatsoever.
So you said the teach is special thing. I think that's a major talking point. Simply
Yes.
teaches that this is a confirmation that he's I'm saying most likely, I'm not saying 100%, but most likely Buccaneer. Yes?
No.
Okay. All right, hit me with it.
Wait. You think he's a Buccaneer?
Well, I mean, the teach is special, and then Saturn says as is his lineage. Are we, because if it was like D-Clan, that's like weird. Because then what's her, Katarina
I mean,
Devon
Blackbeard
says,
is a D, to be
yeah, I
fair.
know, but then Katarina Devon says, oh, so you know about that. Whereas like D-Clan, it's on his wanted poster. Why would it be D-Clan stuff?
Oh. No. Okay, so I agree.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Blackbeard is a special race. I don't think it's a Buccaneer though.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be something else because I
new?
feel
You
like if
think
it's
it's new?
yeah, I think it's new. But I feel like if it's Buccaneer, it would be really weird
I
if
agree.
if he just says
But
as is his lineage when we already know Buccaneer is a thing. But I guess the caveat though is that we've had this before where
yeah,
I felt this way about Kuzan, and I was like, well, if Kuzan was a 10th Titanic commander, we should have seen it when we met him multiple times before we got the reveal, and we didn't get that. So maybe he is a Buccaneer, and obviously like Oda pulls back on that, and he just wants to say, oh, as is his lineage. But I feel like with the context of God's Valley being introduced this like in this arc and
mhm,
special lineages and how they just erase people here and there, I do feel like Blackbeard is just straight up something else entirely. Because even thinking about Blackbeard and how he has a weird body, nobody really, I guess people say that about Kuma. They say he has a tough body. But Blackbeard, another key thing about him is that he doesn't sleep. And I wonder if that's just something that's baked into his lineage or like, whatever clan or whatever descendant he is of.
mhm.
I feel like that has a part to play with what he actually is. And since
Yeah.
Buccaneers can go to sleep from what we've seen, I feel like he's not a Buccaneer because of that. I feel like he
So
is something else entirely. I see the Buccaneer train, but I'm not on board with it yet.
the reason why I'm on the Buccaneer train is because the discount it requires higher level thinking. And that is why,
Yeah.
because like there's so many times in One Piece where we overthink like something that's like they said lineage, they said that about Kuma, it's in the same arc. Like and as far as like why wouldn't they just say it here when we've already mentioned it? Well, these are new people as far as in the verse goes, like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're the observers, but in their context, it does make sense that he wouldn't want to say something. And then Karen Devon confirms that they already do know. And then they're like, and so then Saturn and Karen Devon have this understanding that they already have the thing, and it's kind of hidden. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is for us, Buccaneer might not be a crazy reveal, right? A new race would be a fun, exciting, higher level reveal. If it was Buccaneer, that's a simple answer, right? And the reason why I'm leaning on that is because it's a simple answer, where in this chapter we have the Giants refresher. Earlier on, we had the O'Hara refresher. Prior to or in line with that, we had 6 times repeating the hierarchy of the how the chips work.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And I'm saying like Oda wrote this because the common man, the person who's reading One Piece, not in our community, because they're not crazy people who jump on Twitter and like, oh my God, this and blah blah. That's not the normal people, right? Oda's writing it for the normal people, and when he says this, the average reader is like, oh man, I wonder what his special lineage is, because they just forgot what the Buccaneer was. That was like 4 chapters ago, and we've seen Oda literally refresh on us on things in the manga from something 2 chapters
Multiple
ago.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, and because of that and the way, like, even with Saturn, I just feel like the simple answer is probably the right answer with this one. And the only thing that I wish we got, and maybe we get later, is some dialogue of the Buccaneer straight from Blackbeard. Because now for carrying Devon to know, that implies that Blackbeard has the information, which would
Yeah.
imply that he's better off than Kuma, who Kuma heard stuff from Clap, but maybe not like a lot of it. He heard the Nika stuff. But that's even crazier because if he's Buccaneer, that would mean that like, hey, this the how did he know about the Yami no Mi? Maybe it's from his side of the Buccaneers things, because that's something that someone brought up is like,
Ooh, he
um,
could be a dark Buccaneer.
well, there is so Buccaneer is just pirate. But in as
Yeah.
far as pirates goes, even at the beginning of One Piece, there's Peacemains and Morganeers. And in our real world, there was that same dichotomy in pirates. There was the evil pirates and the people who were just sailors, who were just out in the ocean, just not with the government, right? You weren't Navy, but you weren't evil pirate. There were pirates like that. And so I forget the terms. Privateers is government. The government. I think Morganeer is a real term also.
Yeah.
But it could be that yeah, they're all Buccaneers, but Nika is a Peacemain Buccaneer, and Blackbeard is a Morganeer Buccaneer, and they would have different legends. So if Kuma is a Peacemain, then he had the legend of Nika. Blackbeard probably had this legend of something else, and that's how he knew about the Yami Yami
Like
no
a
Mi.
dark elf.
Yeah, something like that. And I
But
really like that logic, but
yeah.
I don't even think it needs to be that deep. It could just simply be the Buccaneer, right? And
Yeah.
because it's like Oda's been writing a lot of Egghead. The York reveal, we thought so highly. All we need to do is like read a few of the like, oh, greed, 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 boom. And then afterwards, what's the password? It's not that deep. It's simple. It's nothing. It's meaningless. It's pointless after.
Yeah,
Then
these are questions that only pop up when you do a 4-hour video,
yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Or
But
no, not even that. Like the week to week readers who have the
oh
long
yeah.
discussions over that, right? But yeah, like if you dive deeper, but I think that's the benefit of us talking about it because we've talked about through a lot of similar scenarios in the past, and then we have the results, and so why wouldn't we use that pattern, right? And we have that pattern after discussing it so much that I'm kind of just sold it's the Buccaneer. And if it's not,
I
I'll be happy. And if it's a new
yeah.
race, like you said, I'll be happy. That required the higher level thinking.
Yeah, for
But
me right now, I'm like 10% on the Buccaneer train.
mhm,
I am like really heavy on it's something else entirely. But
mhm.
I do like the Buccaneer because I think the real life Blackbeard was just straight up a Buccaneer. Like that was his classification.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think Blackbeard does have like something else going on entirely. I feel
yeah.
like this might be one of those moments where it is like a convoluted answer where we learn that he has nothing to do with Buccaneers,
It,
that he's actually just an entirely different race. And I think that there's a chance that Blackbeard has a face, a second face.
ooh. Oh, okay, hold on. Nobody cooked this up. Let's see. Let's hear it.
I think if Blackbeard were to like literally like on his back, I think he has another face growing back there.
Voldemort? Like Voldemort?
Yeah,
But
kind of
on
like
his back?
Voldemort, I guess. There's a Japanese myth where it's like another yokai,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
where
know what
like
you're
there's
talking
like
about.
a giant face that just grows on your back.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's Blackbeard, and I feel like it sounds so silly out of like nowhere, but I feel like
yeah.
that could be a reason why Blackbeard doesn't sleep because that's when the face comes out, and I think that'd be kind of cool that
Mm.
that's how he ate the second devil fruit. He fed it to the face behind his back.
Yeah, that's a solid because that's when you said the face on the back, I thought the yokai thing, but the Whitebeard moment because then he's eating it. Just he didn't want to show that face on the back. But then it's also weird because haven't we seen him like because he wears like originally he wore just like a loose open button shirt. If you had a face on your back, I'd be wearing a straight jacket, bro. I'm trying to hide that
Yeah,
face. You know what I mean?
hide the back.
I would
Let me
not
see.
be
Has
open
Blackbeard's?
belly.
I guess we could solve to see if like I'm actually just capping right here because I think we haven't even seen his full back.
We haven't seen his full back. I'm pretty confident on
Yeah,
that.
I
We
don't think
but
we've seen his full back.
on Jaya, he had the like white, very loose shirt that like man, if the wind breezed in a certain way, you would see this face you're talking about. Now
Yeah,
there's a lot of real estate back there, sure, but if I had
a
a
lot of
face on
real estate.
if I had a face on my back and I wanted to hide it so much so that at the Whitebeard execution thing, I threw a garb over everything so that they couldn't see it, I would be wearing a straight jacket. I would button my
Oh,
shirt up.
it would be like Baki. You know how like
The
Yujiro and
demon back,
Baki?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
they have the demon back. They start flexing. And there's like a face.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be my Taylor Swift touchdown. I think Blackbeard is a different race altogether, and I
Uh-huh.
think he has a
The
second face
two-faced.
back there. Yeah, he's two faced.
Interesting, interesting. The other part was that like Marco was his doctor, and like Marco, when he said like he has a different body, it almost sounded like he vetted him. You know what I mean? He went through the test. He's like, "Yo, what's up with your body, bro?" It's not like it's like if you had a doctor and you just told them like from Blackbeard's standpoint, "Oh, I don't need to check. I'm built different." like Marco's like, all right, sure. And
I'm
then when
built different.
yeah, and then when he eats a second devil fruit, and he's like, he is built different, but because he's a doctor, it feels like he verified it. It's kind of like how the doctor in Sorbet Kingdom was like, oh, the Buccaneer blood, that's a bit different, And Vegapunk, when
Yeah.
he saw the blood, he's like, oh, that's a bit different. And then we got like catfish, not catfish, blue balled, and like Kuma's like, oh, how so? And Vegapunk's well. I kind of have the answer, but my sample size is too small. There's not a lot of you guys running around here, right? So it's like, and then it makes you wonder because he said sample size. Like he says like he didn't have enough to go off of. But prior to Kuma, he had other samples. So people were saying, well, Blackbeard can't be it because Saturn said that he's the last thing. But I'm pretty sure he said that to Kuma when he was a baby, like 38 years ago. Like nine when he was 9. So like, yeah, surely if he found out Blackbeard was a warlord in our timeline, he'd be like, oh shit, I guess there's more, right? But also from
Yeah.
Vegapunk's standpoint, when Vegapunk said the thing, he said that he has studied prior to Kuma, like the Buccaneer. He just didn't have many of them. And the other weird part is that, um, from our standpoint, all the warlords have been turned to Seraphim except for Blackbeard, right? So like, wouldn't that play a role into
Well,
Vegapunk?
Weevil
Like
hasn't, and Buggy hasn't, and Law
Okay,
hasn't.
Weevil and Buggy Law, the new ones,
Like yeah, they only got the original 7 warlords.
the original 7. Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
So I think not having a Blackbeard one, it makes a lot of
Makes sense.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. Damn, it makes you wonder where they got that. How did Vegapunk get them? You know, all
I
at
would have
once.
just like gave them like a drink and then just took the glasses later, get that DNA.
Yeah, like a creepy stalker, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
I
yeah,
wouldn't
I
put it
mean,
back
the
there.
Buccaneer answer, like I said, I can see why people like hop to that, and I like it. Like, it's not an answer that I would be upset with, but I really do feel like it's something else. It doesn't have to be my weird back face kind of thing, but
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that has
I'm
a
flipped. I'm
yeah,
flipped. I'm
there's
like
something there.
90% Buccaneer and then 10% something else. And that something else would make me happier. Honest. Not
Yeah,
that it would make me happier, but I'm not upset at new races. I just
I
feel like we'll have to have the discourse. People will be like, "Oh my God, Oda like just threw in a bunch of new things at the very end, blah blah blah. It's too much for them to handle," which is why I'm like, I think Oda's just gonna make it simpler and just be like, "Oh, this is that."
but I mean, we have so many complex things coming up with like the Void Century and stuff like that. I'm like, I feel like that could just be a small thing, and it could be fleshed out in the Void Century too.
Yeah,
I
I
feel I
mean,
feel like
hey,
there's a
listen,
couple of things that could happen.
more races won't make it that hard for me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
the
Even for the
general
masses, I don't
masses,
think it's that bad.
I no 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 no. Like I'm saying like complaint the masses of complaints, because like there are already complaints about like new race, another one. You know what I mean? Like people are
Really?
tired of yeah. Last with the new races, people were trying to say that it's not a new race. You know what I mean? Because like
Like the
why would there be
Buccaneers?
well before we knew it was Buccaneer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like people are saying it's the clown race that Buggy's from. People are saying it's just like the weird giant stuff, the ancient giants, or some other random stuff rather than a new thing. And then when the Buccaneer thing, it kind of got dropped because it's like Buccaneer's fine. That's kind of how I am with it, where it's just like if it's Buccaneer, I'm fine. If it's not Buccaneer, I'm fine, right? But most people are not fine when their head canon's broken, and that's the realistic part, right? But then the other part
Yeah.
is that if like Oda's writing to a group where it's like sometimes, yeah, like simpler is better, and he has been showing like simpler logic, but then also like the tendency to like I mean, the refreshers are coddling a little bit, but the Giants one I forgive. The O'Hara one's kind of crazy, right? But then you
Ohara
look at
one's hilarious.
the anime, like they're giving refreshers like every at the end of every episode, and they're insulting. They're actually insulting. Like if you need refreshers on what they're giving you, and I'm like, yo, that's don't insult me. Don't insult like the anime intelligence, but they deserve it. So
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, there are like a lot of Blackbeard as a Buccaneer theories like that have been floating around for a while now.
yeah.
So
Based off the
I
look,
can see why a lot of people like want to hold on to that notion too,
yeah.
because it is like a familiar stock, right? Like imagine going to the stock market, S&P looking pretty decent, you know?
Yeah, I also feel like I like that the idea if he is a Buccaneer, and that's because like when we think about recent stuff, a lot of people do. I think you've also mentioned it. Like we look back at Kuma's flashback, and like a lot of people ended up knowing about Nika. You know what I mean? Like realistically, like comparatively to how the legend was, and a lot of it stems from Kuma because Kuma had the word of mouth from
He
his
just kept on talking, bro.
and so like that is end stage void century world government hiding toppling over lore that he got just from being a buccaneer because of the stories, right? So if and again, we don't know how like Clap is probably just saying the positive stuff because they were enslaved and all that stuff. We don't know if there's more to it. We don't know if there's other things. And so if what's it called? If Blackbeard had like, you know, we know that Nika was the warrior of liberation and rubbery body, and this is his dance, this is his power, this is a power up, freedom, mind. But what if he has a weakness, right? Maybe Blackbeard already knows that weakness. And that would be really, that would make sense if he had the same lineage and knew like of a different side of it, like a hidden side. Kind of like you brought up Orochi, but like how like Orochi knew the dark side of Wano, right? Like and how he was
Yeah.
ostracized from like the five main clans, and he knew like one Wano's weaknesses, but also their strengths, and he knew how to play it much better than a Kaido would,
But
right? So
also, I feel like this information wouldn't be gatekept just by the Buccaneers. Like, I feel like if Blackbeard was not a Buccaneer and he had like he was something else entirely, like a plant person. I don't know. Just I have a plant on my desk, so I'm looking at it. But like, if he was like a plant person, I would like to imagine they would have the same knowledge if they were another race that existed in the Void Century, right?
yeah, I think the hard part though
Like, it
is like
isn't like a
existing.
Buccaneer exclusive thing.
I
Like the
think
Giants, for example, they know about the Sun God too.
true, true. That will change my mind a lot. Like how much the Giants kept and
Yeah.
know, because then that's a second point of like what information is retained. Because we don't know like the Void Century, the Tatas, they had information prior to the Void Century. They had information dating all the way back to I guess like the they I think the word was that we have all the history from before 900 years ago, but the void century is blank. And like that blank is like was it deleted? Like what
I'm kind
happened?
of
How
curious
does
about
that
the stuff before the Void Century, to be honest. Like, what was it like?
Well, it was the
Because
era of slavery. That's what it was for them. Well, and so they said
yeah,
that
I
that
mean,
was like with the worldwide thing. And
Tontanas are just really small people. Like, I also don't like the Tontatas, so I feel like that's fair.
right. And then so then with the Giants, like what where were they? How were they? And then what history was retained? Is that
Yeah,
why the world government is so fearful of them? Because they have that, but like it's that nuance is there. But like if we see that the Giants also know it, and then maybe there's other races, like there's the Yeti Cool Brothers. Are they a different race of giants? Like ancient giants, that's a weird one. Like maybe Blackbeard is an ancient giant race, right? Like the ancient, like the same thing as Little Oars, Oars Jr., you know what I mean? Um,
Yeti Cool Brothers. Yeah, those guys. They're just unknowns, huh?
Yeah, Oda wrote. I'm pretty sure I looked at who is it? Sandman. Sandman, I think, tweeted about it and said that like Oda said giants unknown something like mystery giants or something like that.
Yeah,
That would be the direct
like an
translation.
offset.
Yeah.
They
So
look
like
like
they're
a they
so
look like a
as
Yeti or abominable snowman. Love it.
yeah, so as far as like other races, I'm not closed off to it, but the narrative tied to like Nika, Luffy, like yeah, like it would be interesting if it was the same. It doesn't have to be. Um, I would be interested, man. If people are right about the clown race, Buggy and Blackbeard,
I think
actually,
yeah.
oh, Buggy and
Wait, what?
Blackbeard. I
Oh
said
no
Buggy
no
and
no no no.
oh,
Sorry sorry. I said yes to the Buggy, no to the Blackbeard. Like
uh, uh,
I think Buggy is also another example of just a different race entirely.
not a clown race, right?
No, it's I mean, if they have red noses, they're a clown race.
Here's the thing. Want me to hit you with something? I didn't want to make a full video on it. I was probably just gonna
What's
do a
up?
short. Um, I have videos explaining his nose and the race stuff. I have and I thought about a lot of it, right? But the nose thing is actually a pirate thing. The nose thing, I forgot what it's called, but when you drink a certain kind of alcohol,
Oh, you get like the
people
red nose.
the bulbous nose, you get bulbous nose, and that was a thing that
We saw an
they
example of
made.
that at Jaya.
Did we?
Yeah, there was a so at Jaya there was a the drunk guy who found Luffy's poster. He had a red nose.
Oh no, but what I'm talking about is like literally like it's
Oh
like
yeah
a
yeah yeah.
it's a clinical distinction of having a bulbous nose. So you look at bulbous nose having a certain kind of alcohol, I think it was. Pirates drank a lot of what was the alcohol? Was it rum? I guess maybe.
It might have
And
been
then
rum. I feel like rum is like the most pirate drink you can have,
it might have been. And so they developed like an extra veiny nose and it became a bulbous thing. And so like I was looking up pirate terms and that came up and I was like, "Oh, that could just be what Buggy has, but it became like a lineage thing." And maybe it's not a race per se, but it's like the three-eyed tribe, you know what I mean? Like maybe they have the bulbous nose tribe. I don't
Oh
know if I'd say
God.
that's a race,
I mean,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but and at the end of the day, we still have the three-eyed tribe, right? Like we still don't know about them. Like, are they a special race?
Another thing altogether.
Yeah. So
Yeah, One Piece. I don't know. I feel like with how crazy One Piece is, like I feel like adding in like, oh, Blackbeard is
another
different.
one, yeah.
It would be like a
It's not
drop in the
crazy.
bucket at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I won't.
And we have a lot of one ofs too. Like Pudding is a great one. Like we don't really know any other three-eyed people. I remember when like a popular theory was that the Marys were all three-eyed, and then it turns out they're just robots, which was even
well,
weirder. I
no, the Marys aren't all robots.
Yeah, they're not all robots, but there's some that are
Yeah,
robots.
yeah. I made a theory on them saying that, oh, maybe this is hints towards summoning circles in magic and runes and stuff like that. And then people said, Par's so dumb. He's reading Three Piece out
Hey,
here.
they're not wrong.
Magic in One Piece, that's so goofy. And then, 2 years later, I think 2.5 years later, we got Summoning Circle Magic.
Bao
Hoorah.
Huang.
Yeah,
Bao Huang
Bao
was
Huang,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, that was she's the thumbnail. And people
Everybody
people like
loves Bao Huang.
nah, apparently not. You make a theory on her and you get ostracized. I got blacklisted for making
Bao
theories.
Huang
That's
was
again.
dope though.
Yeah, but I made a theory on her and I got blacklisted.
I had Bao Huang higher than the Oniwa Banshu.
Oh, easily. What do you mean? She narrated all of
Not even a
Onigashi's.
debate. Just like yeah, that's about
Yeah,
right.
these hooligans lost to everybody. What? Like they didn't have a single win. The Marys literally told the entire thing. Luffy lost.
Yeah, they narrated, bro. They were good,
Yeah, the reason why Cypher Pole heard everything too was the Marys or Bao Huang.
dude.
So shout out to them. Shout out to
And
them.
shoutouts to the Bao Huang of Agate Island, Caribou.
Wait,
What's up?
you skipped another
Wait, did
question.
I?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? What's up?
What do you think their mission was?
It looks like it was just to touch Saint Saturn. I mean, I'm cool with like I made a video talking about like what could they take, like Green Blood, Seraphims, Mother Flame, I like York even. I listed the whole kit and caboodle of everything here on Agate Island. I was like, that's possible. Because I mean, Van Augur could just warp everything to the ship. I mean, it's pretty
But
easy for him.
based off their dialogue, they didn't even know that he would be here. They said to think an elder would come down to the surface and bless us with his presence. So it sounds like they came here with intentions of something
Yes,
else. And
that's
then
what it
also when you
sounds
fit the
like.
timeline, we didn't even know that Saturn was there until way after their ship was already there. So nobody knew that the Gorosei was there unless someone leaked. And I thought about that, but I was like, and I've come to an
It's
answer for what the mission is, but I want to hear what you had to say first.
I think their mission was Saturn. While Katarina Devon's dialogue it sounds a little bit weird, like, oh, it sounds like they didn't know. But it looked like they're more surprised that he came down here in the first place. So I think there is a chance that the information leaked, and then that's why the Blackbeard Pirates just came here. Like they already knew.
So it's
But but
so you're
they could
relying on
literally
the
take
leak
everything.
part though, because the leak is
Yeah.
because we've been working with the timelines, even from the Rev side. Like, if the newspaper's out, who would know who would come? But like, in order for them to have known that Saturn would here and already be at the island, and they
What
weren't
if it's one of the
using the warp,
VAs?
the VAs. What do you mean?
What
Oh,
if one of
vice
the vice
admirals.
admirals
Oh,
leaked it?
I thought you said voice actors. I was like, why would
Oh
the
no
voice
no.
actors
Wait,
be
let me see. Let
leaking?
me see.
How would that make sense? The vice admirals leaking it. That's an interesting one. I have an answer. I think it solves everything, and I think a few people have come to a similar conclusion from a different angle. Do you want to hear
Never
it, or
mind.
do
I'm
you want
looking
to
at
go
these
back?
bozos. I don't think the vice admirals leaked it, but
Yeah, because the other
yeah,
thought was like it's York. York could have done
yeah.
it. Um, the other thought is Caribou, but Caribou clearly by this thing showed that he didn't have communications with them. And he's a fanboy more so, but we'll talk about that in a later. York would be the main one, unless it's another satellite. That'd be crazy. Unless it's like Stussy or the Cypher Pole, maybe that's where Kaku goes, like the weird ones. And then it could be Marine, like the Vice Admirals, because the Marines would know that the Gorosei is there. There's 100 ships. That's a lot of leaky floorboards there, right? But I think what makes the most sense to me is Blackbeard saw the Seraphim, and their mission was to get the highest authority over the Seraphim so that he could defuse them if they ever
Mm.
came front. How would he know that information? Well, he had Kobe. And all that time we had with Kobe, he easily could have used pudding. He had multiple ways to figure out how to get. Hey, maybe if Kyrie Devon touches him, from we don't know exactly yet, but memories might be something that Bond, Clay, and all of them can retain to a certain extent. But the Kobe, Blackbeard, Seraphim, I think that's why, and they weren't tasked with getting the highest chip that they could get from Vegapunk, knowing that the Gorosei would be the highest, but reasonably, how would they get the Gorosei? The Gorosei never come down, which is why when they got the Goroseis here, they throw out the line to think an elder would come down to the surface and bless with the presence, which means that to me that this time that they were waiting, they were just waiting to touch Stella. And they were waiting to find Stella and get to him. But once the Gorosei guy's here, now they don't need him. And that's why mission complete, boom. They got the
Yeah,
thing
that's fair.
that whenever the Seraphim comes now, Blackbeard has a way to essentially be like, nope, we're not dealing with this.
Yeah, I'm Saturn. You can't do anything now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things like their mission can still go 100 different ways. Like they could really just steal anything and we'd be like fine with it.
Yeah. I
I
just
don't
think
think
that
there's a bad answer with this
the
one.
mission complete by touching Saturn, it has to be Saturn specific, right? But I will
Yeah.
say there could be other missions that they had, but this line, this portrayal of what we get where they didn't expect Saturn, but yet she touches him and says mission complete to the point where they just left right after. That tells me that they were here for something Saturn has, and the main thing that he has that connects to Blackbeard is the Seraphim, because Blackbeard fought Mihawk as a Seraphim, and I imagine he was like, "Yo, black wings, fire? That's a Lunarian. What?" Like he didn't say it, but like it felt like he knew what he was looking at, and he was confused because it was Mihawk as a Lunarian, and he's like,
Damn, now
"I
wait.
don't want to fight."
Lunarian's another special race that came out of nowhere, huh?
Yes, Lunarians is another
Yeah.
specialist in nowhere, except for the part where like we saw it first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
We were
yeah.
presented with the character, and it was kind of like, no, no shit. That's another
Yeah,
race.
yeah, yeah.
He's not
Something's going on
Godfall.
here.
He's not like Conus from Skypiea just painting his wings black. Like
Yeah, I
that'd
feel
be
like
crazy.
okay, I'm even more sold now. Yeah, Blackbeard being a one-off weird race, I feel like would fit
It could
pretty
fit. It could
well with
fit.
what we've been
That's why I'm
having.
not mad at it. Yeah, I definitely can see that. I'm just personally on the Buccaneer side, and I
Yeah.
also like the this because it goes back to Oda's like what's it called, the pilot of the Morganeers and Peace Mains, and Kuma is
Yeah.
literally mainly Peace, and then Kuma is literally what he
So
would describe as a
for the
Morganeer.
Morganeers, I think I do like Blackbeard being like something else, like an offshoot of it. But I feel like
Yeah,
even if he is an offshoot, he is still like considered a different race.
he could be a hybrid. Man, I want Black. I'm not mad with him being Ichigo.
Ichigo, yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would be
everything.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember all the ways that Ichigo had all the bloodlines, but like, hey, listen, Blackbeard having that, I'm not
Ooh,
mad at
dude,
it.
imagine. Okay, imagine this. Katarina Devon touches Saturn, mission complete. She goes back home, and it turns out Saturn was their mission the entire time. And when
Yeah.
we see it, Blackbeard is sitting on Saturn's lap, and we learn that Saturn is actually Blackbeard's dad.
Yeah, he finds out that, oh, Daddy Doriki, it's you.
Yeah, Rikishi.
Rikishi. Yeah,
Yeah,
Saturn
Blackbeard
sit
gives him
on
the
him.
Rikishi special. It's
Not the
yeah, maybe that's
Rikishi.
it.
Oh no, and you said
Yeah,
Rikishi. That's crazy.
yeah,
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 I
yeah. You know
mean,
how it is.
I think either way, like this was a very interesting thing. I'm still mad at Saturn for letting this happen
Dude,
because it's
Saturn's
like
letting everything happen to him. I mean, don't forget if he. I think Saturn is planning this all out because you have to remember part. If he wanted to dodge, he would dodge. So the fact that Katarina Devon touched him, I feel like is calculated by Saturn because you have to remember he's also a man of science and statistics. So I think that Saturn is future sighting what's going to happen, and he already knows. He solved all of this. It's all according to plan.
okay, now my
It's
turn.
beautiful.
My turn.
Go
I
for it.
think that after 800 years, he hasn't seen a lot of action, right? We know that he
Mm.
had to steal Ginny from a fellow, right? He couldn't even get wives, let alone eight. This other fellow, eight wives in. You know what I mean? And so this Carrie Devon is the first woman who's ever touched him.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, oh, and
He's
now
gonna
maybe
he's gonna web. He's gonna
yeah, he's
web.
gonna I knew it.
There we
He's
go.
gonna web.
And on
Shit.
that note, we already talked a little bit about Caribou, so we're also hitting the time limit as well. So we're
Yeah,
probably gonna have to end it right now,
we can do a special.
unfortunately.
Yeah, a special episode later
A
in life.
special episode. I like ending on the webbing.
But I will leave. I have an entire video about caribou on my channel, and people were mad. They're like, "Why are you saying that caribou is going to be in the story?" This is back on Wano. I said that he would find,
Dude,
he
he's
would hear
important,
about
man.
Pluton. I got that right, and then he'd be on the ship, and people are like, "Yeah." Blah, blah." I mean, in the video, I didn't say the be on the ship thing, but on streams, I was just like, "That's why I made the video because he's
He
going
did
to
say
be
he
with."
wanted to leave with Luffy. I mean,
Yeah,
and Luffy
yeah, yeah.
accepted the promise.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that part, and people are like, "Yeah, yeah, but Luffy, whatever, Gaimon," and I'm like, so what? If Gaimon wanted to go, he'd be a Straw Hat."
Yeah, Gaimon
And
said he didn't want to go, so that's why he's not
yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's not the same thing. But yeah, so we can't talk about Caribou now. Go check out that video.
Yeah, Caribou's
Yeah.
cool though. I will say, he's leaving the crew faster than I thought. I thought he would get Uranus as well, but hey, two out of three, not bad. More than
Yeah.
Dragon. Dragon doesn't even let those things exist.
We found Uranus, Rikishi. Yeah.
It all ties back to Rikishi. Yep.